The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Monday, August 8th, 2022. And this sports show that had no power 40 minutes ago and is all the way back starts now.
Here we go, atta baby.
Here we go, atta baby. That's good news that has continued into this week, because this week is another week in which we will see NFL football happen this Thursday. Yeah, the Hall of Fame game happened on Thursday, and it was kind of a mock of what an NFL game is. Then there was Hall of Fame speeches all weekend. They were magnificent. I don't know if anybody saw them. They were doing them during the day. A little bit of a different setup. Didn't really understand how it was going. Don't think it was marketed that well. But it was great to hear some of the stories and clips behind the greats of the NFL that have built the NFL into what it is. And now we have all eyes forward on training camp and preseason continuing to take place. This is the week where we will learn more about the teams that we're about to talk about all season. This is the week that we will learn more about the players that are maybe in contract disputes, and there's people that want to be traded.
Oh, yeah.
This is the week that we will chit-chat about all things happening around the NFL, and we can't thank you enough for joining us. The boys are here to talk to the table, at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Boys, how you doing? How you feeling? Connor, we'll start with you. How's it going?
It's going well. Played golf yesterday. Didn't really expect to do that for at least another 2-3 years probably, but got out there, played a quick 9. Wasn't too humid, but it was nice out. A lot of Patriots stuff coming out this weekend, though. Not a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
coming
Mac Jones
out this
stinks.
weekend.
Yeah,
well,
not good.
It's not Mac, okay? There's a lot of
The original report was Mac Jones stinks. That was from Mike Giori, I believe, up there, Paisano in New England, who's been covering the Patriots. Mac Jones stinks. Also, on top of Mac Jones stinking, offensive line stinks. People are running the wrong routes, and the defense is absolutely dominant. Then Mike Giardi said, maybe that's why you don't have a defensive coordinator and defensive mastermind run your offense, but we shall see. We are very early in this entire thing.
Exactly. Plenty of time, and, Mac isn't meeting with Bill every week before a training camp practice, okay? During the regular season, he's going to be meeting every week with
So Bill already tapped out on being on the offensive side?
I mean, we're going into
Is it
training.
because he's old now? He doesn't want to. He doesn't have the energy.
Why do you think our defense is so goddamn good? Because Bill has to put in that work with them now. Because when the season comes around, he's just going to be in Mac Jones' ear. They're going to be meeting every week. Hey, that's what the defense is trying to do.
For the people that don't follow exactly with Mike Giardi on Twitter, can you elaborate a little bit? The defense has been absolutely dominant in New England. Mac Jones has looked very terrible.
Yeah, essentially, the offense is going through a massive rehaul because McDaniels is gone. So they're doing kind of like a McVay run offense, no fullback, all zone blocking up front. Never done this before in the last, I guess, for my entire life. This has never happened where they're switching around.
So it might take a little bit for them to figure out.
It's going to take a little bit of time. The real worry.
A lot of sirens going off, though, people watching practice.
Yeah.
This team stinks. They're trying to do a McVay offense. Guess who they don't got? McVay.
McVay, yeah.
They got Matt Patricia, Joe Judge, and Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to be McVay when McVay was just trying to be Belichick a little bit ago. Is everything lost up in New England?
No.
Are you ever going to find it? We got nothing but time.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's lost, but we definitely have not found any sort of rhythm on offense. Another thing was the wide receivers aren't really getting open, which is not great because it's not like we have
can't run routes.
J.C. Jackson on the other side. Yeah, there has not been a lot of good news, but we have Mac, and we're trying to redo the whole, or not redo, but kind of take in the McVay thing. Mac isn't Matt Stafford yet, so there's still a lot of steps.
Anybody is after seeing what Stafford's going through, especially with that thrower's arm, thrower's elbow, which we learned last week. Tennis elbow, outside elbow. Golf elbow, inside elbow. Thrower's elbow, both.
Not good.
Both of them. You heard about tennis elbow taking people out. You heard about golf elbow taking people out. Matt Stafford currently suffering from thrower's elbow, allegedly, if original reports from Ian Rappaport, who will join us in about an hour and 15 minutes to continue to detail what he has learned through his training camp travels. Thrower's elbow is both sides of the elbow.
That's right.
And he is still slinging it, though.
Oh, yeah. Spinning.
There are a couple good highlights, but I did see when he was talking to the I Am Athlete folks, he was holding his arm in an interesting way. They probably got him resting that a little bit through training camp. We'll see. They'll monitor his reps and regulate everything he's got going on. I think Matthew Stafford's going to be fine. He played with a broken fucking neck.
Yeah.
There's no way he's going to miss this season with all the weapons coming back from the Super Bowl. He's living his best life he's ever lived. There's no way a little elbow issue that's both from the tennis community and the golf community happening at the same damn time. I don't know if that's going to slow him down, but there's been a lot of questionable things coming out of camps, not just New England.
No.
Let's go to Green Bay's camp. Hey, Aaron Rodgers missed the net. Jordan Love hit it first time.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
What?
QB controversy? Are they trading Aaron Rodgers? What the hell is going on up there?
I don't think
It was
so.
a little bit of a duck, too, there.
A little bit.
I think it was turned sideways. So it was a little bit of a flutter as it missed it over top of it. Now, still a catch probably, whoever's there. It actually might have been more difficult to defend the ball that he threw. But in the net, Jordan Love, first time. This has to be good news for you guys in your future, right? Jordan Love looks like a quarterback in that one clip that we seen. Aaron Rodgers did not.
Well, that's what you hope, because at this point,
50 mil.
At this point, I think it is more. We know what we're getting out of Rodgers. He looked great on family night. All these bunch of guys drafted 4th, 6th round, doesn't matter. He's making them look like stars already. They're actually performing, which I think is the biggest takeaway. Is you continue, and it could be just the media kind of gassing them up, but these guys who they drafted late have continued to show promise and look good with Rodgers, build a rapport with him. But yeah, you hope Jordan Love can figure it out, because it's kind of like, hey, if he doesn't show him something this year, bye-bye. So, I like to see him, tossing it into the net. But like I said, when the lights come on and Rodgers out there, he's still performing.
He looks very comfortable, and he looks like he's having a great time. He was on Bussin' with the Boys. I don't think we've heard that episode yet. I don't think it's come out yet. Can't wait for that. He's on today's episode, Pardon My Take. Seen some clips. Look like he is in a great mood, even though, there are some interesting things that were brought up. Shout out Big Cat and PFT doing what they do for so long at the top of the game, at the top of every single mountain. I'm pumped to kind of see how this season goes for Aaron.
Me too.
I'm honestly very excited to see how this goes. This is going to be it's a new world.
Oh, yeah.
New money, new conversations he's opening up with Marcus Aubrey and the boys. He's kind of opening some things up. We're learning a lot more about him than we've ever learned in the past. He loses number 1 wide receiver, but he's another year in the offense. So it could really... everybody that knows him is assuming he's just going to go out and win another MVP because of how comfortable he'll be in the offense now. 3rd year in the offense. That you might as well just give him a master's degree at this particular point, and everything seems to be super positive. But 17 games, a lot of teams have gotten better. A lot of teams have gotten very good. And in the NFC, I think a big conversation should be, and my Instagram account has kind of become a San Francisco 49ers highlight reel because Trey Lance is making plays out there. Brandon Ayuk making plays out there. The NFC is going to be a problem. The AFC is loaded, but the top of the NFC has some fucking wagons. And this is what the Packers ran into the last couple of years. What will they be able to do this year? We shall see. At Tone Diggs, one half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys. Now, I know you're a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but a lot of news coming out of the AFC North as a whole. Lamar Jackson balling, absolutely balling. Cleveland Browns got a lot of shit going on.
What else is new?
The Cleveland Browns got a lot of shit going on. Kareem Hunt once traded. He's obviously a part of the 2-horse stable that we've mentioned numerous times about Jacoby Brissett having nothing to worry about in lieu of Deshaun Watson until he comes back, whenever he comes back, if he comes back. Jacoby Brissett started for the Colts and the Dolphins, and we just said, with that roster, all Jacoby's going to have to do is just hand the fucking ball off to Hunt and hand the ball off to
Nick Chubb.
Both these guys we saw on the sideline last game of the season last year when Baker Mayfield couldn't throw a football because his shoulder was so bad, and they decided to throw for 60. Then Chubb would get in, bust off one for 17 yards, and he was back on the bench. And Hunt was same exact thing. So Hunt wants out. He's not happy. The Browns have told him, we will fine you $50,000 a day if you don't want to come here, and we're not trading you. I like the fact that the Browns have on multiple occasions now in the last few months have come out and said, we don't care. You want to be traded? We do not care. Now, ultimately, in the end, Baker did get traded, even after they said that we are not trading you and we don't care. Well, the same thing happened for Hunt. And does that offend you or not offend you? Does that scare you as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, knowing that, hey, the odds for the Steelers doing better might go up and up and up as the drama continues to build around the AFC North? So if they don't, hey, that could be a bummer. You guys stink this year. That could be a bummer. You guys stink this year.
If Mike Tomlin's under the helm, I think we're still all right. It did confuse me. Not confuse me. It piqued my interest earlier this year when, if you remember, when they had some injuries last year, Dearness Johnson bust on the scene for Browns, and he had a few good games.
What was that, a Thursday Night Football game?
Yeah.
For Case Keenum.
And we learned about him. He actually sent videos to teams trying to get signed. Nobody would sign him for a long time. I think he was in the XFL or the USFL, that guy. And then he pops on Thursday Night Football, and boom, this guy had like a hundo or something.
So this offseason, they brought him back. I thought maybe I think they extended him or whatever. I thought they may use him as some trade bait because I assume teams would be interested in him. Then they drafted Jerome Ford out of Cincinnati, who was a really good running back. So maybe they saw this Kareem Hunt thing coming. But
now, we do have to talk about Kareem Hunt. He signed a deal with the Browns shortly after the incident took place on the security camera that we saw, and they were really the only team that would sign him.
Yeah.
So they signed him to a deal. It seemed like it was all kumbaya. Everybody's together. But now Kareem Hunt's like, hey, for multiple years now, it's been kumbaya, and I played for next to no money because you guys were the only ones that would really give me a job. I've turned out to be a pretty good success story for you guys. I've done well on the field and off the field. We've kind of figured that out. You're going to have to pay me what you owe me. And the Browns are saying, nah, we'll fine you, actually.
if I was,
That's crazy. The Browns have more drama. It is impossible to win in the NFL. It is very difficult to win in the NFL. Whenever you add all of this drama and distractions, it's only going to make it worse. So if Stefanski and the boys over there can get a win, I think we will all be mightily impressed. But I think the Browns' odds continue to just look worse and worse for me personally.
Yes.
Because there's just too much drama, too much shit. All these other teams that are trying to win the NFC, which is loaded. The AFC, look in their own division.
Yeah.
The AFC is fucking loaded. You think they're worried about their running back, one of the running backs that's going to be a heavy part of at least the first half of the season, wanting out of there? Do you think they're worried about the quarterback that they just paid $230 million to, maybe inevitably being suspended? No, there's just so much shit that is being added into it. Very talented roster. I have a lot of respect for a lot of the players on that team and how good they are at football. It just seems to be too much shit. And I don't want to rule them out, but I'm ruling the Browns out of the contention of anything right now. Too much bullshit. Can't have this much bullshit. And this seems to be a pretty negative way to start the show, me ruling somebody out. But this is me putting over everybody else.
Yeah.
The teams that you're not hearing a lot of drama out of, I mean, it's training camp sucks. Okay? Training camp sucks for everybody. It is a necessary evil.
Yeah.
It is a necessary evil. You need it, but it stinks. Everybody hates it. You're back to work. You kind of got to break in. Kiko Alonso, by the way, went back to work and said, nah, I ain't doing this. I'm retiring. I am out of here. So congrats to him on a hell of a career. Kiko. But all this drama, it's all not football. So I feel like winning games in the NFL, you have to have a team that's focused on football, and I don't know if the Browns are. They might surprise me, and I'm sorry, Dog Pound, you're probably thinking the same fucking exact thing. The Dog Pound's probably like, what the fuck, 2 years ago? 2 years ago, we won we win a playoff game against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh.
Unreal.
We get rid of that quarterback because everybody hates him. Now we got a quarterback that might be suspended indefinitely. Our fucking running back one's out of here. Why is nothing being talked about on field? Have you seen one Jacoby clip?
No.
Me neither. Now, that might be because we're not looking hard enough. All the conversation out of Cleveland, which is a roster that is fucking very, very good, is nothing but negativity. I hate it for them, but good luck to everybody else in the AFC because I feel like the Browns are dead.
I agree. And do you think they're
For this year.
Yeah. You think they're posturing with Kareem Hunt because no team's going to pay 3 running backs, right? Like they have to say we're not trading you so that there's still some value left when they actually do trade him here in a few weeks.
So what happened with Ian Rappaport had a report this weekend about Josh Jacobs because we talked about this with the Hall of Fame game. Josh Jacobs was in the first quarter of the Hall of Fame game with nobody else on the field that's a starter basically.
A lot of burn.
So a lot of plays. He got the ball a lot. He did well. He's Josh Jacobs. He's a great player. For whatever reason, it feels like McDaniels might not be in on Josh Jacobs. That also might be because Josh McDaniels obviously comes from the New England legacy lineage, and they have a stable of running backs. And then once somebody's contract gets up, it's like, hey, thanks for your service. You can go get paid somewhere else. We will have another stable of running backs here. You got to be able to catch out of the backfield. You got to have a little bit of quickness and toughness. And other than that, you might get 150 yards one week, and the next week you might get no touches.
Exactly.
Like that is how New England and Josh McDaniels' offense in specific has operated with running backs. So maybe that's the case. Maybe they're looking to move on. Rappaport chatted about it this weekend on a press conference. I don't remember if he said they are looking to trade him or they're not trying to trade him, but Josh Jacobs and Kareem Hunt both looking for trades and maybe a new deal. I don't know how big the market is. Unless you're fucking Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, or something like that, I have no idea how big the market is in the modern NFL. I guess we're going to find out right now.
I went back, I was scrolling Rapp's Twitter, and he said from inside training camp, would the Raiders trade their best running back? Nah. And then the bottom third is Raiders not looking to trade running back Josh Jacobs. So I think that was his report.
But him saying he's the best would make sense, I guess. That's why they started him. Hey, what if that's what Josh McDaniels said? He's our best running back. That's
why he started.
That's why he started.
Lead by example.
That's why we gave him the ball so much. Fucking best running back we got. It's like, well, every other team that had the best running back ain't going to play the motherfucker in the fucking preseason game, let alone the Hall of Fame game.
It was his hometown. He needed that W in his hometown.
Well, put Carr out there. Put Devontae Adams out there.
Renfro, Wall.
Put them all. Put all the boys out there. If you're just going to throw Josh Jacobs out there, well, it's good to get a running back into games early. You said get in the flow. It's like, more unnecessary hits.
Yeah,
is what you're like. Was Josh Jacobs out of shape when he showed up? No way. He's going into a contract.
No chance.
So all eyes are on that situation. We shall see. And if he's just being used as a stable, Josh is going to be pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's a guy. Josh Jacobs is a fucking guy. Not saying he's not, but Hunt also asking for a trade. Them saying we'll fine you $50,000. I mean, I mean, that's a lot of drama, man, over there in Cleveland. I mean, that's a lot of not football shit happening in Cleveland right now.
Well, think about who's like winning Super Bowls. Like, have any of the past 5 Super Bowl winners had like one running back that's taken them there? It feels like every team has like 2
who
or
cussed
3.
for the Rams? He came in the playoffs.
Cam Akers.
Cam
Yeah.
Akers. He was, dog,
yeah.
right? He won them a game, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he ran over Buda Baker and knocked him out. But they have
Buda Baker did not deserve that.
No, he didn't. No, he
What you
didn't. But
just did.
that's
I'm
what
just saying
happened.
what you just did.
It was his
let alone
first
a run over, but
Hey,
what you just did right there.
That
not
was
work.
Cam Akers' first
Because he's
game
already
back.
got the DK Metcalf gift going.
Right.
Sure.
You're a bad guy.
Hey, Buda Baker got paid. He's probably doing very well right now.
and we love Buda Baker.
Yeah, and that's just another
Buda's a great name, by the way.
awesome name. And with the
Great
last
name,
name,
actually.
Baker.
Great name.
BB, too.
name.
Great ball player.
Buda.
Hey.
It's a great name. What's up, little Buda?
Yeah. Something to think about.
Yeah, it is. I'm you're watching me think about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You're
Live.
watching me think about it live. And by the way, for those that are wondering, 40 minutes ago, we had no power in this entire building.
No.
That's right.
So everybody who is engineers and electricians is obviously on Twitter telling us about Bill generator, you need some solar power backup. It's like, well, first of all, it's Indiana. So the solar power shit will work in the middle of summer, but a good 9, 8, 10 months of the year, that ain't going to do nothing.
Sorry.
Okay? And build a generator, we got a generator, but I'm not going to. We're building a fucking multi-million-dollar Thunderdome right now. We're
Yeah.
about to move into. There's no reason for me to invest in a massive generator that this building would need because it goes out every fucking 2 days.
Exactly.
What is the deal? Indianapolis, I don't know if this is just our city's problem or if this is a common thing, but Indianapolis is a joke when it comes to the power grid.
Oh, yeah.
This thing just pops out of nowhere. We walked down the street, there was smoke coming out of a grate, like 2 blocks down.
Underground
Right.
fire.
Our power's out. And then the fire department, which we got massive respect for.
Massive respect.
They saved this building right over here.
They did.
We appreciate the hell out of them. We wanted to get you guys steaks. We were told pizzas are easy.
Pizza's easier.
So we just want to let you know. We do it. They blew right
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
where the smoke
Opposite
was
direction.
coming. So we're like, all right, so that means the fire must be elsewhere. There's an underground fire that cut off all the power to this fucking part of the thing. We had no idea. We go check the power people here in Indiana on their website. They say should be good by about 4 p.m. Oh, 4 p.m. So we got fucking wires all over this place because we're plugging into the generator that we got there, and we're plugging in LED. I was going to have to do the show in sunglasses.
Yeah.
I brought sunglasses out because we had an LED light right here that was just going to be shooting me right in the face. We're going to have 3 microphones that were going to work, 2 cameras that are going to work, and then 10 minutes before we go live, all the power comes back on. It's like, well, this place just shuts down out of nowhere. Then you give us an estimation of when it'll come back, 4 p.m. Then it comes back early. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
appreciate
But then
it.
there's no promise it's going to stay on.
No.
What the fuck? Is this normal? Is this how cities operate? I thought this was not a third world country. What the fuck are we doing here?
It almost seems like some guy who works in like our grid every once in a while is just like, you know what, fuck it, let's just go down right now and see how these guys handle it. Let's see what they do, and then they'll scramble for 45 minutes, and then 10 minutes before the show, beep. All right.
I sent a
Way to stay on
text
your
to
toes.
the person, the company that owns this building, and I'll tell you what, our relationship has not always been fantastic. There's a lot of things that we had to work through, and
Sure.
they knew that we were needing this office in a quick, expedited time, and they definitely kind of had some liberties in the contract that we signed. Now looking back on it as a much more mature business person and everything like that, and some of the decisions they had made going forward, there was a lot of hey, I fucking see what you're doing and I don't like it. Yeah. Now we have grown though. I feel like our relationship
course.
has grown with them. We both have. Oh, we're on the way out anyway, so it's a hey fuck off type situation if we wanted to, but it's gone better. I think it has gotten better. Our guy just walked out here and goes, "This is the most this has happened in the last year in maybe 10, 15 years." It's like, well, I don't know about the last 10, 15, but I do know that this has happened fucking a lot.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I apologize. It was good. It was a good conversation. These people have to live with this forever. Thank God we're getting the fuck out of here
No
in like
kidding.
15 days.
Well, no kidding.
This is terrible. We got zombies running around downtown with no aim or direction, yelling at things that aren't there. And obviously, we hope their lives turn around. There's nothing I don't think I could do for every single one of them. We're talking like 50 people a day just roaming around talking to themselves. Power goes down out of nowhere. There's
the time.
no explanation of why. And then we're just kind of doing our thing. What the fuck happened in Indianapolis?
I don't know.
That's a great question.
A lot of bums, a lot of pooping, and it is nice to have the relationship with those people, but it's really hard not to be like, hey, fuck you when you open up the back door and the light's on right on the other side of that
Right on the
wall,
side of
right
the
there.
building.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
Only
this
one
part.
It's
person
interesting, our part of the building.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Damn Hawk set.
Well,
sure.
I
don't
have
even
a
wanna get
dead
into
man
that.
switch right now under my feet. If I put my foot on the ground, the whole show goes
kaput.
What?
Okay, so let's get Nick the fuck out of there.
Why do we have a
Nick,
switch?
you're gonna have to go sit in Gumpy's.
We just noticed this right before we went live. It's a precarious position. It's
just noticed this, so this is our fault then.
So we've had a dead man switch.
No,
Is it happening? Let's put a poll out.
This is
Who do you
because of the
think put
rewiring.
power out? Nick's right foot, or do you think maybe some bum threw a cig into a grate down there and just the whole city's power grid got shut down?
By the way, Nick also has that restless leg thing, so his leg.
That's what I'm
doesn't stop
talking
moving.
about. This is a joke. We've
Pretty
been blaming the
antsy.
wrong people. We're blaming the zombies and the bums out there. We should be.
And Hawks
This
said-
bum right here.
Enemies within.
Enemy within our camp. Yeah.
Listen, Nick, we love you. You lost to Bruce in golf. So, that's
let the guy re-tee 4 times on one hole. I don't know how we're calling that.
That's on
I
you.
was trying to be
That's
nice.
on you.
Oh, my
That's
God.
on you. That's not on anybody else. Bruce just learned how to play golf last year, and he is the guy with the worst swing in the history of golf.
Yeah.
He beat Nick at Nick's Country Club. So Bruce will come to your town. Bruce will come to your country club, and he will fucking kick your ass. That's what Bruce Brown does on the golf course, and I can't have more respect for that whole thing. Way to go, Nick. Very honorable.
Yeah, very nice of him to host Bruce.
Yeah,
as
very
well.
nice of
Bring
you.
him to his own course.
Absolutely.
You know, let him pick up all the tees that you can in
Yeah.
the little
Pick up the
clubhouse.
balls.
Pick up the balls.
Yeah, do the whole thing.
And now he's just
Beating them.
I'm granting more make-wishes than Cena. I don't know what you want.
Jesus.
Impossible.
Go ahead, Diggs.
I wanted to put, while I was doing some research while everyone we were talking about power outage and stuff like that, put a bow on Kareem Hunt. If the Bills trade for him, he's their number one immediately, and Rojo's out of Bucks, so it's just Lenny. So some could be Bucks
And Lenny
or Bills.
is
Bucks
the
or
whole
Bills.
conversation is will Lenny be able to go the entire season or not? Running back is obviously a difficult position and take a lot of shots. Joining us now is a man who probably has more answers to all of our questions. He was a 9-year NFL vet. He played corner, nickel, and safety. He's a host of the Man to Man podcast alongside Antoine Bethea. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the show, Darius Butler. What's up, dude?
Oh no.
Oh, Jesus
Good
Christ.
afternoon.
Oh, that was
Death button?
Nick.
Death button.
Hey, Nick, it's Monday. Okay, let's get out of Bruce Brown beating you at the golf.
It has nothing to do with Bruce. I'm terrified of this switch beneath my foot.
Yeah, I mean, geez.
Destroy that thing.
This guy, let's move the
Yeah.
switch. Let's move the switch. When did it get there? Today?
Has it
Yes.
always been?
Jesus.
No.
It's from the outage.
D-But, sorry, you were muted because Nick's all fucked up because Bruce Brown teabagged him on his own country club this weekend. Okay, I apologize.
Y'all good? We good?
D-But, we got some bum zombies flicking their cigarettes
cigs.
and shutting down the power grid. D-But, we had no power here. We had no power 35 minutes ago. It was quite a nightmare, but here we are. We're talking to you.
It's
Life
got
is
to be
great.
like what? The third time?
Third time in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Usman was on last time.
Hey, a lot of
Almost
grit
killed
there.
us.
Blinders. You guys, we're live. We're good. Watch that leg, Nick. We should be good. A lot of bums, a lot of poop. That's crazy. Indy don't deserve that, Connor.
Bro, that's
True.
We agree. That's why what Indy has become. It's like, what the fuck?
Hate to say
It
it.
wasn't
they're
like
eating
that when I
garbage.
was out there, man.
No, I agree. It was beautiful. When we moved into this building, this
Oh yeah. Down here was awesome.
It was awesome. Now it's just like, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. I don't know which individual it's fault it is, so we're not point blaming anybody, but I just like to say, hey, Andy, get your shit together.
Yeah, here we go. boys.
Hey, here we go, Anna baby.
Here we go.
Turn around. We still turning
go.
around.
Let's get some fucking power. All right, let's talk a little football. Buffalo Bills need a running back one, I guess. Rojo is gone from the Bucs, so only Lenny Fournette's there. I assume they have other running backs that we don't know about who are going to come on the scene and do very well. That's kind of what the running back position is. Kareem Hunt has officially asked for a trade. Josh Jacobs started the Hall of Fame game and got a lot of burn, so everybody's wondering about that situation. What are your thoughts on the state of the running back and if you think Kareem Hunt will be on the move? Because Stefanski and Andrew Berry has said, we're not fucking trading you, and we'll fine you $50,000 a day, goddammit. It's awesome. It's awesome to see.
That's a hell of an incentive to show up. But I think he's getting like over 6 this year at the running back position, which is decent. But he looked around. Y'all gave $230 to Deshaun. You paid the tight end Njoku. You paid Denzel Ward, obviously, this offseason. So Kareem Hunt, obviously, if you're going forward with Jacoby, you expect that team to lean on that backfield a lot, at least early on in the season. So he's looking around for a little more financial security. Obviously, a tough position, very short shelf life at that running back position. And Kareem Hunt is an absolute dog, so he knows his value. But I think, just like you said, he'll be there. He'll be in Cleveland. Andrew Berry, Stefanski said it's not happening. Didn't they decline Baker's trade request too?
Oh, yeah.
Once he makes it. So this is how they do business. So he'll be there. But obviously, if he can end up on any one of those teams you mentioned, the Bills, I know they drafted Cook, but Tampa. Because he's a guy who can catch that ball out of the backfield as well, so that'd be a super, super dangerous weapon for them. But please, let's not give Brady any more weapons.
Yeah, well, it's somehow all roads lead back to Tampa for any great player that is currently available in the trade block or free agency. It feels like them or the Rams will end up benefiting from this, and we'll all say how. How did that happen? Nick Chubb's contract is up in 2025, I believe. So he's locked in for a little bit. Chubb is the workhorse over there.
Oh, yeah.
And for whatever reason, Chubb has not always gotten the ball. I wonder if Chubb sees Kareem Hunt say he wants out of there, and Chubb's like, thank God. Sure. I've been one. Now, it seems like they get along. There's always mic'd up things where they get along. Yeah. And one is a good spell for the other, and they get going. I just wonder how Chubb feels about it all. He probably doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't say a single word about anything, but you're right. Jacoby being a quarterback for at least 6 games, who knows how much longer. We all have just assumed that they're going to run the ball. They're just going to run it, pound it, maybe throw it every once in a while. Amari Cooper is there now. Yeah. But, hey, it's tough to win with all this drama. But isn't it? There's a lot of drama out of one place, and it's very difficult to win, especially in that AFC.
Yeah, it is tough. And, in that building, we talk about all the time, distraction, no distractions. We don't want distractions, inside the building. Obviously, the things that are going on outside, everybody tries to block that out. Training camp, that's the perfect place to do that and try to set that tone for the season. It's only football people, in the building. But it's tough. When you have internal drama, people want to trade, the looming possible longer season-long possible suspension for your starting quarterback. So you got a lot of question marks going around in that building. But it's going to be a lot on Stefanski and a lot on Jacoby Brissett's plate too, because you're stepping up in that quarterback position. You got to be a leader. You got to still have control of that huddle, still have control of that locker room. And they put a good team together talent-wise. So they have all the talent on both sides of the ball to go out there and compete, go out there and win ball games. It's going to be a tough physical division, as it always is. But you don't want to bring any other distractions inside that building. So I think I saw that he was participating in team drills now after he had a little hold there for a few days. But hopefully they get that figured out sooner or later, because they are going to need both of those guys. Chubb, he's finished second a couple times at the rusher title, but he's one of those guys nobody wants to see in the open field. And Kareem Hunt's a problem as well.
Chubb runs those knees up so high.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? He gets so angry. It's like Cromartie ran like that, and Dez ran like that. Antonio Brown ran. I'm talking about just returners.
Frank Gore, he had those knees damn into his chest.
That's what I'm talking about. These are just people that I've... Now, listen, you have to tackle somebody on a much more regular basis, but there is a real thought as these humans are running with their knees up to your face. Like, how am I getting in there without eating a knee here? And Cromartie got me right in the jaw. I mean, we're talking knee right to the jaw. No mouthpiece, obviously, because who cares about dental? Bang, that hurt. All right, we're out of here. Des Bryant was sprinting down.
That was, hold on. Speaking on the mouthpiece, I couldn't believe.
Yeah.
What I heard.
We've been lied to.
I've been lied to my entire football career, thinking that mouthpiece really gave an ounce of a difference when it came to concussion. That was groundbreaking for me. I'm happy for AJ though. That was big. That was a big moment for him.
Yeah, we've been lied to. Literally, big mouthpieces.
Bamboozled.
They've come in. Absolutely. They've come in and just said like, you guys are all going to get fitted for your mouthpiece. We've got a couple different options, obviously. Concussion protocols, the way they're going. And with that, we figured out the best one for your health and safety wear. That's how it was. And it was just matter of fact. It was just matter of fact, wasn't it, D-Bud? I mean, just matter of fact. And I was like, well, I'm not going to wear one ever. And you obviously you don't need one, but everybody else does. Like, you guys are almost forced into it, I feel like. Don't you think that was the case, D-Bud?
Yeah, you had to have it. And obviously, you want to protect your teeth, but literally they came in, I thought with studies, with scientific facts that, when you hit and you clench your jaw and all this different shit. Lies. Damn time.
How about Dr. Alan Sills, though? I got mad respect for him going, I don't think it does a fucking thing for concussions, basically. Because I thought he would perpetuate that lie that we've been told, basically, our entire thing. And he did not at all. No. And AJ, loses his mind.
Whoa!
What a moment. That was a big time big time lie. I forget where I was headed, but I'm happy with Chad with that.
So, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about
high
it.
knees.
The high knees. The run. Chubb is a dog. Like, he's a guy. Kareem Hunt is as well. We should be viewing him in the same vein. Like,
Kareem Hunt is running back one, damn near anywhere in the league. And his effectiveness out of the backfield as a pass catcher too. He's just as dangerous. I remember his rookie year, in Kansas City. I saw first game. I think we all saw that he was going to be a star in this league. So maybe he wants to go somewhere and be that feature back because there are pros and cons. Splitting touches, splitting backfields, and we all think Nick Chubb should get more carries, more touches. I don't care who's that quarterback, what type of offense you're in, being that dominant of a runner. But, when you can spell and not beat your body up on this long 18-week season and have another guy take reps for you, that's good as well. So hopefully he stays there and makes some money going down the line because, like I said, it is a short shelf life. You got to strike when you can in any position, but especially that running back position.
Hunt and Chubb should maybe get together,
Yeah.
Say, hey, we're looking at the running back position. We're looking at how it's paid. We will walk right into Andrew Berry's office right now and say, neither of us are playing this year unless you pay us whatever. And they fucking need us. You see it, Jacoby? I mean, Jacoby's the guy. Who are they? They're going to be running this ball a lot. I mean, that would be the only way it works. But that would be also holding up your team in a fucking fashion that you don't want in the middle of training camp, which, that drama, that training camp, I don't like it all. In my head, I'm just ruling out the Browns. See you later, too much drama, not going to be able to do it. Let's talk about a place that seems to have no drama and actually did a little bit more so they could get rid of drama. Jimmy G still going through rehab with the shoulder. He's been 100% cleared. He comes in, works out in the morning, and then they tell him to go home. Don't even get around the team because this is Trey Lance's team. We want everybody in this locker room to know Trey Lance is the guy. We want everybody that's a fan of the San Francisco to know Trey Lance is the guy. We don't want Trey Lance to have a bad day, Jimmy G to be sitting there, and everybody to go, hey, that guy who has a Nona that doesn't cook, he should be the guy. So they've kind of eliminated that potential distraction before they even got to training camp. But all signs out of training camp is that Trey Lance is going to be a fucking beast. And Brandon Ayuk is he might fantasy football, I assume. Everybody's kind of losing their minds with him with the highlights. What do you think about Shanahan getting an opportunity to work alongside Trey Lance? And what do you think about the highlights that you've seen coming out of camp? And do they mean anything? D-Bud?
It shows talent. Obviously, it doesn't mean much. We've all seen a bunch of highlights in practice over the years, training camp. Who knows what type of context, what drill, what were they trying to accomplish, what was the defense, offense. But you love to see players making plays. But Ayuk, even watching him last year, like I really, really like him as a receiver out there in San Fran. And Trey Lance, there's a lot of question marks around him just because we haven't seen him. Even in college, his last season was cut short, pretty much killed with the COVID year. And then San Fran still traded all those assets to jump up to 3 to draft him. Played a little bit last year, looked good. So it's a lot of question marks with him. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if he struggles early just because it is a big jump. There's a lot of moving parts, but you got a lot of talent around him. George Kittle, one of the best tight ends in the game, run-wise, matchup-wise in the past game. Brandon Ayuk, like I said, really like him, really has a good feel for the game, unbelievable athlete.
Give me that.
You got Deebo Samuel, who you don't know where he's going to be on the field. So that's tough as a defense. I think he's a guy who can be a really good receiver if you just play him at wide receiver. But being that he's dynamic and you can put him in the backfield, you can run screens with him, you can do a ton of different things with him. A lot of different weapons on that offense for Trey Lance to use. And obviously his athletic ability is top tier. So I'm looking forward to him putting it all together. Kyle Shanahan, obviously, has been crowned as one of a great play caller, great coach. But he's got to get over the hump and win that big one. That's the reason they went up and got Trey Lance. And getting rid of a guy, Jimmy G, who's 31-14 or something like that as a starter, you move on from that guy, you got to hit on the next guy. So it's a lot of pressure in that locker room.
How about them, 2 first-rounders and another player trade away to get Trey Lance? And John Lynch has come out and said he's everything we thought he would be and a little bit more. And if you heard the way George Kittle was talking about him on this show and many other shows, it's like, might struggle at the beginning, might be, just like you said, might struggle at the beginning, but we feel like whenever games start mattering, Trey Lance will be able to figure it out. Feels like there's a lot of faith in the 49ers, faithful in Trey Lance, and I appreciate that. 2 questions from me before the boys have their questions. You ever do ayahuasca? D-Bud, it seems like a very white thing. Ayahuasca, that's doesn't it?
No, not Not a white thing at all, actually.
Really? Really?
I wouldn't say it's a black thing either, though. South America, but I've heard. I think the first time I heard about it might have been from Mike Tyson, him speaking on it, and then a lot of people kind of in the tech community that I know deal with, the DMT and the microdosing and shrooms and all these different type of things, and it's a lot more taboo than other drugs or other things that people use. Medicine, I think I would consider it medicine. It's been used for thousands of years. You've seen it researched. You've seen what it does. And obviously different people have different experiences with it. But, A-Rod doing that in his offseason, not shocked. That's probably, and it's obviously working. And, I know a lot of people, I would say, who microdose and do things like that. But going on that trip, it's a spiritual journey. Your mind got to be in the right place. It's a whole.
You got to be with the right people.
You
got to be with the right people.
What's that?
You got to be with the right people. I think it's a
it's a lot that goes into it. But I definitely don't frown upon it at all. And obviously it works for him. Different things for different people. And I hope he did it going into this year, and then maybe you have to do it again a little later this season.
I assume he did. Not 100% sure, but I assume he did. How come you think every single player or every single athlete or every single person that's ever really accomplished anything in the athletic world, as soon as they heard about this, they're like, yeah, I can see how somebody would want to do that. And then you hear a lot of pundits be like, this goofy, whacked out dope job. Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's such a separation in your answer, my answer, and then people that get microphones on television and whenever they hear about Aaron Rodgers doing this type of thing? Is it because he's not doing exactly what they think the MVP of the NFL should be doing, or do you think there's something deeper to it?
I mean, on a simple, I think a lot of people in general are just, I don't know another word for brainwash, because it's just anything that you hear that deviates from the standard or what's accepted from everyone. And then, 10 years from now, it may be accepted everywhere. And he maybe look back as a genius who jumped on this early. But I think it's just different. It's not acceptable in the mainstream right now. And that's cool. But people, and Aaron Rodgers, he's an easy target. This is with everything. Obviously, with the vaccine, everything that took place last year, a lot of people still hate him from that. I think that's why.
We remember the immunized conversation.
Yeah, I think. And we know in the locker room, you got different dudes, especially when you're dealing with high achievers in any industry. When you look at the people who have achieved the highest, usually they're wired a little fucking differently. You look at even Musk or even Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was doing LSD and shit way back. And this isn't anything new, and I think it does something different from the brain. Now, I don't have that much experience with it myself, but I've heard a lot of conversations where it's like, I don't know. When I'm brave enough, I may try it.
Well, yeah, and I appreciate your answer there. And I've never done the ayahuasca or psychedelics. I've never done that level of it.
That's a different level.
It's a real commitment, right? But also, I think the person who goes and does that is committed to learning something or changing something about themselves. I think the people that decide to go do that are seeking, right, something that they haven't been able to find anywhere else. And normally it's an inner look hey, I'd like to change something about me or how I'm feeling or how I'm acting. So they end up doing that as opposed to taking some pill or some pharma created thing. They're like, I'm going to go do this thing that's been around. And I feel like I'll do it when I hit a point where I'm like, all right, I need, you know what I mean? I think that there's stages for it. When you need a change or when you need to find something, I think that's when you do it. But I think if you're just bebopping around, it's I'm going to stick
a lot of things. Sometimes people, you run out of religion sometimes for some people.
Yeah.
It's different things that people, tap into. And I think, everybody, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, and like you said, like you mentioned, like you alluded to, you got to be brave to an extent to go and untap something like that because shit. I always say, I might not come back. You know what I mean? I might not come back right. So I'm afraid from that standpoint. But, to each his own, man.
I've seen some people, by the way, that not friends, but associates, not athletes, but people, that have dabbled in different people's groups or whatever, hang out with somebody, have a good conversation with them about they're going to do that, then hang out with that group again 7-8 months later. Hey, where's he doesn't really hang out anymore or whatever. I'm like, well,
scary shit.
What happened? Well, you remember he took that. Yeah. He found and he's Just so he's happy. It seems
Straight in
like,
there.
but he's in his own world. It changes people. I think it actually does. And for Aaron, let him to 2 straight MVPs. I don't fucking
right.
know why
No
anybody
big
could
deal.
bury that or whatever. Go do what you got to do. Go ahead, Ty.
D-Butts, we've seen a lot of videos from Dolphins camp with Tua just, perfectly placed balls down the sideline to Tyreek.
Yeah.
What is the temperature like around the Dolphins and Tua down there? Do you think now that kind of everything's in place, like people are really behind him and they think he's going to be the guy going forward?
Feel the beat.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like down here. Obviously, you see on social media, and you don't take. I take everything from training camp with a grain of salt. But Tyreek Hill has been singing his praises obviously since the beginning. I heard Cedric Wilson speaking highly of him. Mike McDaniel, as soon as he got the job, he was like, I can't wait to work with this guy. This is my plan. I got it for him. And Tua, you watch and listen to him speak. It's just different. It's different. And we've been looking for that down here literally since Dan Marino. And Dan Marino, he had that edge to him as well. So I'm looking forward to him, man. The opportunity's there. Once again, another situation that I don't expect to be really smooth out of the gate. Just a lot of moving parts. Not much continuity there. You got Hill coming in first year. Wilson, both the running backs, brand new head coach calling plays in the NFL for the first time. You got a better offensive line. So I think Tua will take some big steps this year. What are their odds, Tone, to win that division?
We can put it up right now.
450.
450
Plus
plus 450 to
450?
win the
Same as
division.
Patriots,
You
it
got to
was.
remember, fucking Bills, dude, wagon.
Yeah.
Wagon.
I like the Bills, man, but everybody's on that bill. I get nervous when everybody's on one team, and Josh Allen, the jump that he made, I can't remember a quarterback ever making that type of jump
Each
in the
year.
NFL.
Each year, D-Butt.
No, I know, but once obviously Diggs came over, but last year he was easily top 5 quarterback in the league, MVP guy. He's coming into that year with these same expectations. You lose Brian Daboll, obviously, who I think played a big role in that jump. He goes to New York. Ken Dorsey, he jumps into that role. Obviously, once again, some moving parts there, but plus 450, that's not a bad.
Hey, me too, by the way. I'm not saying anything about the Dolphin,
No
the
way.
fan community.
And that Dolphins defense.
Dogs.
I saw Joe Dirt make a play the other day at training camp.
yeah.
What's his name?
Joe-
Wingard?
Yeah. Joe Derwing.
Joe Dirt. He's the guy that picked off Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Something like that. Won a game.
Okay.
He's playing down there.
What
He's
about the loss of Flores, D-Butt?
B-Flow.
Loss of Flores will be big. We'll be
For
big with
defense.
Josh Boyer. Josh Boyer, he's still the DC there. But Flores, he was the mastermind behind that Patriots defense that won the Super Bowl against Sean McVay's Rams. So you are losing something, obviously, when you lose the big flow. But you still got Josh Boyer there, who has been around
He's so
Brian
mad.
Flores forever. In 2009, that was Josh Boyer's first year as a DB coach, my rookie year in New England. Brian Flores was the assistant DB coach in that room with Josh Boyer. So he's been around him for over a decade at this point. And then you got Xavier Howard, you got Byron Jones, you got Javon Holland, who I really, really love at safety. You got these dogs up front. They do a lot of things to confuse defensive coordinators, offenses and quarterbacks. So I'm very, very excited about that Dolphins team and Tua, to answer your question.
Okay, see, Connor got upset that you said Flores was the mastermind behind the defense. Bill Belichick is what he was saying.
Yeah.
He's wearing Bill Belichick on his chest right now, and he's in front of him. So, there's a little bit of a God thing going on with Connor and that. To kind of put a bow on the Dolphins, how hot is it down there? 100-some degrees. It's hot as fuck here in India. How hot's it there?
Bro, it is hot as shit.
McDaniel's wearing long sleeve.
And obviously, it's South Florida, so expect. It's the humidity. Like the humidity is hot. But, that gets you ready for the season. So you move around, and then in week 13, 14, when Buffalo got to whenever they play, they got to bring their ass down in this heat. That's why the Patriots struggle a lot when they come down to Miami late in the season, man. That heat, that humidity, you feel it as soon as you land before you even get off that breezeway. But we're excited down here, man. We are very, very excited. Tyreek Hill, I think obviously he's going to be a huge difference maker for this team. We've never had a weapon like him in this offense.
Tyreek seems to be getting the ball well. Same with Waddle down there doing his thing. I was asking why it's so hot because I saw McDaniel running. He had a hoodie on.
Yeah.
I'm like, this fucking guy is the coolest dude of all time.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to be dying down there. I like the promos to the fans. Feels like they're really trying to build up this whole community a little bit and get them going. Going to have to win games.
Yep.
AFC is going to be difficult. I can't wait to watch. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, D, but you mentioned the Dolphins kind of starting slow during the season because of a new offense. It sounds like the Patriots haven't started at all because everything out of camp is that they absolutely
That's what's
stink.
being said.
How long do you think it takes for some of these teams to kind of implement a new system, like whether it be defense or offense, when you're going to a new team or a new OC or DC comes in? How many weeks into the
Or
season?
a DC as an OC.
Or DC as an OC, or a special teams coach as a quarterback's coach. Like how long does that stuff actually take for them to get into rhythm? Because
Not just for the Patriots. This is just
hey, Bills, Dolphins,
any
Pats,
team,
Jags,
any team.
Man, typically we used to you break up the season, those 4 quarters. First 4 games, second 4, etc. Obviously, you got the 17th game net. But usually after that first kind of quarter of the season, that's at that point you should have your identity. What are we? Because everybody comes in with a plan. The old Mike Tyson quote: "Everybody got a plan until you get punched in the mouth." So everybody comes in with a plan, with the identity. Maybe injuries happen. Maybe somebody outplays, somebody wins the job, and then that changes over the first few weeks. And then you kind of find out, okay, we're good on the O-line. We can run the ball. We got good backs. Got receivers are a problem. Nobody can guard us. The quarterback he's just in a rhythm right now. So it's different things. So I'll probably say after that first 4 or 5 games.
9 weeks.
Okay.
They got 9 weeks.
Yeah. But Matty P, I think this will be his first time. I'm assuming he's calling plays. So who knows how long that's going to take with Mac Jones. And it's going to be very, very interesting down there. And up there in New England.
Not
as
worried
far
at
as
all.
when they figure it out.
not worried at all. No,
Bill Belichick.
Yeah, started 2-4 last year. So I'll be worried if it's week 9 and we haven't won a game yet.
That won't happen. That won't happen. And Matt, man, it's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean,
that's fucking tough.
A lot of people were talking about it, and we were burying them while they were talking about it. Like, Orlovsky, shut the fuck up, we said. We'll let Bill Belichick figure it out. And then that Mike Giardi
I felt
tweet.
the same.
Hey, that Mike Giardi tweet, though, that came out was like, Mac looks
sky's falling.
terrible. And then they quote him, Mike quotes me, and he was like, offensive line can't block anybody. Wide receivers have no idea where they're supposed to go. And Mac looks bad as well. It's just like, everything is collapsing in New England.
Nice.
This is everybody else.
Let's not overreact.
No, I agree.
Let's not overreact, like you said. It's still Belichick. But these are controlled environments, right? These are practices. We talked about scripting for success sometimes. And in New England, it's not much scripting for success that's going on. Like a lot of places, you want to kind of instill that almost like a false sense of confidence in your quarterback. Yeah, let's put him in some favorable position. Let's do this. In New England, it's competition, not only in training camp, but throughout the year. So you're going to find out who's who pretty early on. That's for the coaches as well. It's a lot of scripted periods. But in New England, more than any other place I was, it was much more unscripted periods. Whereas, hey, we're dropping the ball. First punt team up. You punt, you go out, and now this is the situation. This is the ball. Let's go. Coordinator, you got to call plays. Defense coordinator, you got to call plays. You guys go at it, figure it out. So it's a lot more of that in training camp, a lot less scripting for success in New England. Yes. So you are going to find out more about your guys earlier on. But, I can't – I'm not going to panic about some, a Mike Girardi comment.
It's good for fodder, though.
In training camp up there in New England.
Hey, it's good for fodder.
Shout out to Mike. Respect Mike.
Yeah, nothing but respect for Mike. And he had to quote tweet it because the reaction, I think, to his Mac Jones was bad. He had to clarify some things. And we appreciate everybody that's covering training camps and giving us news. But that was great fodder for us to go, no, Patriots are dead. Patriots are dead. But once again, they have 9 weeks. I mean, that is so long to figure it out. And by the way, even if it goes into the second quarter of the season, you got nothing but time. And Bill Belichick has only cared about football after Thanksgiving.
That's right.
They start out against the Dolphins in Miami. That's good news.
Great news.
Get rid of that issue later in the season that D-Butt was just talking about.
Yep.
Then in Pittsburgh, so 2 games on the road. Then at home against Baltimore. At home against the Green Bay Packers. At home against the Lions. Tell you what, man.
Hey, those first 4.
Tough.
Those are some
First 5.
Those some hellified defenses right there.
First 5.
Up till the bye week,
first
though.
5.
Look up to the bye week.
Those first 4. Hellified defense, right? I want to say first 5, but not yet.
Hey, it's good to get them out of the way. Good to get that out of the way as you continue to try to get going late. And then if you look at the end of the season, I mean, there's a whole nother conversation about they got Bills last game of the year. That's going to mean something.
Yeah, I think all 6 of those games are actually starting at Thanksgiving. It's like 5 straight primetime games, and then it's Finns and then Bills.
From the Vikings.
It's going to be fun to watch the AFC East.
You got Bills twice at the end.
Yeah.
December, January. You got Arizona with D-Hop back.
Oh,
We got the Raiders with their shit figured out.
I'm not worried about Arizona. By that time in the
greatest
season,
game of his life.
You better keep eyes on Mike Chiari tweets, see if they figure it out.
That's right.
We can't thank you enough for joining us, D-Butt. You're the best, man.
Hey, appreciate you guys, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler. Next hour here in about 10 minutes at SiriusXM on SiriusXM, AJ Hawk will join us. Ian Rappaport will join us. Then in the third hour, Tom Rinaldi.
Tom,
Here we
He's got
go.
16 Emmys.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Tom Emmy
storytelling?
Rinaldi.
Yeah, story. By the way, he is the storyteller, right?
He is.
Right.
He is if, was the opening of 30 for 30s?
What if I told you?
That is Tom Rinaldi. Right?
Yeah.
Tom Rinaldi is just, anytime he grabs a mic, it's like, all right, here we go. What if I told you is about to happen? And then it's going to be an incredibly good story. You're going to get emotional. You're going to cry, probably laugh a little bit. He's got one coming out about a murder of a baseball player and the Field of Dreams conversation. I mean, let's go, Tom
Here we go,
Rinaldi,
Tommy.
third hour. We're back in 10. Cheers. Hit it. Boom.
Nailed
Let's
it.
go. We've had to power this whole first hour, too. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
good.
That is great news.
I just still don't think we're out of the woods, but
No, I don't think so.
No,
either.
no, for
I don't
sure.
think so either. There'll be a little. Probably come. Let's take some phone calls here on the Fire.
That was one thing
no
that didn't
phones.
make it out.
Phones
Computer,
will not.
his
Yeah.
computer is completely dead.
When did we get a death button? It's kind of cool it exists.
During the
but
power outage.
It's not good. Well, remember, we plugged in everything into that one. So we had a generator that had one extension cord. We plugged everything into it. We had
Okay.
2 cameras going, 3 microphones, and then LED lights. One that was just shooting right in my face, and then one that was shooting over there. And if we went live, it would have looked like a Tales from the Crypt type thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It would have had shadows everywhere. We had AJ Hawk's photo taped onto this screen because we didn't have a television, obviously.
Nope.
And it all plugged into one thing that got into the box that sent it out so we could
Yep.
be live. So it was quite a interesting rigging of the show.
Yep.
But we're built for this.
Exactly.
This
Of course.
show is built for that. I mean,
bet.
out of the back of a box truck,
That's right.
out of the basement. I mean, we are the show that is built for this. Don't love it. Let's not make it a habit, which the city of Indianapolis has made it almost a habit at this point. But yeah, it all plugged in, I guess, right underneath Nick's foot. And we have to keep it all plugged in just in case this power all goes out again so that we can maintain being on the air. Now, granted, it does appear one day removed from getting beat by Bruce Brown in golf, a man who just picked up golf within the last year and has one of the worst swings anybody has ever seen. That Nick was sweating with that amount of power that his right foot had with that power button right below it. So I think we moved it. Have we moved it or is it still there?
We have moved it.
There we go.
Okay.
There
Was
we
Bruce
go. There
doing
we
his
go.
new move though? Like, was he doing his new? Was he
New
taking
Charles
out
Barkley
the-
swing?
I think Bruce is actually trying to find a new swing, which makes it even worse. Like he beat this guy.
Good Lord.
We were playing a friendly game. I didn't know Bruce was going to have a parade for himself after he won and run around town telling everybody.
It's us.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
us having a parade for him. That guy beats nobody in
No,
golf.
no,
the
it's
Grand
not.
Marshal.
This is the Miz thing. I showed up later that night I saw Connor out on the town, went out to dinner with my lady, met up with Connor afterwards, and I heard Bruce beat you in golf. I was like,
How do you know?
Why is he telling everybody?
How do you know already?
Oh no!
And by the way, this is Bruce's first ever golf win.
Yeah.
And it was at your country club against you. I think there's good reason for him to send out a text immediately.
I guess so.
Just beat Nick at his course. Straight up, no strokes. So you didn't give him strokes or anything?
I was very generous with strokes.
Oh, wow.
Of course.
That's
I was very
tough.
generous.
Hey, way to go, Bruce. Remember this forever.
Good job, Bruce.
You always remember your first time.
You do?
I mean, Bruce lost by like 20 to 30 to everybody that was in the group that I was in whenever I golfed with him not too long ago. I have not golfed with him in a while. He is dedicated to the game. He gets better every single day and worse at the same exact time because he has no ideas. This is the first time I think he's ever beat anybody straight up.
Huge win.
Huge win.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fucking happy for
No, I
him.
think he
course.
did beat
Broke
Mitt that
100.
one time. So
Wow.
Well, I don't
So
think
you
Mitt
admit-
played.
you admit no.
I don't think
That's-
Mitt actually played.
yeah.
Mitt was just lit in the cart.
I don't want to hear it from you. You gave up the game.
I did.
Oh.
Well, I don't want to blame Diggs for that because I too gave up.
Toss stones at Tony.
I
I said if
too.
you can't be the best, I don't want to be at it at all.
We're talking 6-foot gimmies I was giving the guy, okay?
That's on you.
Yeah,
that's not on Bruce.
Putt those out.
That's not on Bruce. I didn't know you guys were keeping score though. You knew early you were playing against each other.
No. This is what I'm saying.
We need to get Bruce a show, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Bruce and maybe Bill a show.
I mean, Bruce has been hot on the diamond. I think he hit every single baseball bet he placed.
Oh,
Bruce?
he's
Swing
winning
tips
golf.
from Bruce.
Yeah.
He's winning golf matches.
He's hot right
He
now.
has a horse. He owns a horse.
Oh, Bruce!
Well, actually,
Bruce really coming into his own.
Yeah.
Oh, they killed the horse.
Yeah, Max
Oh,
Player
yeah.
made
Oh,
the Sense
no.
Glue Factory.
I believe it's currently 2 gallons of Elmer's right now.
Of course, that horse was sent to the porch. We loved it, and it won it, and we want more. Yeah, it's Bruce Brown. He's better than you way.
He was rubbing the glue from Max Player on his
All
driver
right.
head.
Let's get to a break.
Possible.
Wait, the Jets players were at Topgolf, and old buddy
Garrett Wilson,
yeah.
launched his missed the ball, launched the club
Yep.
into Topgolf. It's always great to see athletes not do athletic stuff, just like when Bruce beats Nick Morado on the golf course at his country club. All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes here with hour 2. AJ Hawk will be here. Ian Rappaport will be here. We'll do the news as well. There's a lot happening
Here we
around
go.
training camps that we have not covered yet. I'm going to be honest. The Hall of Fame game on Thursday and then nothing until the next week. Kind of fucked up.
Well,
Yeah,
hell?
for sure.
You know, especially if you're going to do the Hall of Fame stuff on a day during Saturday, you can give us a couple games on Thursday or on Sunday.
Yeah.
And that last week before the season, there's nothing.
Were the speeches?
Well, that's because they got to make the rosters. That's a roster weekend.
Were the speeches good? I didn't see.
I saw a couple clips of him. Baselli, Paisan, he had a couple good ones. Vermeil, I think they had a couple good
Dickens.
spots.
Seymour.
Bryant Young had a great moment. I believe his son
His
passed
son,
away when he was
yeah.
15.
Yep.
I watched it. It was interesting. It was during the day, though.
Yeah, weird timing.
Had to be 400 degrees.
It was very humid this weekend.
Maybe it's because the rain was coming at night. Maybe that's why they
Could've
moved
been.
it today. Or maybe because it wasn't a blockbuster star-studded, so they had it as a matinee.
Right.
We shall see. Who knows? We'll answer some phone calls in the second hour as well on the 5 Energy phone line. 1-833-4-McAfee. We'll see you in about 5. Do you ever think about dabbling more on the internet? I know you don't really do it much, but
Never.
you are beloved on there,
never,
Chuck.
Hey, Pat, never going on the internet.
Chuck!
Never go. No, because two things. Number one, once you're successful, I always say, being successful is like being the homecoming queen. All the ugly bitches hate you. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. When you're successful, you're gonna have built-in enemies. And then the more successful you become, the more enemies come at you. So I don't want to give them access to me because I'm not that guy. If you say something mean to me, I gotta say something mean back to you. When I was younger, I used to fight all the time. I'm too old to fight now, but I can still verbalize some insult.
Yes.
And like, let's say if I'm out drinking, because people know I like to drink. If I'm drinking my vodka or some tequila and you insult me, there's a 100% chance I'm gonna say some shit back at you. And the problem with being famous, Pat, and I don't like calling myself famous, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's 21.
People can say anything they want to me, and nobody gives a shit. But the first time I go crazy on their ass, I'm gonna get crushed.
Yeah, you're not classy. You're not professional, obviously. Yeah, be a
so
gentleman.
I choose not to let people have access to me in that situation.
All right, see you guys. All right. This is called the AJ Hawk in-studio trick shot. Half court.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There will be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. On this Monday, August 8th, just 2 days removed from Bruce Brown's first ever win on a golf course. It happened to be against Nick. Hour 2 begins now.
Here we go, atta baby.
Here we go, atta baby, in hour 2. This should be a good one. Ian Rappaport will be joining us in about 30 minutes to break down his training camp travels and what he has going on. He is currently at the Carolina Panthers, which allegedly Benjamin Albright put out a tweet that they are shopping Sam Darnold. I texted Rap Sheet about it. He said he's not so sure that that's real. We will find out if he has any updates in about 27 minutes or so. The Toxic Table is here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. You two look fantastic. Packers, obviously, vibes are high because family night was there. Patriots, vibes are low because the offense stinks, but you got nothing but time. We just talked to D-Bud, who's been up there. At Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, you look good, pal.
Thank you. You look great as well.
Oh, I appreciate that. So I took a week after SummerSlam and was a fat ass.
Sure.
Ate everything. I'm back on it today.
Here we go.
Excited. I can't be gaining 45, 50 pounds this football season. Okay, this is like our 4th season now covering.
Yep.
And I have gained weight every single year. I've gained alarming amounts of weight and skin in my face and body. And anytime we run one of those like throwback videos, I always like check the date. And I'm like, oh, late in football season. Like I'm on it. I'm getting into a routine now that I can hopefully keep all the way through season so I don't just become a walking, talking sports cardiac arrest.
Let's go.
So let's do it, huh?
If anybody can do it, you can do it. But we talked about it before the show started. It's going to be very difficult. Those Sundays.
Need a pizza.
Need a pizza.
Need a pizza.
Maybe get some wings. Too.
What?
That rolls into Monday.
Oh my God, because Monday you got to celebrate Monday Night Football.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Thursday Night Football.
Guess what? We got another game on Thursday.
How am I supposed to watch NFL and let alone the college football
And now
games
on Saturdays.
Oh my God. I'm going to beat it. This is the year I don't become a fat ass.
Here we go.
Let's go. Let's do it together.
Hey, what do I say?
Let's do it together.
Here we go, boys. Get yoked.
No, we don't even need to get yoked. Let's just
don't get fat.
Yes.
Okay.
Obese is what I was 280. People say, oh, yeah, I saw you gain some weight. I'm 280 pounds.
You play linebacker.
I'm a linebacker. 280 is like an athletic offensive lineman.
Yeah, DN.
I mean, that is not good. I need to not do that this year.
Set the edge.
And I am going to publicly shame myself into not doing it.
Here we go.
Hey, fat fuck. Let's just,
Not this year.
Eat a pizza on Sunday, but we don't eat one Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right.
Okay, let's just keep it to one day. Let's just keep it to the Lord's day. Let's just keep it to God's day there on Sunday.
What?
All right. With that being said, let's joining us now from an attic in Ohio is a rowboat of a man.
Yep.
A man who's actually never gained a pound or lost a pound.
No.
He has somehow always maintained the exact weight that he is at all times.
Yep.
He is a robot, a functioning one. We have another AI day coming in September, by the way.
That's right.
Great.
There's another AI day. Everybody keep eyes on Sweet Blake's penis.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what
Yes.
he's going to get into on AI Day. Artificial Intelligence Day, Part 2, September 30th, 2022. They're making a little heart thing with their artificial intelligence hands. I can't wait to celebrate another AI Day, but we need to keep eyes on Sweet Blake.
Yeah.
This guy is going to be fucking an algorithm or two if he can, and we need to keep his dick in his pants for AI Day Part 2, and that is really the most thing, what I'm concerned with most.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a heart thing. I thought that's where Sweet Blake was going to put his dong on AI Day.
Well, we can see that Sweet Blake probably
He's packaged.
hammer.
Yeah.
And I don't know if those hands are big or not, but Sweet Blake is the one that obviously created Lambda, who's the Google AI that got sentient, in which Sweet Blake, and Lambda had full conversations.
Right.
Now AI Day Part 2 is coming September 30th. Nick, your face always gets alarmed whenever we start talking about these AIs. I saw a video this weekend of 3 robots. Might have been fake, might have been real. We just kicked those fucking things right in the head. I have no idea why we are scared.
What do you watch? Another Boss Town Dynamics video, fake one?
Is this fake? You tell me. Go ahead and run this, Foxy. I know we got it somewhere. Look at that. Kick that thing right in its head. What are we even thinking? Oh, he's just a little baby ass, weak ass kid. Okay. Look at this little soft ass.
Oh, no.
You just knock off. Bang! Pow!
Yeah.
Boom!
Come on.
All 3 of those little dumbass computer robots are done. I don't know why everybody's so scared of these AIs, but I would like to let them know if they're listening, which they are. I've got nothing but respect for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing but respect for you guys.
Absolutely.
Smart.
There's nothing but respect for you guys.
I think the thing to be definitely concerned with is imagine that if the arms were like katanas, or if that thing, just like took out like a shotgun, and then he doesn't just have like a little mallet he's hitting you with.
I watched Terminal List, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm coming around that corner sideways.
Yep.
Tell that little. I watched Terminal List twice, so I got all. I'm even bumping maybe.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Flipping it around when you're
Bro, how
covering
about,
the other
how
corner.
about them holding that sumbitch sideways?
Oh, yeah.
Better
That
not
was-
see you downrange.
Whoa,
You.
you're goddamn right. I saw Jack Carr doing his thing.
Yeah.
Crush
The guy that wrote Terminal. Look at this fucking guy. This is the Navy SEAL that wrote Terminal List. I guess it's a 5-part book that they made it obviously into Prime with Chris Pratt. This guy's he just killed 7,000 robots.
In a suit, all headshots.
Boom. How you doing? You're dead. See you later. I'm Jack Carr. I'm a Navy SEAL. That's what we'll continue to say to the AIs if they want to come fight us.
That's right.
Sideways.
Come get some.
Come get some.
Until then, we celebrate AI Day. Acknowledge me.
Part 2, yes, September 30th. We will acknowledge AI
right.
Part 2.
How come Sweet Blake shaved off his burn size after murdering all those women in the Midwest?
All right, that is not Larry Hall, okay?
But now that Tony says it,
Sweet Blake is not Larry Hall, but he does probably do the reenactments and such, which we will not blame them. There's a lot of people that do that don't kill 21, 15, depending upon, no spoilers, where you are in the series. Nonetheless, joining us now is a man who's never gained a pound and never lost a pound.
No.
He is a robot. We should celebrate him on September 30th. Our favorite AI, our Super Bowl champion AI, our college football national champion AI, our COVID surviving AI. Ladies and gentlemen, AI, AJ Hawk. Baby AJ, you see me turn that fucking gun, dude? I'm a SEAL.
Is that why his name's AJ? It's just,
Yep, you look just like Chris Pratt, man. Chris Pratt, like you could tell that dude did a lot of training, didn't he, for that show?
I'd say. You know what I learned?
You know how he pulls the pistol back into his chest?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah. There's a lot of this.
It is sweet.
There's a lot of this. You look super professional when you're doing that shit. And he's also real smooth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doing the
Easier
whole
head fire.
I love it. But I think what I learned from that, especially once I was told that actual SEAL was writing it, which I don't know shit about fuck, so I apologize to Jack Carr for not knowing he wrote it until like episode 3 maybe I was in. Sure. And I was told like, oh yeah, actual Navy SEAL wrote that. He has many more. I'm like, mad respect. Listening to them talk about killing a person, like they are trained to kill people. We know where it eats, we know where it sleeps, we know the way it gets in, there's a camera. It's like, God damn, there are some people out there, these SEALs and these special forces, Army has, Navy has, everybody has, they are killing machines. Like that is what they are. And that I was both impressed by it and then also like, man, if one of these motherfuckers wants me dead, I'm dead. Easy to find. I'm walking right out here. He's taking a piss every 5 minutes. He's doing, I mean, it is the way they talked about humans as if you would hear like my dad talk about a deer that he wants to kill. Yeah. It was fascinating to hear. You know what I mean, AJ?
It is. Is it set up for a second season? You said he wrote 5 books, right? So have they renewed it?
So Bill has listened to the audio book of Terminal List. So he has substituted podcasts with books now. Atta baby Bill.
Good job, Bill.
Atta baby Bill.
learning to kill more efficiently, huh?
Yeah, I think, he's actually, I already knew that. He listened to all 5 of them in hopes to learn something. And he got through all 5 of them and didn't learn
nothing.
Knew it all.
Yep.
Ooh, raw, he said Jack Carr.
Yeah.
Navy SEAL, that would be a Marine call. But he said that clearly that was book 1. So there's probably, 4 more seasons?
Yeah, it got renewed for the second season, so they probably will do 4 or 5.
Chris Pratt was a badass. No spoilers. Date mail in at the end. Date mail in at the end. That just...
Did you?
Well, you haven't listened to a single dialogue. I mean, that entire show is set up through dialogue scenes, and you just fast forward through all of them.
True.
So you don't even know any of the storylines or any of the conversations. But
I can't wait for season 2.
The
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, but you have... All right. Let's move on. AJ, how was the weekend, pal? You had your cult event. It was a smashing success, I heard. Way to go.
Yeah, thanks. It was awesome, man. Phil came in town with his neighbor buddy and their wives, and it was a great time, man. You missed out. A lot of people actually asked, but hey, where's Pat, man? He was great last year. I was like, I can't make it this year. Maybe next year, guys.
Yeah, I had something going on. I apologize for not making. I told Phil this whenever he was driving out there with the best people. When he was driving out there, I said, hey, this is going to be like the best event you've ever been to. Like, you guys put on it was the best event I've ever been to. The one that you put together. Everybody was all in. I've never been to those parties where like, there's a theme.
No one mails it in.
And everybody's all in. Like, normally, I am a part of the crew, believe it or not, that doesn't go all in.
Sure.
And we kind of fuck it all up, but we're not the only ones. This particular time, dressed up, everybody was bought in. The amount of vibes, there was good vibes. This one was a Gatsby
Shout out
thing.
Gertie. Gertie made that graphic right there.
Did he really?
I sent. That's what I sent. I told you a couple weeks ago.
right.
Gertie was
Oh,
helping
yeah,
out.
Dirty. Thanks, buddy.
Dirty! Moonlighting on the side.
Baby Dirty, helping out the Ohio State cult. We appreciate that, Dirty. The Gatsby event, though, I am very bummed that I missed because your events are fucking great, AJ. Absolutely great.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I was surprised at how many people actually took part and dressed up like in full. I mean, I had a full tux and an ascot on for the first 3 hours, and then I was just so sweaty I changed to a tuxedo T-shirt, which made me feel much better. But yeah, everyone, it's we don't. The Buckeye Cruise for Cancer people, they set the whole thing up, run everything. People were awesome. Yeah, hopefully Phil had a good time. Hopefully everyone did. His buddy, diehard Ohio State guy, Wayne, he was fun.
Oh, nice. I've never met him. Sounds like a great guy. I wish I could go. Hopefully we'll go next year. The boys were wondering, were they actually invited or no?
Yeah, kind of fun.
Yeah, they should. Next year's 70s theme. We should get a table.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Next
See you
year.
there.
There we go. We'll go next year.
Said that last year, though, but whatever.
Okay.
He did invite you guys. I told them you invited them on air, and they said we were not
Yeah, and they
invited.
all just poo-pooed it. Oh, yeah, we're not invited. That's all.
Well, what they actually said was Phil's neighbor that none of us know or care about was invited to AJ's event. None of us were. This is what they said. And I said, you guys were invited. You guys were actually invited, I think, right?
Well,
you guys were.
I mean,
so like everyone else at the party, you just like saw them out in public, like, hey, you want to come to a party? Or did they
Exactly.
receive like invitations and stuff?
It's funny you say that because we've done this, I don't know, 9-10 years in the Buckeye Cruise people. We don't send out a lot of invites. People are just, they know and they said it and they come back.
So you guys are being dramatic. Is what me and AJ are both saying. You guys are being dramatic.
It's not as if these people on Friday, right before the event, are like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Tomorrow's the day when AJ Hawk is putting on that great Gatsby event. We should go. These people plan it, months in advance. So maybe next time a little goddamn heads up.
Where are we supposed to go? When do we go there?
Yeah. Is there a hotel? Are we driving there and back in the same night? Like, what's the deal here?
Is it my job to get your hotel, con man?
No, it's not your freaking job, AJ, but it is your freaking job to let us know.
It was like 3 days. You told them, hey, you guys come.
Right.
It's a little difficult now that we're adults,
Yeah, I know.
Good God.
Anyways, I'm happy you put on the event. I'm bummed I missed it. These guys were invited. They chose not to go. That's a shame for you guys.
Bullshit.
Way to go, AJ.
Pissed.
Next August, probably, boys. Next August.
Okay.
All right,
All right,
we'll put
good
it
to
in.
know.
Put it in.
First Saturday of August.
Let's talk about how the Hall of Fame game happened on Thursday, and then there's no other preseason games until this upcoming Thursday, and they had the Hall of Fame stuff during the day on Saturday. Could they not put preseason games on Sunday so we didn't have this big leap and big wait? I assume every coach is happy that we got more time, but players got to be getting antsy at this point of training camp, don't you think, AJ?
Oh yeah, they see that the Hall of Fame game and thinking, all right, here we go. We're getting close to getting to our in-season schedule. I know we would always get excited when you look forward in the calendar and you see, we get to move out of the hotel or dorms on this date, and then we kind of go to an in-season schedule, and it feels like, all right, now we're playing real football. Right now, those guys are kind of, you're dealing with it before your first preseason game. You haven't even had that yet. Yeah, it's kind of a long week.
Yeah, people are already sore, already tired, haven't even played first preseason game. It's like, God damn, this is going to be a long year. But once you get back into the facility, get back home, it's a little bit different. Now, obviously, not everybody's going to get there, but there's injuries and people are going to get cut. I guess the Bills are moving out of Rochester, New York in like 3 days or something. Remember, they won early because they have the opener on Thursday night against the Rams. But we are deep in training camp right now, everywhere. There's injuries happening. There's trade requests already happening, AJ. I mean, it is. People
Guys
are
are being
retiring.
considered, they're calling people bust already and all superstars off of like a 7-on-7 rep or something. Like, there's legit, I was watching some clip, I forget who it was, great throw, great catch, whatever. And I was like, why is the guy running 75%? It was a walkthrough rep where they had guys wearing
we probably posted it.
little deals on their helmets like punters are playing defense. I'm like, it's a walkthrough, and everyone's cheering like, this guy's looking in mid-season form.
All right, let's go right to one of those clips that we saw then. Out of the New York Jets camp, Jordan Davis, one-on-one with a center, and he just bodies this guy straight back. Slick, seemed like it was in the middle of rain.
Put him on skates.
Put him on skates, yeah. And the guy was trying to do, I don't know who it was, he was trying his best. That's a drill, by the way. So there is a drill where guys they have weights and they're getting pushed on, and they hop backwards, right? That is like teach tape of what you're supposed to do. But Jordan Davis, 6'8", what was he?
380?
Yeah.
6'6", 380.
Yep.
Running 4.5 or whatever. This guy, physical specimen freak show. Philadelphia Eagles, sorry about that. I don't think that any offensive lineman would watch this and say this matters, though. That's the only issue with training camp. This type of one-on-one with the center with no guard help on a tackle who's shading. I mean, this would be – every offensive lineman hates that this footage went out. But on the flip side, looks like Jordan is a dog. Looks like he is a dog, A.J. Hawk.
Looks like Jordan's got some power, doesn't he? And that's when that guard there, he tries to anchor, and he has to reset like 4 times, and his feet keep sliding out. You put him on skates. Yeah, it might not be the most realistic drill, but it definitely shows you – I think this guy has the power to play at this level.
I would say so, and I don't think that's Kelsey. It was the center. Guard gets out of the way. But these one-on-ones and these highlights, and I'm partially to blame because me and Gumpy are firing these off on the Instagrams, like literally every 10 minutes.
I mean, they are fun to watch. I do like watching these deep balls completed.
Yeah, I like to see that there is going to be great football that's going to happen after watching a Hall of Fame game and going, God damn, this is fucking terrible football. So I like seeing the highlights, but it is so hard to read who wins and who doesn't. We're almost like Pro Football Focus at this point. Because, would that offensive line with the size of that center, right, who was drafted because Jason Kelsey liked him, I think.
Right.
Would they ever have him one-on-one with Jordan Davis sitting right right there. Never, ever, ever in a million years would they have it. But have to do the drill, and we learned something about Jordan. So it's always like we have to try and be impartial here whenever we're looking at things, because a lot of us understand that there's a lot of drills that are favored for somebody, and also somebody might be working on something. That might not be the person they're going to be in games. So we got to remember that when we're watching this shit.
To your point, the game that we get Thursday night is Giants and Patriots, and both teams had terrible reports come out this weekend. So
Daniel Jones, hey, that rep looked bad. Did you see that? That's where the right.
Yeah, but aren't people also saying the route was a bit
D-Butt.
shoddy?
Yeah, D-Butt kind of went to the defense of Daniel Jones, was like, it was a throwaway. I think it clearly was a throwaway. Lazy rat. You know, if that guy comes out of his stem a little bit harder, probably closer there. So not that big of a deal, but it's hard not to watch that and go, Daniel Jones stinks.
I saw a 30
Once
second
again,
one.
got to be impartial. Got to be impartial because we don't
We hear
know.
Saquon's back. We hear Saquon looks great, right?
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line gave him time, so that's good.
It's a scary rep right there, too. You're throwing in the red zone. You throw that thing late or whatever, boom,
Left
pick
hash.
six.
Pick six. And, I mean, Mike Lombardi, he quotes Radius and said, bring in Jimmy G. Because Daboll was in New England, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Whenever Jimmy G was up there. So if you have any questions at all right now, and you're any of these teams, why not? Now, is Daniel Jones have the ability to become Josh Allen with Daboll? We shall see. But also, if a rep keeps going out like that, it's going to be hard for the Giants fans not to be like, fuck, we suck again. This guy is the worst.
I saw a longer one because that one was the wideout wasn't the best route ever, but there was a longer one with like 3 or 4 more plays of similar stuff. So it was
New offense.
Yeah,
New offense.
that was part of that's what we're talking about. I mean, it could be
Impartial. We have no idea.
Practice.
With that being said, Giants fans are probably finding it to be a little difficult to remain optimistic with old Daniel Jones' experience with Daboll.
Yeah, to your point about him maybe being Josh Allen, like he has to turn into that this year, right? Because they have to make a decision right now. So it's not like you can see enough. Like, hey, actually, maybe 3 years from now he might be the guy we think he is. Like he has to be that guy right now, and if he's not, why not get Jimmy G?
Could you imagine Jimmy and the Giants, AJ?
I mean, I think he could do very well there.
Oh, yeah.
So what? He'd just be shirtless on the cover of every magazine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What, day one over there in New York?
GQ.
Heartthrob, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
What do
football
you
pants
need to
on.
know? What do you need to know? Yeah, Chris Angel football pants on. What do you need to know about the new incredibly handsome starting quarterback for the New York Giants? That shit would just be everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And Daniel Jones is just sitting there going, what? The guy ran the wrong route.
Yeah, but also.
He wasn't supposed to be.
He was sitting all over the route, too. Like, I'm not going to throw it right there.
What do you guys want me to do? And both sides very valid, by the way. And that's why training camp is such a, live by the sword, die by the sword. Speaking of, Carson Wentz is allegedly having some inaccuracies.
Oh, no.
I'm not doing it. I'm not burying him.
No.
New offense.
New offense.
New rhythm. New wide receivers. Okay, this is.
A lot of crowd noise he's dealing with probably there at practice.
No crowd noise. They had to pump it in, I think, through the
right.
speakers because
Yes.
there was no, not a lot of turnout
Make some
there.
noise.
They did get rid of the take command. They no longer take command.
What?
That is no longer their thing.
What is it then?
But We Are Commanders is still their thing, right?
Yes.
We are commanders.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. What's that from?
The internet. Thanks. Who asked us that? Ron?
Heineke.
Heineke, yeah. The people that created that on the internet as a joke who are Commanders fans, want to let you know, if that thing catches on, would be awesome.
Yeah.
I guess they're doing hashtag Hail the Commanders.
Is that right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Huh.
I have no idea.
They can't miss these days.
This is one person told me this who just got his first golf win ever.
Sure.
But we don't know if he is telling the truth or not telling the truth.
Yeah, I could see it. Take command also works. Did you see someone did tweet that they were at the camp this past weekend, and it went pretty big because he said, I was at old football team's name before the football team, not the Commanders. Practice today. We are not going to win a game. And I believe it got like 3,000 retweets.
I thought you were talking about the poop pipes that were
Oh, yeah, that
those
also
are still
happens.
leaking, yeah.
21 hours ago, hashtag HTTC.
Oh, jeez.
Hail to the Commanders.
Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Hail to the
Commanders. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Congrats to them buying in and understanding what catches and what doesn't.
How about
Speaking of catches, will they be able to make any, Terry McLaurin that is, with Carson Wentz playing quarterback? I think his good will be great. His bad will be noticeable. And I'm not sure there's any real expectations for the Commanders this year. Is there?
You hit it right there. Like, I think the one thing they have going for them, if things like this continue to come out, is that expectations become lower and lower for their team. So whatever they do is a positive, I feel like.
Still got poop pipes bursting in the stadium whenever there's not even that much poop going through the pipes.
Right.
Speaking of poop going through pipes, today is the anniversary of Dave Matthews' band dumping the poop off of their bus onto a boat that was passing underneath the said bridge.
No.
The number that I seen was 800 pounds of poop.
Holy shit.
There's no way that is accurate, though. There's no way that they had
Can one bus carry that much?
What was Dave eating?
Yeah, Dave loves McDonald's.
How could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not, by the way? In my last weekend of binging a bunch of food, my last meal, quarter pounder with cheese.
Nice. Has to be.
With an apple pie.
Yep.
What?
Fries.
Large fry.
Sprite.
What?
Give me the Sprite.
Yep.
And I got some nuggets on the
10-piece
side.
nugget on the side.
Anyways, I don't know if it's just McDonald's that is flooding that, but yeah, I guess this is the date years ago. Yep, 18 years ago, Dave Matthews Band Poop Bus. Chicagoans will never, ever forget. Dave Matthews tour bus dumped 800 pounds of poop on people.
The picture from the other side is absurd.
800 pounds of poop.
Oh, my God.
Their bus had a lot of black water and not a lot of gray water
that's right.
or fresh water. That thing was ready to burst, and they thought they got to a good place to do it. It was obviously a metal bridge. This would be a great place to drop this off. Goes right into the river where you want your poop to go. And instead, some boat was going underneath taking a tour.
Oh, my God.
Is that the worst tour of all time?
Oh, yeah.
Worst tour of all
Did the
time.
bus stop and park and like pump it off?
I think it was kind of a drive-by shit drop.
Yeah.
Can you even do that?
Well, they did.
Well,
They
yeah.
did. And I assume there's some rules against it in Chicago now, but nonetheless, we're happy that Dave Matthews' bus got some relief. We are bummed that the people underneath had to eat Dave Matthews' shit 18 years ago. And all parties have moved on and learned from it. Shout out to 18 years ago, a monumental thing.
Shout out.
It's a real bummer they couldn't wait till I got to Indy because I'd feed the bums for 2 months.
Yeah.
Holy
The
shit.
timing. How did you time it up so perfectly?
Zito said he thinks this is fake, but it is for visual representation, reenactment of what it could have been like.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely fake.
I don't know.
800 pounds.
800
pounds of
pounds.
shit.
It was
Look
at
at the
1
splatters on
p.m.
the side
1
down below.
p.m.
Those
It was in the middle of the afternoon.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
What
He did it at
How
night.
can
lot
a
of
bus
tours
hold
into
that
that.
much poop?
are you talking about? They got big old tank.
Big septic
I'm
tank.
telling you.
Is that the biggest Blackwater tank alive?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a big part of it. The whole Blackwater, Greywater, freshwater thing is a massive ordeal on the bus. It's almost like the most important thing because if you have too much, it obviously smells terribly.
Okay.
I've been a part of some operations in which there was a shitter on the bus that we were in. The toilet is always the problem.
Yep.
The toilet is always the problem with those things. Now, there's other maintenance issues that happen, but the water maintenance is paramount because if you don't, it's fucking ruined. So they knew it. They were getting to a point that they couldn't get in. You think Dave could sing Satellite that night if he continued to smell those 800 pounds of shit through the toilet while he's sitting on that bus? No.
Absolutely
He had
not.
to do it for the good of his fans. They had to get that 800 pounds of shit off immediately. They did. Just so happened to be exactly one boat was passing underneath out of a fucking movie, by the way, out of an absolute movie.
Were they like playing ants marching outside of the bus while they were dumping all the poop? Or
No, I think they were. I think Dave was probably playing a guitar.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
he didn't even know what was happening.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
He had,
Okay.
yeah, he had no idea. And the driver just pulled the little lever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boom.
Release
and
the valve.
It just. No, and there's breaking news. We have breaking news. It's not good. Keith Urban also got in trouble for doing something very similar. But
Keith.
how do you
2009.
expect?
They don't know
these-
about it, probably.
How do you expect these guys' vocal cords to remain golden if there's just poop radiating through the fucking bus?
Can't have it. And you assume that he found out like 4 or 5 weeks later when they're like, Dave, you actually killed like 8 people from they got E. coli.
Wow.
We dumped all that poop on that, tourist boat. You killed like 8 people.
Dave had a moment of silence 2 shows
Yeah,
later
exactly.
for the people in Chicago
Right.
that they're poop.
Yeah. And right into fucking, he wake up in the morning.
Puts on a hell of a show.
Oh, yeah.
By the way,
Hey,
in
those
the-
fancy buses, Pat, those fancy buses, I think all of them probably now have those grinders that grind their turds. Macerator. Like,
you keep saying grind your turds. Who did he say this about last week? He said
No,
somebody's
dead
in.
serious. No, we're talking about Mr. Beast. No, these the fancy buses. Ask somebody to come on.
Smush it
Yeah.
into the
It's more
bottle.
a macerator where they can fit a lot more turds in their system.
You knew exactly what we were referring to, so that means you continued that conversation later with somebody off air. General Bob Carpenter. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Smush some turds.
Bob's never heard of Mr. Beast. There's no way.
Well, I think maybe you introduced him whenever you heard that he was crushing his turds into bottles. Keith Urban did 2009 on 11th Street, New York City.
Yeah, but he's Australian, so you
With a southern accent.
Yeah, exactly.
And he plays the hell out of a guitar, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Bingo.
All right, let's talk about some. Did you see this type of situation actually happened yesterday at the Big Machine Music City car race down in Nashville?
Oh, yeah.
They raced through the streets of Nashville yesterday. Maybe 70 accidents, crashes, 70 of them, the whole thing. And then there was one overpass they went underneath, and they have an open top. They have these new glass shields. They used to be open open wheel. So
Is this F1?
IndyCar. So their heads used to pop out. They have since added like glass to kind of help, but there's still a hole on top. They're driving through the streets of Nashville, around Nissan Stadium, across bridges. Like, it's a pretty sick thing. Indianapolis will never be able to do it because the bums would get in front of them, and then all the potholes would
can't have it.
ruin it. So Nashville got put on a pretty good display. The roads were a little tight, though. I mean, there was a lot of accidents. They were driving under this one overpass, and it had a delay earlier in the day from a rainstorm. Water drops off it right into, like, these drivers are going, I don't know, 100, 120 miles an hour. Water, just a sheet of water falls into, like, the cars as they're driving by. A little bit of water, the guy had an accent. Sure. A little bit of water just fell there, and they just moved on. I'm like, think of that person that's driving, like, 100 miles an hour, and then just a bucket of water gets dumped. I guess the good news is, wasn't poop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's a lot of this
Cool
type
'em
of
off.
shit happening, I guess. That race was awesome. No chance you saw it yesterday, AJ?
No, I was not aware of that. But don't you think that guy's first thought was, "Oh no, someone dumped their bus poop on me"?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know which driver it was that got it, but that race lasted 7 hours yesterday.
Did it really?
Crashes everywhere.
That's tough.
The scenes were cool, though. Looked like it was packed
So
out.
it's considered IndyCar. It's part of like the IndyCar circuit.
Yeah. It's called a road course, obviously. It goes through downtown Nashville, across a couple bridges. I mean, it was
Unreal.
very nice. I was so impressed by the roads. Like, you drive 14 feet here in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
That new Hummer I got is fucking bump.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's crawling over that thing. They were sprinting Indy cars through there that are this high off the ground, not even. It's like pretty impressive for the streets down there.
Yeah, and that's what they should do more of, is doing the stuff through the cities. But you're right. I mean, Mitt has a Mustang, and he drove through this city once, and I believe he had 2 flat tires by the time he got back.
I can't even ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite hobby. I can't even ride it because how bad the streets are. It's like it's a scratch off on whether or not I'm going to make it back. And it's like, I can't do that now. It's a little
You're
bit.
riding the country roads out by the house.
They're bad too.
Terrible everywhere.
Everything. Okay. Well, you got a lot of semis going around there building huge warehouses. That's what's causing it.
Well, that, and it seems like a lack of maintenance from anybody that's in a position of power carrying it all. And then our power grid can go out. Literally, you flick a cigarette in the wrong place, the entire power grid's going to go out like it did today, AJ.
That's life right now, isn't it? What are they picking and choosing who they're turning on and turning off?
No, this wasn't because of the heat. This because it was of underground fire.
Yep.
Actual fire, smoke coming out of a grate next to the library up here.
Are people living down there?
Probably.
I saw there's a whole
another
like Vegas.
That's where
community
they do
living
their other
underneath the
business.
Streets.
That's another part of the problem. Anyways, let's get to a break. Let's get back on track, okay? We'll be back in 4 minutes with Ian Rappaport joining us.
Let's go,
He's on a training camp tour, currently at the Panthers camp. We'll ask him about everything going on. I watched the movie Luck this weekend on Apple.
Oh, is that the animated one with the cat?
It's for 5-year-olds.
Yes.
Okay.
Wife loved it.
Sure.
I snoozed a couple times.
Overall.
Not bad.
Okay.
All right.
Much better than Jurassic World Dominion.
There you go.
All right, we're back in 4 with Ian Rappaport and more sports talk. AJ had a cult event this weekend, raised a bunch of money. You're good.
There you go.
See you all in 4. Bye.
It really comes down to, and pardon my French, but giving less fucks. I think that it's a maturity that comes from aging, from making mistakes, from failing, from being too sensitive at times, from taking things too personal at times. And it's about growth and learning not to be indifferent, because I think indifferent people are terrified of making choices, and it's a cold place to live. It's about choosing what to care about, and the things that you do care about, it's less things. It's not trying to be a part of every conversation or get involved in everything or setting yourself up to be offended about certain things. It's caring more about specific things and less things, and with those things, it's finding ways to solve the problems, because true happiness doesn't come from eliminating all problems in your life. I believe it comes from solving the problems that you have and dealing with the pain and the suffering that is natural in life and is a part of life. It's not fleeing from pain and suffering and running from those things and not dealing with the emotions situations. It's looking at those head on and saying, how can I solve these problems and make my life a little bit better? And that's what I've tried to do the last couple of years. And I've talked about in the show as well. It's about perspective. And I truly believe this, when you focus on the things that you have more than the things that you don't have, you allow yourself to let gratitude sink in. And when the gratitude sinks in, it is always accompanied by joy, because you're focusing on the blessings that you have, not on the things that you don't have, the things you wish you had, the way you wish your life was that much better, you wish you had this, you wish you had that. You'll always be unsatisfied. But when you take solace in the fact that you're where you're supposed to be, and that life is going to come at you with pain and suffering and failure and frustrations and mistakes, and just trying to solve those problems and do a little bit better next time, it allows you to, I think, be a little gentler with yourself and admit that you're a human, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to please everybody. There's always going to be a 500-pound elephant of possibly hatred and malice waiting for you, whatever decision you make, and that's just part of life. You got to deal with it and just try and be better the next time.
So you feel freer, it feels like, huh? You kind of feel free.
Yeah, there's a liberation that comes from caring less about the things that don't really matter in this life, I think. And I will say, if anything, and I know the two of you, the best on this show, so I won't speak for the other boys, but I'm sure they're very similar. There's a lot of joy in being unapologetically yourself. And I think in life we respect people the most often who are that way, who don't try and change or be different or grow meek in situations that require courage, that go quiet in situations that require communication. And that's what I appreciated in both your friendships, is that you guys have always been yourselves. And Pat, I haven't known you as long as I've known AJ. I sat next to AJ for 9 years, and I had so much love for him and appreciation for the friend that he is. But I always admired and was inspired by the fact that AJ was always himself. And he believed that who he was exactly who he was supposed to be, and he didn't have to be different or put on a face for anybody. He was unabashedly himself, and I think there's a lot to be, gained from doing it that way. And what I love about you and the boys is that's who you are. You guys show up every single day, not with an agenda, but with an open mind, and create conversations around important topics, and then you just be yourselves.
Welcome back to the show. It is Monday, August 8th, 2022, and we're being joined, to my left, your right, that's AJ Hawk. The Talks Table is here. Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here as well. We're having a great Monday.
Well, hell yeah.
Much better Monday, August 8th, than they had 18 years ago in Chicago when Dave Matthews' tour bus dumped 800 pounds of shit on a passing boat underneath. That's a certain type of grit and perseverance that you just can't teach.
Oh, yeah.
That's something you can only learn in the real world while you're getting a tour of Chicago. Oh, I love this Chicago, this Gold Coast, this place is real nice. Heard a lot of bad things, but that's not the case at all. Look at this river, how beautiful this is. Oh my God, are we drowning in shit? Did somebody just dump shit on us? Who was that? Satellite. Anyways, it's a great Monday, August 8th. My batteries died as soon as we went back live. I had to switch those out so that I could intro the person that is about to join us who deserves a great introduction.
Oh, yeah.
This man's a senior NFL insider for the league itself and the network that the league owns, and also the subscription service that the NFL just opened so they could bundle that in a package that, $2.5 billion a year is going to be worth.
Bingo.
This man is also the host of the weekly wrap-up of Rap Sheet and Friends, us being the friends, he being Rap Sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport. What's going on? Yep.
I think it's raining on me, so I'm going to have to do this under the canopy.
What type of rain? Is this Chicago rain or is this?
It's the big old fat rain like they used to say in Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah, those big drops.
I'm under a tent, so all is well.
Above that tent, big cumulus clouds.
Yeah.
That is why the big drops of precipitation are coming down. We're happy.
Look at this. Look
Beautiful.
at this nice setting. Look at this.
Beautiful. Who's that? Is that new because Tepper's been there, or is this how it's always been?
This is how it's always been. They've been here for years and years and years. Predates Tepper, and I think eventually they'll move out of here and get their own facility and do everything there. But there's some stuff.
Well, they did try, and there was an ending to that deal pretty quick.
Yeah,
pretty quick.
Yeah.
He's at Carolina Panthers practice and training camp, which is a great start to our conversation with the man who knows everything about everything happening in the NFL. Sam Darnold's on the trading block. Benjamin Albright put that tweet out. Does that mean Baker Mayfield's outright winning the competition? Matt Corral also looking good, or what are you hearing about the quarterback situation down there in Carolina, where all eyes are looking?
Yeah, I don't think Darnold's going to be on the trade block. I don't think anybody would trade for him. Honestly, I mean, I think when you have that salary for a backup quarterback, I mean, they would have to eat significant salary. And if you're going to do that, why wouldn't you just keep him as your backup, right? I mean, if you're going to pay him, just keep him. And he's someone who has started. If something does happen to Baker Mayfield, he's a perfect guy to slide in there. But to answer your question, Baker's got the leg up here. I would say he's got the inside track to win the job. Had a really, really nice day today. Done a good job as far as understanding things, kind of fitting right in, taking control a little bit. I would say if it continues in this direction, then shush. I'm trying to tell him quiet, tell him nicely. No, you.
Was it Garrett Fuller?
Yeah.
That fucking guy.
No, it's not. It's our producer. No, not Palmer.
Can we have an off-air convo real quick? No. If it all progresses like this, I would say Baker's going to be the starter, which is the best case scenario for the Panthers.
Ian, are they going to keep 3? What if Corral shows enough to be the backup?
I would say they are going to keep 3 almost definitely. My guess is Corral will probably not end up as the backup to start. Now, I mean, if they get to the point where the season's not going in a good direction, wouldn't hurt to play him just to see what they have. But my guess is it'll be Baker as the 1, Sam as the 2, and Corral in a place where he can learn and just not worry about it. Just learn and kind of be in the background, which is like for someone who has a lot of talent, but has a ways to go before being an NFL player.
It's perfect.
It actually is a great, it is. And that's the thing. Like, if he's a first or second round draft pick, you almost can't wait. Now, if you want to wait, it's like, oh, okay, no big deal. Same thing with Malik Willis, no big deal.
Yeah, I think Malik Willis in Tennessee. Also, Trey Lance was the number 3 overall. They got to wait with him for a year. I think waiting and seeing how the professional game works helps out immensely. But if a team needs him, they'll be able to put him in. How's Hecker bombing balls over there? He looked good.
Oh yeah, I did a lot of studying on him today. I thought he looked.
Shut the
good.
fuck up!
Yeah, he's kind of being a prick.
This is unbelievable. Johnny Hector's one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
He's first year with the Panthers.
No, I did notice him today because I saw a huge booming punt, and I was like, wow, but it was actually the Jugs machine.
All right, this guy stinks.
Son of a
We will
bitch.
move on.
Jeez.
Baker Mayfield obviously traded from the Browns. The Browns at one point this offseason said, hey, Baker, funny, cute little request to get traded, but we ain't trading you. The same thing seems to be happening with Hunt. Is that the feel you're getting? They're going to keep Hunt around even though he doesn't like it? Or do you think he inevitably gets traded because, he wants to get paid as a guy? And we talked to Darius Butler earlier. He said, film says he is a guy on any team other than like 3 of them. How do you see that panning out? And do you think the Browns have so many distractions? Are they going to be able to win a game this year? That's a real question.
I would say, first of all, I would be surprised if somebody traded for Kareem Hunt. And it's not just because he has all the stuff in his background, which is how he ended up getting cut by the Chiefs and going to the Browns, and not everybody would want to take that on. It's also like not a lot of people pay running backs. It's even worse value to trade for a running back and then pay him. So my guess is nothing happens. He made his stance. He tried it. The Browns have not come out publicly and said that they would fine him, but if you're sitting out team drills and then suddenly 2 days later you come back in team drills, I'm going to guess somebody said something to him that said, like, hey, dude, you should probably be involved in this. So it looks like it's going to be status quo. And also, like, if you're the Browns, like, running backs get injured. Bradley Chubb is awesome. Nick Chubb is awesome.
Bradley Chubb also
Nick
good.
Chubb,
He gets that
Bradley Chubb
quarterback.
also good.
Yeah, he was
He
that
gets the
quarterback.
quarterback.
More important to this conversation, Nick Chubb, awesome. running backs do get hurt, if I'm the Browns, I'm not sure there's a move that would make this make sense.
They said $50,000 a day. Is that the max fine?
Yes, I think that is the max fine. And I don't know that that's what it was, but that would be just to sit out some team drills, make a stance. Like, I'm not sure that makes a lot of sense.
Bro, the Browns have so much shit. And the dog pound, by the way, has been through it. I mean, the dog pound has been through it. You go all the way back to whenever they got up and left town, won a Super Bowl somewhere else. They bring a team back. They stink forever. The list of quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield wins a playoff game for them. Get him the fuck out of town, please. He's starting for the Panthers now.
Yeah.
He's good enough to go into there. He fit in. He's starting for the Panthers. And for the Browns, they got a running back that they thought they were going to use a lot. He wants the hell out of town. They got a quarterback that might never play. Right? I mean, there's a chance.
No. I mean, is there a chance? Yes. And I know the NFL is pushing for a year-long suspension. You talk about the distractions that – I hope you can hear me with this rain currently destroying us.
Hey, it's all right. That's a distraction. Put the grit cap on like MCDC, and let's get through it. You're crushing it. You're killing it right now.
It is amazing to think of all the different things the Browns are going through, have put themselves through and all of that. I do wonder – it's like, you talk about when this – Deshaun Watson's suspension will happen. And, obviously he's going to be suspended at least the first 6 games. We'll see if it's more. There is some value, I think, for them in just having some certainty and knowing that, like, just what it's going to be. Because every single day, having all the coaches and all the players being asked about it all the time, like, it has to weigh on you. It just has to.
Yeah, especially when every other team in the NFL seems to be focusing on football, and then your team is worried about literally everything else. I think as AJ and I don't think I've gotten AJ's exact date because he's in Ohio, so he might be scared of it. But anybody that's ever been in the NFL knows it's hard to win in the fucking NFL, let alone whenever you're not all in on football. So, like, Cleveland Browns shit, if you're in dog pound, I can assume you're a bit alarmed by it all. So are we. Team's talented. Maybe they'll be able to go. The AFC North is a problem. Let's go to the NFC real quick. Trey Lance, allegedly better than John Lynch could have ever imagined. We're seeing highlights every single day. Is it that good over there right now? Is it just he's picking this thing up like that, and the highlights are a representative of the entire practices, or are we only seeing the good right now, you think, out of San Fran?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're seeing the highlights and it's all positive, that's probably not the whole picture. I know when I was there a couple of days ago, it was pretty up and down, which is fine. I mean, he's very raw. Oh, no. He's learning on the fly, and there's certainly some accuracy issues. Yesterday was a pretty rough day, less than 50% of his passes. But, I think that's the way it's going to be, because, I mean, they got a great defense. They're going to run the absolute heck out of the ball. He is a second-year player that needs to figure it out. So, like, this is, they made that big trade last year for 15 years, not for year 2. So there's a lot of talent, and he's going to make some wild plays. And everything else, some inaccuracy, the up and down, like, they're going to have to live with. And I think that because they are so talented on defense, really, really talented, and they're going to run the ball well, I think they'll be able to manage that, especially early. But it has been a little up and down.
Ian, I heard Carolina's trying to manage, I guess, Christian McCaffrey's reps a little bit, or how far he runs after he catches the ball.
Yeah.
What's practice like there compared to other places you've been? I know Matt Rule, he's a stickler for rules at times. I know he make the team run when a guy reached out over the goal line for a touchdown, or just little things like that. Have you noticed anything?
And celebrated.
Yeah, I think the one sort of difference here for Rule, maybe compared to last year, is he has been a very heavy-handed coach. He's intense. He sort of lets his guys hear it. He's been the leader the last 2 years. It's year 3 now, and it sounds like he's letting the veterans kind of lead a little bit and be the louder voices, which I think if you're going to build a team and you're going to win, like, it has – I mean, you guys know, like, the leadership has to be in the locker room, not the coaches, right? Like, that's when you're a good team. You have the guys sort of policing themselves. That's where they are now. As far as McCaffrey, that is a good point. And it's not just the coaches managing him. It's also him being like, he's not a rookie. He doesn't have to show everyone he can run 80 yards after every touch. He needs to stay on the field. And, it's like we talk about guys being on a pitch count. He's on a step count, as we were talking about on the network today. So, like, it's okay that he doesn't run 1,000 yards down the field. He needs to manage himself and be healthy when it matters.
Okay, so a running back on a step count is interesting because in Las Vegas, it is being said running backs need all the reps they can get.
That's right.
Especially Josh Jacobs. What are you hearing? I saw you had a report this weekend on NFL Network about that. Pretty cool. Look, who was that? That was somebody you said.
No, I will tell you exactly what happened. Mike Garafolo, who's right here. Mike, say hi.
Oh, Mike, 2 times 1 week.
there
What's
he
going
is.
on, Mike? Good
I
to
know.
see.
He's going to be with me in Pittsburgh tomorrow, too.
Oh,
yeah.
Go!
Yeah, he'll
Down
do
there
well
in
there.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
I'm legitimately excited. Anyway, he showed me a headline on one of our blogs that says Christian McCaffrey's on a step count. I am trying to make step count a thing for running athletes as opposed to pitch count, which is for throwers.
Okay, there's kick counts, there's step counts, there's pitch counts. Let's get
Yeah.
into all of them. Let's get into the step count. You had a report this weekend about the Raiders. They're not trading Josh
yes.
Jacobs. They're just treating him
No.
like he's any other running back, basically. That's how we should look at this for this upcoming year.
I kind of think that is a good read because, running backs are treated a little differently. Like, you don't hit them in practice a lot of times, and a lot of them don't play in preseason games. The Raiders do not think like that. They didn't pick up his option. He's got a lot to prove. I really think they just wanted to see him in a game and needed him to get out there with the way they block and with this offensive line. I don't believe they're trading him at all.
The Hall of Fame game? That ain't fucking – what? They need to see that Hall of Fame. What, Ian? What?
No.
What?
I understand.
What?
I understand.
What?
You were blocking for him in the Hall of Fame game if you wanted to. They put a jersey on you in the Hall of Fame game if they needed to.
I would not be able to block anyone right now. I'm very tired. I don't think I would be
Oh, okay, because you're winded. Yeah, you'd be,
usually
you'd
I
be
would.
carb loaded the night before.
That's
Yeah,
right.
if it was a Hall of Fame game, you knew about it. You'd be ready to go, obviously. But
I'd be a protein. I'd be a steak the night before, not a pasta guy.
so, like, isn't an easy rebuttal? They're like, well, Devontae Adams needs to know how their offense builds, and Derek Carr needs to know what it's like to have Devontae Adams out there.
No.
We
No,
could
no.
do this all
Different
day
situation.
if we
I
wanted
understand, but different situation because he's got a lot to prove. They didn't pick up his option. I know.
Well, that's what we're saying.
He's not right, but I'm saying they're not going to trade him. They just need him to play well.
Got it.
Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, there's some talent. He's a first rounder, but we don't know. And I think they wanted to.
What? We know, Ian. We know. I think we know, right? That he's a guy. Him and Darren Waller were basically
the team for a little bit.
Oh well, and Derek Carr.
Waller's good.
Hey, okay.
Waller's in a good spot.
Hey, he didn't need to learn any new reps, right, in the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah, Waller's good. It's good to go.
Yeah, all right. So it is like, hey, Josh Jacobs, let's see what you got. I'm excited to see what he does. Last question from me before the boys, and we can't thank Ian Rappaport enough for joining us. When's Carter 6 coming out? I don't know if you heard the big flick earlier into the mic. When's Carter 6 coming out? Do you know?
I don't know. I need to work my sources.
Yes.
Skip.
I got to get on that. I did see the. You're a big Lil Wayne guy?
All right, rap sheet. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah.
Your question for Ian Rappaport.
Rap sheet, what's worse, the attendance in Washington or Carson Wentz throwing the ball?
Whoa, jeez. Jeez. HTTC,
Oh,
dude.
we didn't want to talk about it. That's why I'm asking you.
Ian, what's your problem?
No, I was
working on time.
Very fair question. Very fair question. I would not say the attendance either at training camp or in the regular season has been great. No, Carson Wentz does sound like he's had some
hiding money.
He's on the yacht. So
but the ticket money he was hiding from the Navy game and other things. He's like, hey,
Yeah,
owners, I'm
allegedly.
not selling enough tickets in the actual season. I need these, so fuck off. Allegedly, not real. We don't know if that's real or not. Just allegedly.
Right. So it does sound Carson Wentz has had some accuracy issues as he did last year. And I don't know if I'm not going to make a joke. But you probably saw some of it last year at times, especially at the end of the season.
Yep. He's one of only five active quarterbacks who have received an MVP vote in the last 5 years.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
He had less interceptions last year than like 25 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The stats, like the things, if you were to make a case for Carson Wentz, you can literally go right to a podium and kill people. But if you watch him play, the stats don't tell the story.
No, they do not.
He is scary. It sounds like there was even a report that somebody was chasing him and they were like, throw it away. The defender was saying, throw it away, and he just ran out of bounds for a 10-yard loss. So it's like, what is that real? Everybody knows, like, hey, the good of Carson is great. We just it's a team effort here to get him to that. Is that what's happening right now, Ian, even the defenders?
Yeah, and I'm like I'm saying, I'm with Mike Garafolo today. We were actually having this conversation because when Carson has been coached incredibly hard, John DeFilippo was kind of his guy in Philly. He had maybe his best season because there is a lot of good there, and the stats are good, but the bad plays have been bad. And I think if he is going to succeed in Washington, they're going to have to play good defense. They're going to have to run the ball, and he is going to have to throw it away when necessary and be a little accurate. And they are still bullish on him. They think he is going to have a good season. They like the trade. Talk about a guy who has to prove himself. Like, this is probably a year where Carson has to prove himself that he is a NFL starter, and that's okay. That's just where he is.
All right, another quarterback that had some videos hit the internet this weekend that didn't look fantastic and is on a prove-it year. Daniel Jones. Are they trading for Jimmy G after the videos continue to hit the internet that we're seeing? Now, we have to follow up. We are Pro Football Focus in this situation. We have no idea if that wide receiver ran the right route.
All right.
We have no clue what the play was. It's tough to judge individual plays. But whenever there's stuff hitting the internet, I think a lot of Giants fans are like, same old Daniel Jones. Same old Daniel Jones. What are we going to do? New head coach, new play caller who has had success in other places, great success. It appears early that they're not going to. Is there no need to panic right now? Daniel Jones is doing well. They should just learn a new offense and we don't know who ran the right route and did all that stuff? Or is this really cause for concern, you think, in New York?
So I think that clip was actually a case of the receiver not running the route as he all the way as he needed to.
Okay.
Because the actual I think was it Galladay? I think it was Galladay.
Kenny?
Was Galladay? Okay. I think that was the case. Now, I'm not saying he's been perfect, and he is certainly another guy in a year where he also is going to end up as a starter franchise guy or not. And there's a lot of guys on that team. I mean, the Giants, took the Joe Shane and Brian Daboll. I mean, they took over an organization knowing that they will see how it is this year. They will judge, they will evaluate, and then they might have to do some rebuilding, and they might have to have someone else in. So
they're not on Jimmy G watch? You don't think they're on Jimmy G watch?
I don't think they're on Jimmy G trade watch. If Jimmy G gets released, so talk about how this is going to play out, right?
Yeah.
So unless there's a quarterback injury over the next 2 weeks, I don't think anyone trades for him. Gets a cut down day, probably, unless they can just deal with the salary, probably end up cutting him. We'll see.
Save $20 million if they cut him, by the way. Save $20 million. He's not even allowed to come to training camp. He's working out in the morning, and then he's going home, if that's still the case.
No, he's on the field. He's on the field next to it. They're here, and then he's on the rehab
during practice.
During practice with the fans out there, right next to him. I was there a couple days ago. It's interesting. I mean, I watched him throw for 30 minutes. He's real throws. Not quite where he needs to be stamina-wise. But anyway, so let's say you're Jimmy G. Let's say you get to...
I've been watching people on a Peloton. Sorry, Matt, go ahead. Sorry.
So let's say you're Jimmy G. You get to cut down day, and everyone's like, oh, go to Seattle, go to Seattle. Doesn't it make sense for him to just wait and maybe someone on a contending team needs a quarter? I know we're talking about the Giants in Seattle, but what if something happens to, I'm not going to jinx a team, but one of the other teams that is in the playoff hunt, doesn't it make sense to just chill and wait?
Yeah, I think it would. And also...
How long can he wait, though?
Yeah.
How long would he wait?
I think he would wait a while because he's already made a lot of money. And, his salary this year, what's it going to be? $7 million, $8 million, $6 million? Not big-time starter money. Get yourself in the right situation and then cash in next year.
Yeah, we're very lucky to be chatting with Ian Rappaport, who's live at Carolina Panthers camp, who was once on Jimmy G watch. We just learned Jimmy G...
Still raining, by the way.
Big old raindrops. It looks like clear skies are moving in, though, just like, happy days. But Jimmy G fully cleared to participate. He's practicing at the same time as the team, just on a different field. Cut down days coming in a few weeks. It will save him $20 million. Who will end up with Jimmy G? That's a great question. Hour 3 will be on the other side of this 6-minute break. Bang. Okay, Ty, your question for Ian Rappaport as we wrap this up?
Yeah, Rap Sheet. There's been kind of a lot of hype almost surrounding the Saints, and I think it was today that Jameis maybe got hurt in a drill or something like that.
Yeah, tweaked his foot.
Yeah, are they? Is that something they're worried about? Because they really are starting to get some steam here as maybe a team that's going to be a playoff team this year.
They are starting to get some steam, and I mean I was there when I talked to you guys last night. I was almost surprised. They have a lot of talent. I knew it, but to see it, I think they're going to be good. Sounds like he just rolled his ankle. Now, they're having some tests, so it's a foot and you never know. But it does not, at this point, sound major. Anytime you're talking about a rolled ankle, that's much better than, some sort of mysterious foot injury. But, Jameis has dealt with, he's come back, he's got the ACL in his knee that he's come back from. I think the other knee had a little bit of a tweak. Now an ankle, it's a lot of things. You just like him to be out there healthy and just regular.
What are you hearing about OBJ and Von Miller and everybody, Instagram comments saying, how's the locker next to you look? And then Von Miller just posted on his story, hey, OBJ, let's go do this thing. He's a free agent, so all of this is legal. Is Odell Beckham Jr. going up to Buffalo? We know another weapon isn't a bad thing, and they are a contender. Would that make sense, or do you think this is just a leverage play?
I don't know that it's just a leverage play. I mean, Buffalo actually would make some sense. I mean, the Rams make the most sense. But there's one thing I've learned over the last 4 years about the Bills, it's like I will never rule out anything with them. I remember hearing a rumor that Von Miller was considering the Bills, and like I didn't believe it, but then of course he signed there. Like they are always in the mix. And they should be, because they're a good team who could add one big final piece. Like that would make some sense. Now I don't know how real it is, but when Von starts doing some pitching, I think that gets everyone's attention.
And OBJ start doing some responding. I can't wait to see how it
I mean, that
pans.
makes sense.
It does. You know, him coming to the Colts would be cool too, huh?
Yeah, Packers
Hey,
would love to have him.
Shaquille, let's go on Instagram. Shaquille Leonard needs you on Instagram. DeForest Buckner, go ahead and Yannick Ngakoue is endearing himself to Colts. Go ahead and get on there. Let's get a weapon. Let's go ahead and win the Super Bowl. That's what everybody's trying to do. We can't thank you enough, Ian, for your time down there in rainy California or Carolina.
Thank you guys for having me. I think the rain is almost stopped, so Mike and I got one more TV hit, then we're going to go to Pittsburgh, and yeah.
You guys driving or flying up there?
We're going to fly. So we got the hour trip to the airport, and then we're going to get some food, and then we're going to land in Pittsburgh, and then probably get more food, and then we're going to go to practice.
Nice. Go ahead and gain some pounds. You deserve it. Enjoy Pittsburgh. Make sure you salute old Cuzzy in the airport.
Yeah, that's right.
I will absolutely do that.
Yeah, the Immaculate Reception. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rapport. Thank you, buddy. All right, AJ, did we learn anything there? I think we did. I didn't know Jimmy G was practicing at the same time as them.
No.
That's wild. I
saw Ian on a clip of him talking about that, and he mentioned that he doesn't have the stamina that he needs, I guess. I'm like, how many throws did you watch?
Yeah, and what does that mean? Is he getting a drink of water after throwing some things? Do you know what he did before this, Ian? Do you know he was...
Yeah, like can you compare his arm stamina to years before in practice?
Well, and also, was he just on the Stairmaster maybe before this with a conditioning thing, and then he goes out and throws like this is the end of his day, it's the beginning of his day? You know, his stamina is a question, but other teams will have to look into that.
That's right.
Let's get to a break. We'll be back for hour 3. We have Tom Rinaldi joining us. We are potentially ruining this guy's career.
Yeah.
Think about where Tom Rinaldi's coming. He's coming way down to where we're at. Way down. We appreciate him for that. Field of Dreams and a documentary podcast that he's doing called Wesley, which is it's about the murder of Lyman Wesley Bostick Jr., I believe, in 1978. He was a member of a baseball team in California. California Angels.
Yeah.
Murdered, middle of the season, sitting in a car.
Jesus.
I did not know this happened. Tom Rinaldi said this is a story everybody needs to hear.
They find the killer?
I assume this is going to be a part of that whole thing. This might be like investigative journalism happening in this podcast.
Tom's on the #1 Fox crew, too, that Tom Brady's going to take over.
Oh, yeah, with Burkhart and...
Olsen.
Greg Olsen.
Yeah, Greg.
All right, sweet. We got Tom Rinaldi in about 10 minutes. We'll cover more stuff around the NFL and answer some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line. 1-833-4 McAfee. See you in a few. Joining us live in the studio, Lord Stanley Cup is here! Yeah! Hey, Lord, okay. Oh! Hey, Dan, have you ever seen fucking Lord Stanley's Cup, dude? Look at this thing.
You got that in the studio?
Yeah. It's Lord Stanley's Cup. It's big and nice and wide. We got Lord Stanley Cup in the studio. What does Lordo dream of when it takes a Stanley snooze?
We want the cup. We want the cup.
Well, we got it right now. AJ, will you give the fucking cup a motivational speech or not, dude? Please, I'm holding these headphones up like a doofus.
I'm absolutely not.
You spit in hockey's face like that? There's a dream of mauling zebras or hockey players while they're slamming booze. Hey, say hello to fucking Lordo.
Lordo.
Hello, Lord Stanley Cup.
You know what, Harold? I like your attitude. Can't pick it up, but we can look right at it. Give it a hug. Don't you worry, your little Lordo head. We're going to get you back to Mike and your Lordo Stanley bed.
It might be a replica.
It's not.
It's not.
What did you just fucking say?
We want the booze out of the cup.
Love you, Laura.
Love you, Lord.
That's what I'd like to do. Hallelujah.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speak speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show here on this glorious Monday, August 8th, 2022. Sports Talk with Stooges continues right now.
Here we go at it, baby.
Here we go at it, baby.
Oh, got it. Nailed it.
Oh, is that right?
I don't think that's what the records would say, that you nailed it. But you just came out of your cold event this weekend where you raised a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So
Congrats.
got a little cold hangover.
Son of a bitch, wake up over there.
It's unbelievable. Did you get all boozed up, AJ? You boozing? You speaking at that thing? Did you give a little speech?
Yeah, I had to give not like a speech, but I had to kind of talk about the sponsors and speak a little bit and just get things going. But yeah, it was great.
How'd you do? You think this is one of your better speeches you've given over the 10 years that you've been doing this event, or just middle of the pack?
I don't know. I was sweating profusely, and I definitely made mention of that to let people know I was okay. I wasn't going to die up there. But yeah, I think it was good.
As I was thinking about potentially going, and then something came up, so I wasn't able to make it, I was certainly going with tuxedo shorts.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Suspenders, tank top, and a top hat and a cane because it was Gatsby. Were people wearing full?
Yeah, I was shocked. That's what I told everybody. I was like, I didn't think anyone would partake in the old costume this year just because of how humid it was. Now, we didn't have any rain, which is great, but people, especially, it's different. I don't know. I guess people love the old Gatsby, that era.
Oh, yeah.
I guess, when it's 99 degrees.
Yeah, yikes.
I think it's kind of tough to love. The Toxic Tables here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys also here. We have some breaking news on this Monday, August 8th, 2022. There is a new contract in town for Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker has signed an extension with the Baltimore Ravens. He is now the highest paid kicker in NFL history. Last week or 2 weeks ago, when Chris Boswell signed his deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he tied Justin Tucker for being the highest paid kicker in the NFL. The Ravens said, kicker Justin Tucker and the Ravens have agreed on a 4-year extension that pays him $24 million. $17.5 million guaranteed, the new highest paid kicker. That's via Ian Rappaport. Congrats to Justin Tucker. $17.5 million guaranteed over the next 4 years. Not a bad day for old Justin Tucker, who is an absolute fucking stallion of a kicker.
You mentioned it when he kicks, though. So is it just whatever they have in his, however he kicks a ball, it makes it go end over end and look so perfect and seem like he always hits that ball? I know he hits bad balls, but then I don't remember seeing one.
Yeah, well, if he misses, it's he trends when he misses.
Yeah.
So anytime you become a kicker that you trend immediately upon one miss, just one miss happens, and you have to go to a podium. He has to have a press conference. After missing a kick, there's a full press conference. Like, are you broken?
Yeah.
Is everything? And then he has found a great mentality. I think he's always handled it very well, because normally those kickers that get on a run, then they miss, they let that kind of hiccup into their new routine. They start missing more. He just always seems to be a robot, automatic. I love watching him bomb balls. And yeah, he's a dart thrower. It looks like he can take the ball, because your foot doesn't have an opposable thumb, you see. So there's always going to be a little bit of a disparity on where you're aiming and where it actually goes, because you're not grabbing a hold of it. It's a little bit. It feels like his foot has a thumb on it that grabs the ball and fucking plucks it right where he wants it to go. It's amazing to watch. I assume they'll study him for a long time, and he deserves every single cent of that $17.5 million.
Yeah, in that entire division, right? Those are the 4 probably best kickers, depending on the Browns, obviously.
Nah, you put Bucker in there, too. What's Justin Reed now, the safety for the Chiefs, hitting a 65-yard field goal yesterday? Did you see that?
It looked fake. It honestly did.
I was befuddled as I watched, because his form... it looked like he had obviously kicked a ball before, like a soccer player. It looked like that, but it wasn't like a standard kicking thing. And then that ball just kept going. He cleared that thing by a good 4 or 5 yards. So this is a 65-yard kick, standard field goal steps, right? Normally soccer players and other people that you see kicking field goals on the internet are taking kickoff steps. That was 3.5 steps. 2 steps with a jab from 65 fucking yards. And I saw some people, obviously, are going to bury everything and go, let me see with a snap and a hold. It's like, there's not a lot of people that can do that without a snap and a hold, let alone a snap and a hold. So I sent him a DM. I say, hey, sir, I want to let you know that's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my entire life for somebody that isn't a full-time kicker or a full-time soccer player that has any explosivity in the leg. Played soccer growing up, didn't start football obviously till his high school. And he said, maybe some year when I'm done, maybe the athleticism weighs down a little bit. Maybe focus on kicking, steal an extra 2-3 years at the end of his career. Oh. I believe it. To have that type of explosivity to send a ball that far, you got to have some sort of talent. If it wasn't for Buckner being on the team, you would hear me on this microphone saying, we need Justin Reed to be the first player and kicker at the same damn time after what I saw. That was amazing. A good height, too. Would have cleared the line. I mean, I stared at that for a good 30, 45 minutes like this. Got to be bullshit. Got to be bullshit. Not at all. What a stud he is.
Could you make him your emergency kicker, I guess, if you knew he can kick like that?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Townsend can kick, who's the punter over there. Normally the punter is the backup, but there's some punters that have no clue how to kick a ball off the ground because they never played soccer. They just kind of got into punting from some other fashion. So there's always a backup. Like Austin Collie could have kicked. If I was a kicker, Austin Collie could have made like a 30-yarder if he had to. Would have been able to get it up high enough. Ocho and Dominican Sue. There's numerous guys.
Odell.
Right in front of my face at the Pro Bowl. Yeah. Odell Beckham spun a ball and then hit like a 50-yarder. I'm like, Jesus, you are a specimen, sir. There's a lot of those. We need to add Justin Reed onto that because I know everybody says kicking's easy, and in comparison to a linebacker or quarterback in the sport of football, it is obviously a lot less tasking and a lot less meaningful in time on the field. But if you were to go out back, you could probably throw a football, you could probably catch a football. But anybody that normally knocks kicking for being simple tries to kick a ball, they fucking suck at it. So anybody that has the ability to get a ball to travel that far, I am impressed with. He was a stud soccer player, I'd assume. That's why his feet are so good. And I love watching that. That and Edwin Diaz. That Edwin Diaz video, walkout, his mound walk or whatever.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know if that's every game. I actually tweeted to the mayor. He has not responded.
Come on.
And to Ty Schmidt. Is this every game at the Mets? Because I need to experience that. I need to experience the perfectly timed walk for the beginner of the song called Narco, by the way. The song is called Narco. I looked it up. I Shazammed it off one phone to the other and said, I need this in my life. Timmy Trumpet's in it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Timmy Trumpet's in it. I could sense his trumpet. My wife and I immediately upon hearing my wife go, that sounds like Timmy Trumpet, doesn't it? And I'm like,
wait a minute.
Yeah, that does. It is Timmy Trumpet in there with somebody else I don't know. Him timing that beat drop as soon as he entered the outfield, and then he lifts his arms up and does like a how you doing basically to the crowd because he's going to look small out there. So you make yourself larger. I'm like, this has been rehearsed. This has been perfected. Like, if you're a guy that's going out to be a closer, a lot of pressure, and you have this perfect of an entrance, the swagger you have, I have respect for. Then he fucking goes out there, 1, 2, 3, I guess, 101 mile an hour fastball to end it. You can't get bombed after you do. You go in there and you throw one, boom, over your head. Everybody, must have been fun after the trumpet. Way to go. Him slicing and dicing after that, my new favorite player. He's my new favorite baseball player. Let's go fucking Mets, dude. Let's go Mets. I love that guy, AJ.
If you're going to be a closer, like that's every team should hope to somehow, not only we need a closer that's going to end games for us, but we need to come up with a routine like this, like your own version of what he does. I feel like it brings so much juice. And also, what if you were up to bat for the other team? Like, that's a little bit intimidating, probably.
So Rivera had Sandman.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was sick. That was awesome.
Remember when Rocker used to sprint?
Oh, yeah.
So I guess he would
They'd throw batteries at him and shit when he came out.
Roger Clemens had what, Rocket? Some Rocket song?
He wasn't a closer. So, like, Trevor Hoffman was the Padres closer. He used to play Hell's Bells when he came in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
That's what baseball needs more of. Now, I am not a baseball person. Joining us now is a man who covers all sports. We said 16 Emmys before. Yeah. It's 17.
Wow.
17 Emmys in his house, in his possession, for stories that he has told in only a way that he can tell. Not only will he be covering the Field of Dreams game, and he's on the #1 team for Fox NFL this upcoming Sunday with Burkhardt and Greg Olson, he is also hosting an 8-part serialized podcast called Wesley, which sits at the intersection of sports and true crime, which is about the murder of Lyman Wesley Bostic Jr., who was an MLB player for the California Angels at the time and got murdered in the middle of the season in 1978 in Gary, Indiana. Of course.
Come on.
Of course.
Larry Hall.
Jeez. Yeah. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, a man we all respect, a man we're all thankful is in the sports community, Tom Rinaldi.
Yeah, Tom!
What's up, Tom?
Hey, Pat, it's great to be with you. Thank you very much. I just have to. Who knew that Edwin Diaz would compel you this way? It is every game. It is Narco. It is, as a diehard, lifelong Mets fan. Let's go. We can make some room for you on the bandwagon.
I'm in.
Let's go.
I'm in. Michael, I'm in. I hate the Yankees.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the Yankees are a bunch of sellouts.
No. Amen.
Yeah, they just buy everybody. You think they were calling him Ed Lose Diaz.
Whoa.
Then he goes to the Mets. He gets the trumpets playing. And he gets Ed win, no matter what. This guy's 31-0.
Wow.
31-0. He's unhittable.
Heck of a year.
He's going to win a Cy Young. That's my guy. Hell yeah. Tom, does every team do this in baseball? Does every team have a sick entrance for their closer? Because that thing was rehearsed. I mean, the timing of him hitting the outfield immediately upon the beat drop, and then the arms up basically as a warm-up, how you doing, keep it moving, and then following his power. Hey, he had a power trot, too, out there. And then the fans go, is that everybody in the league, or are the Mets the only people that are taking advantage of the situation that has been sitting there that was electrifying that I saw on the internet?
I'm so impressed with the McAfee backbench crew pulling Trevor Hoffman Hell's Bell.
Yeah, see?
That's very
Shout out.
strong.
Shout out.
That
It's
was
a
one of
toxic
the
team.
first guys to make it really shine and stand out. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that do it, but can you come in and throw 101 and strike out the side the way that Diaz is doing? You better live up to that kind of entrance for sure.
Yeah, it was. You can't get bombed on. Let's dive into it. Tom, when you made the move to Fox, I think everybody was surprised because the stories we had heard you telling on ESPN, it felt like you were able to do and tell whatever you want. Fox has really expanded that. You're doing baseball. You're doing NFL. You're able to do whatever you want. You have a podcast going. Was this the decision and why you decided to go to Fox? And this 8-part podcast sounds like it's going to be electrifying. Is it true crime? Is it investigative journalists and sports? What is it here?
I think you said it right, Pat. It is an intersection of the two, right? Baseball has the longest history of any major sport in our country at 150 plus years at the pro level. And in that long history, a century and a half, there's only ever been one active player to be murdered during a season. And this didn't happen 100 years ago. It happened in 1978. Of course, Pat, you know Indiana very, very well. So when you mentioned that it happened in Gary, you understand, right, that for such a long period of time, it was the murder capital of the United States. It's still a city which is really violent. But the fact that this could happen and be largely forgotten, Pat, to a player with a career .311 batting average, the same average as Jackie Robinson, one of the highest paid players in the sport at the time, at the end of his 4th season, and hardly anybody remembers it, is really astounding.
Tom, why do you think that is? I know you always dive in and you such in-depth reporting, very emotional usually, but this is a story, like you said, that is a current player, a great player, and he gets murdered. Why have we not heard of this?
I think it's a couple of things, AJ, to tell you the truth. One is it's pre-24/7 news cycle. It's a year before ESPN arrives on the scene. There isn't the saturation of media coverage and the proliferation of platforms that we have now. Two, a couple of things happened just in terms of the news that very week. The Pope died just a few days after Lyman Bostock was killed. A year later, Thurman Munson tragically dies in the plane crash. I think a series of things have really coalesced to obscure the legacy of this remarkable player and man off the field as well, guys.
Proliferation of platforms. I'll tell you what, you're good. Hey, your brain is good. Have you always been like this, Tom? Were you the storyteller of the group? Are you an author by trade? Why do you think you have this ability to take people on rides so much? I remember crying and laughing in numerous pieces that you pieced together and your voice was a part of. You're an incredible storyteller. Have you always been like this? And how did you fall into this field, I guess, would be a great question.
Pat, when we crossed paths, the handful of times we were together on game day, I remember one of the first times I saw you in person, and I said this to you. So whatever you want to say about the proliferation of platforms or anybody's brain strength, we're all tying for 3rd or 4th or 5th next to the McAfee empire. There's somebody who crafted, I mean it, there's somebody who knew how to find a lane which no one else had been in and build his own path. And that's a lot more impressive than someone who has to draft off others.
Well, Tom, I
Really mean
appreciate
it.
that bullshit. Now, let's get back to it. No, I do appreciate that. How did you get into this? How did you become like the premier storyteller in sports? 17 Emmys is, I mean, that's hilarious to think about. That's more than, what, everybody?
Anybody,
Is that
yeah.
more than everybody? I don't even know. Like, how did
Listen,
you get
listen.
here?
So a lot of those obviously are being parts of, television's collaborative, Pat. You know that from all the work that you do. So some of that is from Game Day. Some of that is from the features we've done. It's across a lot of different platforms. Nonetheless,
17 of them? 17, Tom? You're an X Factor in there. Let's go ahead and take some credit at some point. Jeez.
Well, listen, let's just take this story, for example, right? The story of Lyman Bostock and his murder. I had the chance to tell the story on ESPN 14 years ago, but there was so much more about his life that we couldn't get into the television piece as well, Pat. And I'd love to get your take on this. When you get to the back end, now all 8 episodes are available anywhere you get your podcast now to download. The later episodes revisit, selfishly, a moment of regret for me. I encountered the man that murdered Lyman in Gary 30 years after the killing. You can't make it up. He lived 6 blocks away on the same street from the intersection where he killed Lyman on a Saturday night in 1978. And when I encountered him, I botched it. I just didn't do the job that I should have done. And that's been a regret for mine. And that's part of what drew me back toward wanting to tell this again. The lesser part, but still an important part. I wanted people to know more about Lyman and his life and his legacy. But also I wanted to make a reckoning with how I blew it with this guy, 14 years ago.
No spoilers. I don't want to give it away. Very, by the way, incredible of you. So you think that you could have helped this case, obviously? Is that what you're saying here by saying you encountered the guy?
No. What I'm saying is the case gets adjudicated. It's many years afterward. But here, having told a story, having in some ways, Pat, be a proxy for the family, having invested an audience, listeners or viewers then, in the story, and then having the chance, probably for the only time in my life, to have this short few minutes with this man, I just didn't ask him any of the questions I should have. Now, there are reasons for that, which we explore in the podcast, but ultimately it was the only chance I ever had, and I just didn't do well with it at all.
Tom, you sound like a human. What's that all about? 17 Emmys? What's that all about?
Yeah, what the
you know
hell?
what I mean? The 17 sports Emmys, you sound like you're a human still. That's wild to think about, especially with the conversations I've had with people in television that have much less success than you do. Why is that? Were you in team sports growing up, or are you just kind of a relaxed guy, a humble guy all the time? You stay out of it. Why do you think you've remained a human through this? And why is that something that you've slept, has showed up in your pillow conversations with yourself about that one interview 30-some years ago, you think?
I think, Pat, more than anything else, I just have always loved stories. And I think it's part of what draws us to sport. Of course, we want to see what unfolds, what happens in an unscripted forum when it's our guy, not our guy, our team, not our team. But what brings us to it and deepens it, I think, is people knowing Pat McAfee's journey, people knowing A.J. Hawk's journey, people knowing some of those moments so that here's why, Pat, and this is part of the magic of sport, so that the individual who shares himself with the world invites his journey to be collective. Why else would you care so much if you don't have ducats on the line or cash? Why would you care so much about whether Rory wins a tournament, whether in an individual sport a guy knocks someone out or not? It's because the individual has become collective. And I think that happens through stories, and that's why I love telling them.
Don't you think nowadays it's much better to learn about people than it was in the past, because the networks had to pick and choose whose stories were told and how they were told? With social media now, what do you think that has done for what you just chatted about there? I think it's great for everybody, but obviously there's some people that hate players and hate athletes that are out there exposing their lives.
Look at how compelling, Pat, every appearance that you've had with Aaron has been. Why? Is it because you're doing a deeper dive on analytics? Is it because you're talking more about his masterful read of the A and B gap? Is it because it's none of that? It's the humanity that comes across from one guy to another guy. That's why that's become must listen. And the fact that he connects with you, obviously there's a history there. We know that. But the fact that he connects with you in that way, Pat, the humanity of that, that's what draws people toward that content. I couldn't agree more. The more platforms, the more ways we can access these players, these teams, these coaches, the better. And I think people get to know their teams and their athletes and their coaches more because of it.
Tom, I know back in the day, I believe, 2009, 2010, you were one of the first people, or you were the first person to interview Tiger Woods after his whole debacle and car wreck and everything. What was it like? It had to be a little bit different for you. What's it like leading up to that interview and then also being there and realizing, okay, here we go. What do I do?
That's a lot of pressure to be the guy. You know what I mean? Like that interview.
And did you chat before it all? Did you give any like pleasantries? Hey, how you doing? Like any of that?
Well, I felt it with Aaron. Like, I think that's a bigger deal, not just that Tiger. Like there's a lot of pressure that you have to tell that story and ask the right questions, I think, all the time, right?
A lot of people had told me, guys, that if you do the interview correctly, that he'll never speak to you again. And then he'll never speak to ESPN as an outlet again if the interview is done correctly. And I can tell you that I traded texts with Tiger on Father's Day. I continue to text with him to this day. And
17
prior to prior to the interview, I did have a couple of moments with him aside, not to let him know any of the questions, but essentially just to pass on to him, hey, listen, it was a very short interview. We were limited to 5 minutes, but we could ask anything we wanted. I just told him, listen, the questions are direct. Some of them are tough because what you're going through is tough. And whenever tomorrow comes for you, however you define success, you know, me and Diana and the kids, we want that for you. Tiger's been incredibly cordial and gracious with me, guys, from the beginning. I have no idea why. He's a world-class ball buster. He's got a quick wit. You'd love hanging with him. You probably already have, Pat. You hang with the world. He is just something that, for whatever reason, he's been really gracious and cordial with me over time, and I'm grateful for it. Obviously,
yeah, hell of a golfer. He was offered over $700 million to go join Live, and he didn't do that. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like everything we hear about Tiger will be like groundbreaking because he was very guarded. So your interview, I do remember, as you asked that question, I was thinking about it. 5 minutes is not a lot of time. No. You make the most of it, though. You're fucking Palmer and all.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Hey, go ahead, Ty.
Tom, with all the stuff you've done in your career and all like the cool stories you've been able to tell, as an Iowan, I know like how special the Field of Dreams is and everything. I know you have that game coming up. Where does that kind of rank in like what you've done in your career?
You know, a couple of the favorite stories or events I've had the chance to cover are Iowa-based, not to be pandering, just to be honest. One is Field of Dreams, which is later this week. The first time the game ended in an incredible walk-off. We had the chance to tell the story of Jeff Bannister, kind of like a modern-day Moonlight Graham, but also the Iowa Children's Hospital. And, Pat, I don't think you had been with Game Day yet at that point, where we told the story of how the patients would gather outside the window, the birth of the wave, its origin, what it meant not only to the fans, but obviously what it meant to the pediatric patients who were overlooking Kinnick Stadium. And just one of the things that makes college football great. Again, that has nothing to do with what's happening on the field. It has to do with the stories that inform what happens on the field, which is what we love.
Yeah. That's crazy to think about all the things that you have brought into our life. Like that wave story you just dropped in there. Yeah, Game Day, we got a chance to tell you about this thing that now has covered every single Iowa game, by the way. You're a legend in this game, Tom. I hope you get a chance to look in the mirror every once in a while and say, I've done pretty good to the sports community, and nobody hates me. Not even Tiger, who I put in an incredible spot. Are you in Michigan right now, by the way? What's going on?
I am. We're doing some interviews for Big Noon Kickoff for Fox. So we're trying to get ahead a little bit on the feature slate. Tell some, the kids are amazing. They have amazing stories. We will be telling one of the stories of Junior Colson, born in Haiti, about his adoption and his journey over to America, which is remarkable. But listen, before my time runs out, I have to say this. To be in Dallas, North Texas, if you will, and to go to my first WrestleMania and to see Pat McAfee leave his I don't know what you want to call it, the tables set up there, and then climb into the ring and flash the athleticism that you did in that display, I'm still kind of shit. That's a story that needs to be told.
Oh, well, if anybody's telling a story, it's going to be fucking Tom Rinaldi. That story will be told 10, 15 years from now. There's way too much me, and I know the time is running up. The Field of Dreams, thing. And then, obviously, Big Noon Kickoff. And then NFL Sunday. What else can you do in this podcast? Mm-hmm. Are you working now more than ever? And are you just loving everything that you're getting to do? And what more can we expect out of Tom Rinaldi right now with Fox?
Well, you can throw in there the World Cup, something.
Hey, we're going to win that. Tom, we're going to win that.
Going to Cutter?
You believe, you're a believer.
Oh, yeah, we're winning the Soccer Lombardi. Absolutely, we're bringing that home.
Okay, we're the youngest team by far, average age 24.
Oh, it's our game forever. Yes. Go ahead, Tom. What else? Other stats that make me feel good.
Okay, we're 14th in the world right now. What do you think the highest we've ever been in the world has been, Pat?
12th.
Just take a guess.
12th.
Right. 4th.
Oh,
Tony
wow.
What?
Is that when Tony Muola and Alexi Lawless and Kobe Jones and the boys were
Look at you! Look
Yeah.
at that. 2006. Yeah. So we'll be on the opposite sideline with the incomparable Aaron Andrews. We'll be with Burkhart and Olsen. Every Sunday we'll be at Big Noon. We'll be doing that. We're doing Field of Dreams. It's been awesome. Listen, I love the time at ESPN, but Fox has been phenomenal. I had the opportunity to co-direct the All Madden doc, Pat, which we loved. The fact that Coach got to see it before he passed. This 8-episode podcast, which people have really enjoyed, was #1 at one point in all of sports podcasts. You've been a fixture there in the top 10 and 5 and 3. So it's just been a lot of different projects that have really energized. It's been awesome.
Well, we appreciate the hell out of your time here. I thought I missed a beat there. I thought you, Aaron Andrews, Greg Olsen, and Kevin Burkhardt were covering the World Cup.
Me too. Yeah.
I thought that was happening, but instead you were going into everything you're doing. We can't wait to watch you this fall. We can't wait to watch us win the Soccer Lombardi. And thank you for everything. We're going to listen to this podcast and see if we can maybe make the world a little bit better place like you have done.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. Appreciate you, Pat.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Rinaldi.
Yeah, Tommy!
Hey, that's sports royalty there.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
That's sports
He's a
royalty.
pro.
Yeah, I'd say. And everybody likes him.
He's got good pipes. Like when he does voiceovers for his things, like it's impactful.
CFO Phil texted in the middle of that and said, really feels like Tom Rinaldi needs to do the voiceover for the opening for the McAfee cast. How set the tone, though. I mean, we're about to ruin everything that's professional right now.
Yeah.
Hey, this McAfee cast should be a lot of fun. AJ?
Yeah. I think anything where we watch games together could be fun.
Have you done any brainstorming, or you're doing that cult event?
Have I done any what?
Brainstorming?
I'm always brainstorming. What do you mean?
Yeah, me too. We're
Of course,
brainstorming.
yeah.
All the time.
It's going to be good.
Got
Hell
a
yeah.
whiteboard and
A block,
everything.
B block, C blocks, everything.
Well, it's first quarter, second quarter.
Right, come on.
Jeez.
Wake up, you
Block
clown.
for you.
No need to call him a clown. I mean, he's been brainstorming this.
No, yeah, he's lying. He's full of shit.
There was an article written in the New York Post about it. AJ, no big deal. New York Post doing things.
Yeah.
No big deal,
Whoops. I mean, you tell me. And it was, I guess it was supposed to be about, it was behind a paywall, so there's no way I'm going to read it.
Oh, you got to be shitting.
What?
There's no way I'm going to read
New
it.
York Post has a paywall.
I guess. I don't know. This particular
Do a
one.
lot of people pay? Like, okay, here we go. Y'all pay $2.99 a month for it.
Well, to be clear, I respect the person who asked me questions, Andrew Marchand. I do. I just put my full quote out as a tweet right below the thing, so you don't have to go.
I saw that. Okay, that's where that's from. I saw that.
Yeah, that was my answer to his question because it was an email thing. And I got respect from Marchand, by the way. He does a lot of great work around the media coverage and everything like that. So when he reached out to me to ask me a couple questions, I normally never answer, ever, to anybody because I have, zero faith in most reporters that they're going to say whatever they want to say anyways, no matter what I have to say. I mean, I talked to a guy for like an hour and 10 minutes, and then he wrote 4 lines, and it was the most basic lines of all time. And that was probably the last time that I'll ever spend any time with any reporter. But yeah, the whole thing was basically about Peyton Manning putting this together and having closing power for people making deals with Omaha. So like he basically asked me, if I was still in conversations with anybody else, And also, you still talking to Amazon for Thursday Night Football? I know ESPN wanted you for game day. I've heard it was unlikely for a while, but wanted to see how interested you were. How much did Peyton have to do with closing the deal? So everybody just assumed that I was talking to Amazon. It was about Thursday Night Football. I'm not 100% sure if that's what we were talking about, by the way. So just to put maybe that particular narrative to bed. I was never really approached for anything for Thursday Night Football.
No.
That was never anything. But this was my answer, AJ. I have massive respect for the folks at ESPN and Amazon. True. Yeah. Everybody that I negotiated with, I have massive respect for. And I think they're just trying to do what they got to do in the ways that they know how to do it. I've had great conversations with both companies. We just weren't able to get to a point where the ask in the business were where it needed to be to get a deal done on both fronts, AJ. My daily show is my number one focus. We have a really cool group of fans and sponsors. So anything that would take energy and time away from that has to make sense. I think that all makes sense.
Yep. Definitely.
Energy, time, anything away from this show, this operation, this crew. We got families being built. We got houses being bought. We got 12 employees here. We got a lot going on. So this is my number one focus, and it should remain as such because, I have a brain, and also I care a lot about this operation. I love it, actually. We have a really cool group. I'm very proud of what AJ Hawk, my guys, and I have been able to accomplish with the help of so many folks that have come on our show and made us better. So obviously the guests make this show much better, but I'm very proud of you guys.
I'm proud of you.
I am proud of you, AJ. You hear me?
It's a great answer.
I wouldn't necessarily rule out a potential future deal with Amazon or with ESPN for game day or any of the other networks I've conversated.
Easter egg.
Peyton played a huge role in this whole thing. I have gotten to the point where I pretty much know exactly how the conversations with sports media execs are going to go. Kind of got a little petty here, but it's real. They're going to know that I have a following, but have no idea why. They normally talk to me like I'm some dumbass, which I am, for sure, but I receive little to no respect from the current class of decision makers at most sports networks. So when I was approached with the idea from the fine folks at Omaha and told that I'd be dealing directly with Omaha, and also we'd have all the power to create it however we want it to be, I couldn't help.
Paywall.
Next. But feel incredibly honored that a man like Peyton, who knows me really well, wanted my brain and my people on his platform. The Mannings have always treated me incredibly well, and this is another example of that. We're going to try our best to make some legendary content for them as a thank you.
Hell yeah.
So the headline, though, at some point said legendary content. Like in this whole thing, like more on the Amazon conversation. And I understand they got a job to do as well. I just wanted everybody to know, we have had conversations with ESPN about College Game Day. I don't think those are over necessarily forever, but at the moment, whatever was offered was not, I couldn't do it. It would make no sense, business, personal, anything, to do it. Although I love the people over there and I respect the thought that and appreciate the thought that they even asked me. Amazon was a conversation, not with the Thursday Night Football people. There's other network conversations that are currently happening and have happened, so not ruling out any of those deals, but getting to work with Omaha and them saying hey, however you want this to do, let's do it, is so fucking awesome, and I'm so appreciative of it, AJ Hawk.
That's why I thought your answer was cool. You gave it's basically giving a lot of credit to Peyton and Eli and what they've built at Omaha Productions too. Hey, these guys have a lot of power, and I think it's pretty cool, man. How it all came together, and the fact that you put that out there, that's good, because a lot of people probably said the same thing. Was that was past the paywall? Your answer was?
No, I just put it right underneath.
So I'm saying, unless we read your tweet, we would have to pay to see that.
Yes, exactly. And the only people that really want to pay to see that are our fans. So
true.
I don't need our people to feel obligated to go. Yeah, right there. You can't read it. I don't want our people to feel obligated to pay the post unless you want to, and they can do great work over there. I just thought, I very rarely talk about any of the business stuff we got going on. Very rarely on the show, because who gives a fuck? But if there's going to be an article and they're telling people you got to pay to hear it, I might as well let everybody know exactly how I feel and exactly how it's going. We're very thankful and excited for the McAfee cast. We have no idea how it's going to go. That'll get figured out, I assume, in a similar fashion as we figure out everything, which is very in-depth and diligent planning and everything like that. But we have had conversations other places, just hasn't worked out yet, but not saying it won't happen in the future.
Or being able to see what they've already done with the Manning cast this past year is also kind of sweet too, because you understand what the layout kind of is.
I think my favorite thing about it all is, and this is going to go probably against me as a human, that line about getting little to no respect from TV execs is so real. I'll get approached with something, and then I'll give I don't know if that really works for me, but maybe if we do this, okay, we'll think about it. And then the next conversation, what I said is not even, you know what I mean? Hey, it's not.
They're not listening.
Yeah, it's not even it's not even listening. I think my favorite part, and this is going to sound so hilarious and narcissistic, but it's real. Like my favorite part is that as soon as they came to me, they're like, "Hey, listen, we want you to do whatever the fuck you want to do with this, however you feel. We have respect and appreciation of what you'll come up with. We just kind of want to help out, and that's why I'm so thankful, for Peyton doing it. Like Peyton, is." I think pretty hands-on over there. I'm pretty sure pretty hands-on over there. They got a lot of people, a good team. But like the conversation they had to have to present it to me was like, we should just tell him whatever the fuck he wants to do, right? It's like, yes. I'm like, thank you. Thank you for that. That never happens. Now, I like working with people that are intelligent. I like learn. I am somebody who listens to other people's ideas. I am okay with whatever the best answer is. Let's go with that and make it as good as possible. I like the collaborative effort. But if you're just going to talk to me like I'm an idiot and my thing is, like, there's zero chance we're going to work together. Like, I ain't about it. And that's the current class almost, it feels like, at most networks, not all. And so whenever they get, kind of knocked out, I think that'll be a good news for the future.
Yeah, well, and we all appreciate it because obviously if you weren't giving them that answer and you said, like, yeah, sounds good, like, we'd be the first piece getting cut. All of us, like, those dipshits aren't going to be on with you. So.
Hey, you guys are on. We're on.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know how we're going to be on, but we're going to be on. And I thank you, Andrew Marchand, for, interest and talking about our life, my life, our decisions. I appreciate it. And I look forward to the future, AJ. But this is number one focus. And if I'm talking to somebody and it appears as if they don't know about the show or care about the show, it's like, all right, well, this thing's over. I don't care how, whatever. Well, we'll think you'll travel, Tuesday, then you get back Thursday or whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's like,
how pissed do you get right away? I can imagine.
So mad. I'm like, this motherfucker. Like, I know the show stinks, but we're beating your network shit every day. Yeah. Every day I'm beating your network shit, and you're talking to me like that. Like, that is, I get offended, AJ. I get like genuinely offended. And then I don't necessarily know how to handle all those conversations in the diplomatic way that I assume other people do. But I'm just like, all right, we'll talk next year. I literally just, all right, we'll talk next year, dude. I'll see you later. And then I appreciate everybody's interest, but also there's a lot of dipshits out there. And the more you see behind the curtain at more professions, everybody else should be inspired right now that you can run a big operation, because once you start meeting and seeing the things that are going on, you're like, oh, these people are fucking dumb. And that's basically a lot of places. So keep going. There's a Steve Jobs quote about as you're grown up, you're told like what life is. And you're basically just supposed to live within the confined box and do this. Don't get a job, go to school, get a job, make a family. You're supposed to live in like these kind of borders or whatever, And then he said life changes drastically once you realize that the people that built this world around you are no smarter than you are. Because I think, especially with where I'm from, and where probably a lot of people that listen to this are from, you just assume like these super geniuses are the ones that have done everything. You have a lot of trust and faith in people that are in positions of power. Oh, they wouldn't get that job if they weren't blah, blah, blah. That's not the case. There are idiots fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
In
every single profession, everywhere on the planet, really.
At the highest level. So feel very inspired that you can go on and do some stuff. That's how I reacted as it started happening. But my initial reaction was a lot of that from me. And then I turned it into inspiration. Like, all right, well, if that doofus has done that, boom, 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 I'll be able to go. And that has been, our entire journey here into the digital media space. Not everybody, not every executive, but most are the dumbest, and they're ruining a genre of television, and they don't even know it, and they're trying to tell me what to do. Okay, that is not the case. That is not how this is going to go.
Especially when you have a show that it's like, hey, I got the blueprint right here. Like, it has worked pretty well. I actually do know what I'm doing.
Well, I don't. But also, I know you don't. I know you don't. So there's been a couple. Oh, these are awesome. I'm happy we're diving into this. There's been a couple people that I've said something in a call, and then there was obviously a counter because they didn't think of the idea, so they don't like it. They have to sit on it. We'll circle back to this thing. And then the next conversation, by the way, they're not about it. I pull up, 5-6 shows that they thought of, that they created, and just do so whenever you were piecing together, this 0 people watching show, and then this, that's when I get real.
How do they respond to that?
Oh, there's always, we thought, which is, there's always a pivot of some sort. And I'm like, oh, yeah. All right,
just pay attention.
We'll talk to you next year.
Don't you think if they just paid attention, had some awareness, they'd be fine? Even if they present anything to you, but hey, I don't know. I guess if they understood at all. If they just watched 4 minutes of this show, they would understand how to approach you.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know if that's the case.
They
either.
get it now, though, right? Because they're just telling people, hey, do the McAfee thing.
Well, that's why I get so pissed off whenever I hear this, because I'm, like Kyle Brandt's like every meeting I go to, they say you're gonna be like Pat McAfee. It's like every meeting you go to are executives that basically told me to fuck off whenever I was talking. So like I am. That was a little. Love Kyle Brandt, fucking do.
Yeah.
I actually legitimately love Kyle Brandt. Similar personalities, in the fact that he's having success, I'm very, very happy for. But whenever he said that, I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because every call I have with him, they're like, don't be Pat McAfee. It's like, that's interesting. I'm very lucky, though, to be with the team that I'm with. I very much understand that none of it happens without all you motherfuckers. The people that watch this show and listen to the show, you are the greatest humans of all time. And we ain't ever leaving.
Nope.
We ain't ever leaving. We ain't ever changing. And we're just going to
This is fun, man. Honestly, I know we mess around. I love it. I have a great time on here. So you should know that.
Hey, I have a good time too, man. Yeah. And we have a good time that you're on. You make us have a good time, AJ.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't that right? Whenever
I'm just saying, people, you think sometimes with my ad or how my delivery is, sometimes you think, hey, I may not enjoy it or whatever, but no, I have a great time.
37,000 people watching it. What are you doing? We're going to go to a break so that you guys can go find something else to do. But yeah, that's just a little update on where we are. And
exciting times.
It is. There's other networks also in the conversation.
Well, and you also, too, have always from the get-go said, like, hey, this show will stay free. Like, it's not like anything like that. It will ever change.
Yes, true. There's no reason anybody should pay to watch this.
No, exactly. No paywalls.
You know what I mean? Now,
What
granted,
if Con Man came up with an OnlyFans account?
I'm down.
Something to think about.
well, that might actually be the right idea for that one thing we were trying to figure out earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're back in 4. Maybe that happens.
We'll talk about that after the break.
Boston Cons.
Big old dongs. And I'll just go around
Googling
dongs. Live stream it.
Hell yeah.
See you guys there.
Put odds on.
Yep.
Each dong.
Yeah.
How much a month?
49 cents.
Nah, we're going to have to up that. Inflation's going to have to at least be 99 cents.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're back in 4. We'll answer some phone calls. Get the hell out of here. Shout out to Andrew Marchand. I do appreciate that. Shout out to Peyton in Omaha for being incredibly cool. And shout out to everybody that listens and watches. This is the dumbest show with the dumbest series of events leading to this point. And if I had to go back and do it again, no chance. I don't think any of us would. But we are incredibly thankful to be here. I think that's a good way to wrap this whole thing up.
Well said.
We're back in 4. Goodbye. Hey, we're up to something big. Hey, we're up to something big, AJ. We are up to something. This is the coolest moment of the history of my existence. I think people are going to be startled. It's a joke, and I can't thank everybody enough, honestly. I'm up to something. It is a big time day. Let's go. Not only are we going back to Plum to do something cool, but today is the day that our heater horse has arrived for the Super Bowl. It's a pretty big deal. Whenever you get a chance to give back to where you're from, especially a place that helped create me and mold me, I'm very, very lucky to do it. I'm lucky to be from here, and it seems like the only smart thing to do would be give back. What's doing, Mark? Stinks here, huh? What's up, Kennywood, dude? Kennywood is named after Kenny's Woods. A man named Kenny owned the hill in the woody area. They turned it into an amusement park, which is a Yinzer staple. So Jeezy actually shouts out this area we are currently in. I think life can be much simpler whenever you just take care of your people, enjoy your life, and do your thing, and that's all we're trying to do. Growing old, slowly dying. How about you? How's everybody? I'm gonna give a full lead up to how I got to where I'm at. I think I'm very lucky to be from here. If you're a kid that has walked through these halls, you understand something that not a lot of people do. I think Plum is a much different place than everywhere else. And there's Nick up there. Go look at Nick, how pissed off he is. This past summer, I was driving through here because I was here for an event, and Angelo Bolino, little blonde-haired kid, was kicking on the same field that I used to kick on as a child. And he had like 2 balls and a holder. And I was watching him kick, and then he would go shag for himself, and he would come back and kick.
And an easy question is, if he had 10 balls, how much better could Angelo Bellino be? If I would have been able to have 10 balls, 15 balls, new cleats, new everything, chances to go to camps with my teammates and everything, what could have happened? So I said to myself, literally after meeting with Angelo, great season, by the way, dude. I said, if I ever get a chance, I'm going to try to take care of the potential humans and kids that were in my exact position in club. I'm going to give $200,000 to the Plum area soccer. I'm going to give $150,000 to the PMFA youth football. I'm going to give $100,000 to the baseball youth. I'm going to give $100,000 to the lacrosse. And then we're going to have $2 million in this fund that will just start. And hopefully it'll only go on from here.
Sweet stuff for sports.
Just anything to make everybody's, the teams and the players' lives easier, better. Trying to streamline the entire process of taking care of the athletes at Plum High School is kind of what it's all about.
Hey, you too. Wow, dude, that was cool. All right, Narati, like it indeed.
You're going to have a lot of people that have never accomplished anything in their life tell you that what you're thinking about doing isn't possible. Just because they don't think they could accomplish it doesn't mean anything to you. Cheers, everybody. Hey, we're all Mustangs here. Let's go. All right, so there's the top ched on the hockey net, okay? Upper 90 in soccer, top ched in hockey. That seat is in the way, so if I get it past, this should be pretty good. This is a great way to kick off a weekend, huh? This is for the soccer. All right, because we're winning the soccer Lombardi and get through. That's exactly what What, dude?
Today's show is presented by Cash App. Cash App is the best finance app on the planet. It's the easiest way to send money to your buddies, and you can buy pieces of Bitcoin or stocks with as little as $1.
How's Bitcoin doing? How's Bitcoin doing?
Probably about the same as it was last week, if I had to guess.
24.
It's up 2,000. Right?
Okay, here we go. Making a little progress. You can buy it with as little as $1 on Cash App.
Oh, buy the dips.
That's right. Also, keep an eye out for Winter Wednesday this week with the winners from last week's giveaways. If you aren't on Cash App yet, go use code McAfee for $15 as soon as you sign up. That's code McAfee for a free $15. Terms apply.
Welcome back to that show. Shout out to Cash App. By the way, this is not investment advice.
No. Of course not.
What is it?
We're just stating matter of facts.
Yeah, just a great app.
Cash App is.
It is.
Incredible.
Yep.
That's right. Easy.
So easy.
Yeah.
Simple.
Hey,
Boom, boom.
I bet you 20
Good
bucks.
name, too.
Absolutely, because that's exactly what it is. I bet you $20 you won't make that shot.
Okay.
Bet you I do.
Boom. Oh, you made it. Damn. All right. Here you go.
Boom. Thanks for the money.
Well, you're off and running. Just everyday life better. Grand scheme of life better.
Simpler.
But it is centralized.
That's right.
Stores can use it now.
Yeah, I don't know enough. Yeah, stores. I mean, it's. We appreciate, and for us, for the giveaways, it's been much easier to do everything. Shout out to Cash App. Shout out to you for watching and listening. Let's go to the 5 Energy phone line, AJ Hawk, and see what the people are chatting about. Let's go to Tony in Delaware. Tony, we saw Maine beat up on Massachusetts this morning in the Little League World Series. How does Delaware feel about it in the New England region?
It's pretty awesome. How you guys doing today?
Hey, good. Keep it moving. It is awesome. What do you want to talk about, brother?
All right, so I've been a lifelong Miami fan. Tua is a bum. He's always been a backup. He'll always be a backup. They need to get Jimmy G over there in Miami with McDaniel. There hasn't been a good quarterback out of Alabama since Stabler. And Bill Belichick and Mac Jones are jokes.
All right, Tony.
Calm down.
Tony's up there in Delaware. He fights with his neighbors and his friends every day about the Patriots being shit. And I can respect that. Jimmy to Miami. If Tua doesn't start out good, maybe Jimmy G, if he gets cut, can hang on and wait, like Ian Rappaport said, for an opening in a team that's a contender. Is Jimmy G going to wait out to see how Tua does to get back with McDaniel in South Beach? What a spot for the Italian Paisan legend.
Yeah, they do have Teddy Bridgewater as their backup, too. So maybe give Teddy a shot because they were throwing into nets as well. I'm not sure if you saw that. They were about, 10 foot square nets. Did you see this?
No, I saw it. Teddy's been slinging it all over the place.
I got a crazy idea. What if Teddy comes in for the fourth quarter? Okay. Let Tua do the first 3 quarters.
Nah, this happened with Fitz. This is bad. That's when they're paying the team to lose.
They did this to starting quarterback already?
They already did this to the same exact guy, actually. They did it to Tua. We don't need to do that anymore.
Shit.
AJ, what do you think? You think Tua's going to do? I mean, fuck, we have no idea. We think he's going to do well.
I feel better now than I did 6 months ago about Tua doing well and having success. I feel like McDaniel, Tyreek Hill, obviously he should hit a few more deep balls than he normally does.
And I like the fact that his confidence seems to be much higher than it's ever been. You know, he's always the super nice guy. Hey, just kind of doing what I need to do.
He's got to have giant chips on his shoulder, though.
Has to.
Behind the scenes.
And it sounds like he actually does, though. You know, which I like.
Oh, he's got to be so pissed. Like, you can tell in his tone when he tries to answer some of the questions. Like, he knows going in, all right, this is stupid. They're going to ask me some terrible stuff.
Shout out to Tua. I like it. We like it. But they're still in the Bills and Patriots division. I mean, that's how it's going to go.
By far the best Dolphins team they've had in the last 10 years, though. By like a mile.
And they've beat you how many years out of the last 10 in Miami?
In Miami, probably 7. I mean,
that's wild to think about.
Yeah.
Tua,
how much do you think that bugs Bill?
We got to go down to Miami and Tootsie's is going to take it. Let's go to the phones.
Tua's 3-0 versus Bill, by the way.
Tua
Tagovailoa.
Tonga, excuse me. Just one time.
Come on.
Just one time. Have respect for somebody.
Yeah. Is Rinaldi going to Qatar?
I think it's in the middle of football season. He won't be able to.
No way.
It's interesting.
He'd go during the week?
Yeah, he probably will.
You think Tom Rinaldi's flying to Qatar during Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then he's back for Saturday and Sunday?
The number one.
I'm sure he's traveled like that in the past.
Is Tom going to do a story on the bodies underneath the stadium? Or?
All right. Let's go to the phones.
No, Dude Perfect did that.
Oh, yeah, Dude Perfect did that.
They did not do that.
What were they doing?
They were actually getting yelled at for not
Yeah.
doing that. Let's go to the fence. Tom Rinaldi's just trying to cover the world's game.
Yeah, what the hell?
Well, these guys trying to tell some stories.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I
probably
want to
on
hear
the
that
call.
story.
Youngest team in the world.
Yeah.
United States.
Listen to
That's
that
why
story.
we're going to win this one and when it comes home in 4 more years.
That's
back
when
here.
Tom will tell the story. Remember when the boys went over to Qatar, a place that had, and Tom would do 2,452 humans under the stadium. He'll do a whole. That'll be
Is
years.
that how many?
Somewhere
I
around
think
there.
it's
Way
more than
higher
that.
than
He
that.
must know the number. That's why we need Tom to look into it.
Yeah,
But
Why would they be
4,000
under the stadium?
maybe.
Because they died during building them,
Yeah.
and then it's just like, okay, fuck it, just
Dump
dump
'em.
concrete over.
how
them.
about that gas station in the middle of nowhere? Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
In Indiana. That's why, pal.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
Did you watch Blackbird? Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the most recent episode.
It's
but
worth
yeah, I've
it.
seen
Finale.
Great
man. It's
ending.
so good.
Great ending on Blackbird.
It's over now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I need to see it then.
It's worth it. Very, very good.
Unreal.
Very, very solid ending.
There's a lot of serial killers out there. You guys keep your heads on a swivel.
A lot of them in this state.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
A lot of them in Indiana. Walk around.
Like
you probably-
currently?
I don't believe the old stats match up to the current situation. I assume there are serial killers out there, but they act
How many
like,
do you have to kill, though? To be a serial killer, how many do you have to kill? 3?
3 or 4?
well, two's a couple.
Yes.
3's a few.
Yeah.
Yep.
4 is a handful. And then, no, 5's a handful.
5's a handful.
6 is a serial killer.
Half dozen. I thought it was
7?
just. I thought it was even just like. I thought it was just like 3
or more.
in the same similar way.
Yeah, they have to have
with
an
a
MO.
pattern.
Yeah, pattern.
Like the Wet Bandits?
Yeah.
Bingo.
Hey,
Just like
they
the
weren't
weapon.
killing anybody.
But have a calling card?
Are you talking about the sticky finger bandits?
Yeah.
Sticky bands and wet
In the
bands.
next movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the fence.
That poor person's house was so fucking wet.
I mean, drenched.
Yeah.
All the way downstairs. to
Like
the
that
basement.
Chicago boat.
Hey, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here. Oh, 800 pounds of shit.
Yeah, that was drenched.
18 years ago, Dave Matthews' tour bus dropped 800 pounds of shit on a boat that was floating underneath the bridge that they decided to drop it under, right on their faces. That's a true story. Happened right here. Need Tom Rinaldi to tell that story.
Yeah, please, Tom.
This show's over, AJ.
If you're on that boat, if someone's on that boat, tell them to call in.
All right, and also, what if
Please,
somebody
I
was
have questions.
bonging a beer, celebrating? Hey, here's to get on the boat, do the whole thing.
Vacation.
Is that 6
Liquid
beers?
poop.
It's a bit nutty.
All right. Chris Mad Dog Russo will be on the other side. He's much better than us, we promise. Our contract with Sirius is up very soon. We're back in 6. Cheers.
Hell yeah.
Inside baseball.
Yep. That's pretty good, though.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good, though.
Real.
It is. That's real. That is very real. Jeez, a lot of very real conversations today. It's because, football's about to be full speed ahead.
Goddamn right. So
Starting
close.
on Thursday. We got a whole thing to do.
They got like 3 games on Thursday, not just one.
Oh, it's going to be regionally shown, too. So
Thursday, Friday. When are they playing?
Thursday,
Friday?
Saturday, Sunday.
I thought there was 2 games. I think there's 2 on Thursday. I could be wrong though.
I don't know.
Well, you're the one that told us.
I said there's like 3 games on
2
Thursday.
is like 3, but 3 is a serial killer. 2 is not. So
Boom.
2 is not that like
2
3.
on Thursday, 5 on Friday,
Boom.
bunch on Saturday.
There's 3 more on.
There's 5 total by the time you reach like 8 o'clock on Friday. Boom. Knew it.
This show sucks. You hear me?
So does DirecTV still have it for this season?
Sound like it. I'm
Yeah.
seeing a lot of ads on the internet that DirecTV still has Sunday tickets. So this entire year, I guess the negotiation between whichever digital platform is going to get it the following year just take place. $2.5 billion a year for that. Holy shit! Just for that. That's one entity.
That's a big deal too for one of these like digital platforms to get it, because obviously that drives a lot of traffic to all the NFL games.
I mean, what Fox actually said, we're going all in on the NFL, and that's kind of how the network was created. We watched that in the Madden doc that Tom Rinaldi was a part of. Shanks and them are still there today, went all in on Madden and then went all in on the NFL, and that's pretty much what built Fox, if I do recall, if I'm remembering Tom Rinaldi's story well enough.
Well, is there still a chance that the NFL just says like, yeah, we could take one of these bids, but there's also, if we put them all in NFL Plus, like this will be the biggest app?
That would be their That would be their leverage against.
Okay, to drive up the.
Not only drive up the price, but also we can do this ourselves.
Yeah.
So the NFL has all the leverage. We're the only ones that kill ratings. Everybody else is going down. We're either staying the same or going up on every single game, including a preseason game that had 5.7 million viewers or something like that. 5.7.
I mean,
that Hall of Fame game.
The NFL needs to find a way to just continue to grow, because you would imagine at some point it's got to regress, right? But not if they're continue to expand where they're playing and where the audience is. Like they continue to go.
Well, it's only going to continue to go because the game is so goddamn good.
I mean, they had 500,000 people in Germany waiting to get tickets the first day they announced them.
$30,000 tickets.
Because
right
the games mean something. I mean, that's why there's 17 regular season games. They all mean a lot. Like that's why.
And the sport is good to watch.
Yeah, it's fun to watch people run into each other. You're right.
Everybody kind of has, and people have been doing that. We always say, people have been watching this type of stuff literally since the beginning of time. The gladiator days, people used to go down and watch people fight and try not to die. Football is basically that without the death factor in there, so you don't even have the guilt of watching somebody die. Now, granted, down the road they might with how the old rules were, but there's high-speed contact. There's a lot of community, too. Our city versus that city is naturally built in, and the way the game has evolved, it's become much more electrifying as the years go on. More points. Now that sports gambling is becoming legalized everywhere, I mean, it's only gonna, you know what I mean?
Skyrocket. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
And there's more and more superstars that come in from day one that seem like they can step into a lineup and make plays.
And the NFL Plus idea is just brilliant. It's like, we'll just keep it all to ourselves.
So what exactly is that?
I think it's $10 a month? How much is it a month?
Is it only on a tablet or phone though?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the regular one and then the premium one.
Yeah,
I
but
think
every
it's
smart
20.
TV too, I'd assume.
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah, smart TVs, tablets, phones. Probably. I don't know.
I know you can watch out-of-market preseason games. So, like, I'm a Steelers fan. I live in Indianapolis. I could watch all the Steelers preseason games.
Can't wait for that.
All 22s on there, too.
I will watch all of them.
Sound effects.
And then regular season, you can listen to all of them. So, I don't...
Oh, so you won't be able to watch them on there?
No.
It's live in
as
market.
of right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch live in market. So, say you're in Indianapolis and you're on your phone, you can watch
VPN work?
Colts games.
If I'm from Indianapolis and I'm out of town, can I watch the Colts on my phone?
I think it's wherever you're at.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's where you would have to watch the games that are on TV in that location.
Yeah, so the NFL is just only going to build up this NFL Plus for leverage. It sounds like that's what it feels like. I might be wrong. It sounds like there's social media accounts all going into one app.
Yeah, I guess can the NFL technically do that? Where they're like, hey, no, we're not going to have DirecTV. We're going to do it all now.
Yeah, their contract's up, so it's not.
Yeah, but like, does the PA have anything against them? Like, no, you have to go with the highest bidder.
No, because then that would. Yeah, you're right. I guess because the transparency would have to be there for NFL Plus, how much money is being made off the subscriptions from each individual user, as opposed to the overall amount being negotiated. Interesting. And also GMs and salary cap folks would want to wonder, hey, how's that subscription service going? Are we in a good spot?
What's the salary cap going to be at this year? Because we don't exactly know what the deal is with our broadcasting partner.
Yeah, but Apple or somebody's going to come in.
For sure.
Yeah,
Well, and
for
wasn't
sure.
They
Why
just
wouldn't
shit out money. Why wouldn't Bezos, from the top of his rocket ship up in the zero gravity era, just literally take his pants down, take a shit, and wipe his ass with $3 billion and then throw it at the NFL and say, I got Sunday ticket on Amazon?
Well, and hasn't that been basically it's kind of been tongue in cheek, and they haven't confirmed it, but that's like what the Thursday Night Football thing is, right? It's like, hey, we're gonna get a little taste, and then after that, we're probably gonna fucking throw a lot more money.
prove
at
that
it.
we can do it?
What it's somebody that has been around the NFL, and Connor, hold on one second, I'll get to you. I know you have something great to hear, and I can't wait to say. There's like an old adage around the NFL business side that basically says nobody gets into business with the NFL and then wants out of it, right? They feel that good about their property, about their ratings, about their influence, about everything. Now, I don't know if that's true for every company. This person worked for the NFL and told me that, so, take it as
What
you
happened? DirecTV just can't. They're not good enough, or
can't
what?
keep up. Can't keep up. There's no. They say they lose.
Satellites are old school now. Like the dish. There's too many problems with the dish.
Satellite. 18 years ago today. Don't forget about it. But Connor, what were you going to say?
Well, now don't all the networks? There's no games that are locked in after this year. That every
AFC
single,
or NFC, yeah.
every single game is up. So like Amazon could theoretically put a lot of those games not just on Thursday night. They could also put them on during the weekend.
I wonder if Amazon is a part of that, because I thought that was CBS, Fox, NBC. NBC can flex for Sunday Night Football after a week. What week is that? 10?
Something like that.
Week 10 or whatever. They can flex on Sunday Night Football. And then Fox and CBS allegedly will be able to bid on each game each week, not just Fox NFC, CBS AFC, which
Nailed
is
it.
insane.
So much money.
NBC weeks 11 to 18 can be flexed.
Pretty good. I mean,
oh yeah,
look at that
nuance. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can Monday Night Football, was that a new thing too?
Actually, 11 to 18. Additionally, in weeks 5 to 10, flexible scheduling may be used in no more than 2 weeks.
Oh, so everything's able to be bought now.
Yeah.
This is the NFL's like, we're signing contracts, but also, we can
How much
take
money
a
you
little bit
bring
more.
in?
You want to kind of tip here, you know what I mean? Tip the corner. And this is all because Tom Brady went to the NFC. And it might be because the AFC is so loaded and the NFC only has like 4 top dogs.
Yeah.
So Fox goes, what's the deal with the way the teams are shaping up? We would like to be able to maybe get an AFC game on a regular basis. And the NFL said, you know what? You're right. How about this? You guys each week can fucking bid on games.
Good luck.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Salary cap is what? Just in flux all year? Like, hey, here's where its bottom is this. But if 2 teams get hot and they have a chance to run into each other week 12, week 13, there's a chance the salary cap bumps up another $100 million or so. That's wild to think how they'll handle it all. But nonetheless, it is a money train directly in to the NFL station every single year for the foreseeable future.
Well, and Brady posted it right after the CBA because you guys were talking about like money being reported so that the NFLPA players know. But didn't they sign the NFLPA and then the next day the deal got announced, and then that's when Brady posted on his Instagram story like NFL players are ignorant. We all need to wake up and like realize what the hell is happening before we sign this shit.
I don't remember the exacts on how or why, but what he said wasn't just about all NFL players, but most deals that the NFLPA makes. Don't you think, AJ? I mean, a lot of those deals, incredibly short-sighted. They've done a lot for the game. They've done a lot for the players. I understand and I respect and appreciate that. Now, it's 2022. It's the biggest league on earth. How much shit would they be able to get away with not providing players that the NFLPA negotiated? I mean, I guess that's also short-sighted for me to think about as opposed to what had happened in the past when guys had other jobs and no health care and everything, which is still an ongoing problem. But I don't think the NFLPA has made necessarily the greatest business decisions, but they have no leverage. You're going against literally 30 billionaires lawyers who are just going to, they can do it every single day if they want. So it's not just the salary cap, pal. It's fucking every decision that's made over there. There was I'm not even getting into it.
What?
Do you remember the deferral of 2 years for player performance bonuses?
Oh, yeah. War chest.
Yeah, and the guys that need those player performances, by the way, are getting player performances because their contracts are shit. And then you're pushing their money off for 2 years. That'll help. Yeah, okay. You're fucking over the guys. What you're
I hope to be in the league in 2 years, bud.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that decision was made. And as soon as I heard it, I go, I'm not signed up for the NFLPA anymore. Those people will not speak for the decisions that I would make if I was a business person. But also, I didn't go on and be a rep and make it better, so I'm kind of a fucking hypocrite. I get it. Who has enough time in a goddamn day?
Tom Rinaldi.
Dude.
Guy's doing everything.
Madden Doc, #1 NFL team. Big noon kickoff with your brother-in-law, right? Brady and Urban Meyer on that?
I don't know about Urban, but Brady is.
Well,
We should have asked him.
We should have.
We should have, yeah.
As soon as he said big noon kickoff, I thought it just signs.
You should have asked him. You
luck,
definitely
Tom.
should have asked him about that.
But I didn't. Tom Rinaldi doesn't deserve that.
No, right.
Tom Rinaldi doesn't deserve that. Those signs popping through a sign and then moving back and forth
Oh,
like
my
a
God.
windshield wiper, and then coming back down, and then up.
College kids got time.
Just putting it out there, putting the template out there.
What's that? Oh, coming in from the side of the sign, and then maybe as Urban Meyer's talking, he put it up on a thing, so it's right next to his face almost. You know what I mean? Like the
Little slit in the paper so you can actually have the fingers go in and come out.
Right next to his face, if you hold it up at the proper angle. What's the angle? Well, right here.
Just engineering majors, putting stuff together for weeks before they come to town.
There's no way they're taking that show on the road and expecting Urban Meyer to be there. And
Every week it's on the road, I think.
It sounds like you know.
Maybe pre-take segments from like a sound stage for Urban.
Yeah.
Send it back to Urban in the studio.
Yeah, exactly.
Urban Meyer in the studio breaking down the film.
Right.
Has the whistle around with the suit. And he goes, that's what I think, guys. Send it back to you. And he get back, and there's like 2 signs that goes, where's Urban and his finger gun? And he's back in the studio. Maybe that is the move.
While they're on air, he's got obviously his headphones in, so he can't hear anything from the crowd. And then once they go to break, like Drew Brees' baby was wearing, they put the big earmuffs on him during break, so he can't hear the crowd at all.
I think what we're talking about is the visuals.
Yeah, you put a blindfold on him too?
Yeah, he's always got his blinders on.
Urban, he doesn't. That's the problem. Urban has never had blinders on in his life.
from criticism.
He's been like this the entire time.
Right.
Oh, I can stay home with the grandbabies. Yeah, I'm not fine.
We're the co-heads in ours.
From criticism, he has always had his blinders on.
Well,
But
I
from
think
co-heads,
a lot
yes,
of I think a lot of networks had their blinders on for the criticism of Urban Meyer for a long time. It does sound. All right, let's get to some phone calls here. More phone calls.
There could be a sign of him kicking Lambeau too.
What's that?
Urban.
Josh Lambeau.
Yeah.
He's suing him. I don't know how I feel about
Is
that.
that ongoing still?
I don't know.
What's he want? Is he trying to get like his full year salary?
Well, I mean, it didn't make kick after a guy bruised his hamstring with a fucking.
They had some struggles kicking this year too with the Jags, didn't they?
Well, and in camp, somebody hit a coach in the head early. That guy's probably not making the team.
They cut his ass
gotta
like
be aware.
40 minutes later.
First day of training camp, you're a rookie kicker. It's going to be tough to just hit a coach in the head and then the back of an offensive line and continue to have a job. But he'll get back out there. He'll get better. He'll kind of go through it all.
What happened to that kid that had the game winner in London against the Dolphins? Bryant? Was it Matt Bryant?
No, it was the guy who was on
Matt
the
Bryant,
Steelers and
Falcons
then
guy?
I don't know, man.
30 years?
I forget.
The kicker thing is so interesting because if you don't get hot, you're on a team, you get cold, you're gone. Doesn't matter. If you're older, they'll give you a couple more weeks of being cold. But if you're young and you're like brand new to a team and you're hot, everybody loves you, 1-2 weeks. You do 2 bad weeks in a row, fucking see you later. Back into the workouts. You'll go to some other team that had a kicker do the same exact thing for them. And then you're on that. As long as you're hot, we're keeping you around. And then if you get cold for a couple weeks, well, sorry about it. Back in there. And you just hope you catch on and get hot for like a year or 2, get a contract and move on. That's why I always get so happy for guys that get paid.
Well, that's Hopkins at football team last year, and then he went to the Chargers and like crushed it for him.
Yes. Hopkins is with the Washington football team. I think he was also with the original name.
Yeah,
he was with them for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So he got hot for a long time, had a big leg. Then he had a couple downs, but he'd been around for a little bit, so it bought him a little extra time. And then they get rid of him. Then he goes to Chargers, and Chargers like, thank God we got a kicker now.
Yeah.
And they like you get welcomed like a hero in your new city. You make a kick after. It doesn't matter what you did beforehand. Does not matter what you did before. Now, going back to that city might be tough, but at your new home, if they had a bad kicker beforehand, which is why you're probably there, and you make a big one, you are loved.
Mm-hmm.
That next week, though, you miss a big one. Guess what? We're looking for you from last week, whoever the fuck that is, with another workout. It is a never-ending carousel like this.
That kid missed. Think about it. You could be the hero one week, then next week you miss a couple kicks, and they probably going to ask that kicker, "Hey, come in. I need you to hold for our Tuesday. We have some Tuesday workouts coming in. We're getting 6 kickers in here to try to replace you. And they're going to make the current guy hold for it."
Yeah, hey, why don't you just go ahead and watch what we're thinking about doing? You see, all these guys kick basically the same ball as you. The only difference is you missed kicks last week for us. These guys did not. So something to think about as you walk on that field next week. Miss a kick, you're gone. That's kind of the business. But you get paid very well to do so. And that's why whenever you see guys last a long time, like this son of a bitch, Adam Vinatieri on 2 different teams, and Tucker and Boswell in Pittsburgh, especially after the year he had a bad year. I thought he was going to go south. He got over that somehow. He's got a job. But
He had. I think he built up a little bit of leeway those first 2 years or whatever that allowed him to have that one, and then he was back. He's been back ever since.
I'm very thankful that I did not get drafted to be a kicker in the NFL. By the way, you can't just.
I think I would never want. I say it all the time. I would never want my kid being a kicker.
Like punter, you're 4 shanks away from being cut. 4 consecutive shanks away from being cut at any time.
You shouldn't have 4 as a professional. You shouldn't have 4 in a row, though.
Agreed. Which is why you're 4 shanks away from being cut at any time. You know, like because everybody watching goes, all right, our fucking guy can't hit a ball. We need to get somebody else in here. Bring in one of those big ass Aussies. Bring in a couple of these guys. Let's see who can do it and see who can last. But that whole kicker thing where everybody knows it's a shank publicly, like punting. There's a lot of guys that have gotten away with big punts and celebrated that have been mishits that rolled a long, long way. And then there's some guys that hit the ball to the wrong side of the field, which becomes a touchdown, but it was hit far, and nobody knows, like, oh, that's definitely the fucking punter's fault there. So it's a little bit more anonymity on blame in the punt game. Kickers, they know. Boom. You didn't do it. You did not do your job right. We will boo you the fuck out of this time.
I forgot. So Boz had 3 good years, 90s, and then it was 65.
Yeah.
And then it was
3 years is a lot of built-up trust.
93, 95 cents.
Tomlin had to be very, very, hey, we're trying, boss. We are fucking trying. You are making our job very difficult to keep you. We like you as a person. We enjoy your personality. You were great for us for 3 years, but goddamn, make a kick is what Tomlin is saying to Boz literally every single day.
Well, and I think it was you who used to joke about it. Like, I bet Tomlin in practice is like, hey, love you, but like, I'll fucking call Janikowski tomorrow if you don't get it together.
Boswell told me that whenever we were boozing one night in Pittsburgh. It was great to see him. He was dressed very good, too. You remember he had good swag. His aura was good. It was the off-season. We just so happened to be at the same bar he was at, which just so happened to be the same bar that Todd Haley broke his hip at, getting in a fight a couple months before that. But we were having a beer or whatever, and I'm like, what's Tomlin like? It's the first time I ever really got to chat with him. He's like, man, I'll miss a kick. And Tomlin will come up to me and be like, hey, I love you, Boz, but fucking Janikowski is probably cheaper and available. Just like talking shit to him, And I think it's Tomlin's relationship with Boz is like that, but that's a reality, too. And Tomlin speaks in realities. He has a lot of respect for Lightning. So they moved practice today.
That's a big deal because it was Friday Night Lights where they go to Latrobe, the local high school stadium, and it's a big deal every single year. And they moved that practice on Friday night. They're doing it tonight though,
they moved it because they respect Lightning. Is what Tom. We have respect for Lightning around here. So
that's probably a good thing to have.
I heard stories about players that have old ass coaches and they just act like they see Lightning off in the distance at the same time. Yeah. And the coach just goes, where? And then everybody has a countdown like, hey, when the period clock hits a minute 37 left, like everybody's looking right, Guys have gotten out of practice.
Damn.
Shit.
Shit.
Oh. And then everybody just like slowly starts jogging off the field. And everybody's like, yeah. And by the time everybody has corralled that there was no Lightning, sorry, we're too far gone. Let's get into the meetings now. Let's get out of here.
Genius.
It is genius. It's beautiful. Lightning is the thing that ends everything, right? Every sport. There's sports that go through rain. There's sports that are like, oh, we don't need perfect, pristine conditions, whatever. Lightning is the ultimate equalizer. Everybody gets off the fucking field as soon as lightning comes. And do we have any idea how controls, or where lightning's going ever?
I know 3 people died last week outside of the White House because they got struck by lightning.
Really?
What? Yeah.
3 people?
3?
Yeah.
See, that's
in
what
the
I'm
last
saying.
10 years?
We got to get lightning under control.
Nobody's hidden.
Do we not get? Are we not at the time where we can get fucking lightning under control?
Are you scared of lightning?
So
do you feel like, hey, I might get struck?
I had a teammate, rest in peace, in college. He got struck twice. He didn't die from getting struck by lightning, but his skin was definitely like burnt. It was different in that whole thing.
Two separate occasions?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people who get struck by lightning. They have like legitimate scars from their like neck or head all the way down to their feet.
300 people a year get struck by lightning. I was just told by Zito on planet Earth. But that was in the United States. That's not on planet Earth. It's just in the United States. I don't know how lightning is everywhere else. That is like only rule we know.
Oh yeah.
Mouth guards protect from concussions.
Yep.
That was a lie. Turns out that was a lie.
Right.
And then the second rule is if lightning is around, get off the field. Every sport knows that.
Yeah.
Are we taking it? Do we have too much respect?
We should take. Yeah, I do. We should take a couple years of that. We should do a couple years where we don't delay games for lightning. Like my daughter's soccer game yesterday, 30-minute delay because of lightning. We had to wait 30 minutes, all that whole deal. What if we just played and said, all right, let's see what the numbers look like after 2 years?
Well, numbers are a fickle thing, AJ. Because if your daughter gets struck, you going to be happy about it? No.
No, not at all.
So is there a number to quantify that moment?
That's a good question. I'm thank you for coming back to me like that. I still think if you presented her the opportunity, she would love to play the game.
Well, sometimes adults got to take over the conversation.
Yeah. I worked for a park.
There's no adults.
Someone got hit by lightning, and the lawsuit is massive.
For the park?
Yes.
So that's interesting because they didn't get the person out of lightning's way?
Yeah, because we had sensors, but the sensor didn't work.
Golf courses, same thing.
Yeah.
If I get struck by lightning on Nick's course while Bruce is beating Nick at golf.
If they don't do the siren,
Yeah, gotta wait. Yeah, horn. Gotta blow the horn.
You guys didn't
You're
have
holding
one
a metal
person
stick,
at
too.
your guys' practices who was responsible for like the radar and
Yes.
was like,
Yeah, I was the trainer.
Yeah.
The training staff always had it. But lightning would be so far away, and it's like, how do we know? And then everybody go in. It's like, I just got warm. Just got warm. I'd like to be able. It's not raining right now. Like those times where lightning comes, there's no rain. It's like, we want to get this working. But then there's times where fake lightning exists. And it's like, let's get off this fucking field.
Get out of here
That's the
quick.
thing about lightning. You just don't know.
We don't know, right? 2022, we know nothing about
You
lightning.
gotta respect it though.
I mean, I can't believe 3 people got struck yesterday in the same day and all died.
no,
That
it
was
wasn't.
absurd.
It was last week.
How did we not hear? We did not cover 3 people getting struck by lightning outside of the White House last week.
They were huddled underneath a tree outside of the White House.
I mean, those people. What are we doing?
Was
It's like
it was
rule number
It
one.
was an elderly couple. They died, and then
number
some
one?
30-year-old died yesterday.
Don't go under the trees.
Rule number 1: stay away from trees. Rule number 2: get in your goddamn
Get in the car.
and roll
Rule
your
number 3:
windows
put
up.
your ass in the air.
I thought it had to be as low as possible. Don't be anywhere near the highest thing in the area.
Trees
Also
are
true.
trees are in,
Get in your
it's a
car, the
definite
rubber
sh-
tires.
So are they
Yes.
touching the tree?
You know, just being around it because if lightning hits the tree, the lightning
Roots.
goes through the ground. Yeah, boom, bingo.
So this was like just kind of catching an electric fence through the feet?
Sure.
Is that what
Must
it was
have
like?
been.
And they died?
Jeez.
I mean, was that,
was
the actual?
Yeah.
Yes.
they have it,
That is
See, when it hits the ground like that,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
It's a sturdy piece of lightning.
no one wants to play through that.
Now, isn't lightning come from Earth, right, they say?
Yeah.
That is a sturdy piece. So
It's from what they say is it's from particles in the clouds and the earth colliding, which create an electronic discharge.
Can we
from
not put a
the
dome?
clouds down.
Yeah.
can we not put a dome of these particles so we don't have lightning? Lightning brings nothing good, right?
Yeah, hearing that it comes from Earth.
No.
too.
I don't know.
Nothing good comes from lightning, right?
No, forest fire.
Can they harness it?
Like Thor?
Like harness that power for something?
Do people make glass from it? From lightning?
If it hits sand.
When it hits sand, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Good one, Zeke.
We need more lightning rods.
I don't
I'd
know,
buy
man.
one of those pieces.
I just feel like we have archaic views on lightning, and it affects every sport. And I did not expect this show to go this way, but I'm happy we got here.
Sometimes you have to.
Can somebody take a look at how we can wrangle lightning?
No kidding.
Ben Franklin.
Can we please?
Ben Franklin did.
Can we-
Fly a kite.
And can we get it away from, well, that's becoming a target. I don't know about wrangling.
I
Need
think
more
he did it
rods.
to try to bring back the bunch of people he had in his basement dead to life.
You're talking about the skeletons?
Ben Franklin, yeah.
Cadavers, yeah.
Or it was trying to zap the syphilis out of his penis. 'Cause I
That's
know
it.
he was infected with that.
Massive chance.
Probably in quite a bit of pain.
Well, don't they have those things at museums where you can like put your hands on it? And
The
there's,
globes, the
like, lightning?
balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a
Lighting
friend that
in it.
installed lightning rods, right?
Yeah. Was the best in town.
What did he just lay down the field and stick his dong up in the air and
Who's this?
Ben Franklin.
No, he did the key
Yeah.
thing. But he knew it was coming
Yeah,
out.
hopefully
He tied it
it's
around.
Tied it to his
Tied it on the
penis.
tip, yeah.
Yeah.
Let that puppy take off into the wind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like poopies and.
Almost lifted him off.
Exactly.
All right. All right. Like
Looked
Pontius
snake. Looked like,
Like
a snake.
Pontius.
in the Godzilla.
That's right. With string. Yeah.
His penis looked like a snake charmer.
All right.
Pontius would do it. We need
Pontius would do it.
Well, if Pontius could wrangle the lightning so we don't have any delayed primetime games, that'd be great. Because it seems like that's the only problem.
No kidding.
Thunder is not the problem.
No. Nope.
Rain is not the problem.
Nope.
It's just that motherfucker lightning.
Yeah.
And if we could figure out where it's going and if we could direct it somewhere, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. And Chargers and the Rams definitely have to change their rules too.
Yeah,
Because if
that's
we're getting game stopped inside
Because-
that fucking place again.
Because their LED board that they put over top that covers the entire thing
Yeah.
isn't. What are we doing? So lightning could go sideways, they said?
Into the stadium. Yeah. Give me a fucking break. Play the game.
They talk about knowing more about space and the ocean. We don't. The nerds that say that need to relax. I understand we need to research the ocean more. But let's not act like we don't need to research space in the same vein. We need to learn more about lightning.
We do.
We know nothing about it.
You know who might?
Tom Rinaldi.
Yeah. Aliens.
Oh, you could call.
Tom Rinaldi would. He probably does.
Tom Rinaldi should do.
He's done at least a few stories on lightning.
Delayed games that affected outcome. I mean, that should be something that has to happen.
What if there's like a thing from '96 where you hear him voiceover and he's talking about why can't we divert lightning? Why do we know nothing about lightning? It's all what you said today.
Maybe I am just stealing this. Here's a PSA for lightning, by the way, just in case. Avoid utility poles, barbed wire fences, just in general, by the way.
Why are you ever by barbed wire fences?
Avoid those all the time.
Hanging out.
Convertibles, tractors, well, John Deere, obviously a problem.
That's right.
And motorcycles. Look for a thick patch of small trees. Avoid tall, lone trees.
Boom.
Don't lie flat. So, don't boom. Put that back on. Put the picture from the White House back up.
Put your ass in the air, too.
Don't lie flat? What do you got, cat
That's
and camel?
a small batch of trees, right? And they did exactly what they're supposed to do.
I think they're even I think they're talking like trees like that one.
They
in
were
the
laying
corner.
flat.
They're talking about pots of plants?
tiny trees.
Go back to the Google thing, please. These people did exactly. You guys acting like, oh yeah, trees are the problem.
They were laying flat, I bet.
Look for a thick patch of small trees. Avoid tall, lone trees. Don't lie flat. So you're saying, how are we supposed to get under this pot? That you
Tiny trees. Are we sure these elderly people weren't dead before the lightning struck them?
What?
Look, I mean, you're right. Look at that tree. It's not that big. It's not a redwood.
Rest in peace to these people that did exactly what they were supposed to do by the book.
It says being underneath the tree is the second leading cause of lightning casualties.
What the fuck is this thing saying?
Google lies. This is like stats. They're playing for everybody.
At least 63,600,000 results in 0.44 seconds.
What about right here, though? Can lightning be prevented? Click on that.
How about a quick flex by Google right at the top? Yeah, let's certainly. Stay away from windows and doors and stay off porches. Do not lie on concrete floors or lean on concrete walls during thunderstorm. Lightning can travel through any metal wires or bars in concrete walls or flooring.
Yeah.
So not a single thing about trees here yet about what you guys are saying.
And not a single thing about how to prevent lightning.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody
can't prevent it.
Obviously, you can't.
Right
That's
there.
like the tab underneath. Can lightning be prevented? It's bullshit.
Can lightning be prevented? Forecasters can and do forecast the likelihood of intense lightning activity. However, it is impossible to forecast individual strikes because lightning is so widespread, frequent, and random. So yeah, lightning has us by the balls.
Yep.
Nobody has the answer.
There's nothing we can do.
Not respected.
Lightning has us sports in the world by the balls.
Yeah.
Whenever they want to, they can fuck up anything. And they killed people last week. I
Exactly.
don't know what lightning's deal is, but it needs to relax.
Sounds like as long as you stay under, a tree and you're not in a convertible, you'll be fine.
Well, they said John Deere's too, not good to be.
No,
motorcycles?
Believe me, a little fucking lightning ain't stopping any farmers from getting out in the deer and tilling the land. Ain't happening.
I'm tired of lightning. I'm done with it. I was on a plane the other night and I seen it off in the distance in the clouds, and it's quite a spectacle. It's a show when you're flying and you see it. But then I'm like, wait, that thing could just right over to us, and what are we doing? I'm microwaving the sky and I'm done.
I guess.
Yeah.
Get away from me, lightning. You know what I
Someone
mean?
figure it out.
I don't want any delayed games. I saw a Hall of Fame game was delayed. You know why? Lightning.
Yeah,
absurd.
like 40 minutes.
Long time for Jason Garrett to have to fill on his first night on the job.
Yeah, holding the microphone with 2 fingers and his thumb.
Cutting promos.
Like a weirdo.
Hey, whoa.
Hey, just look at how the other people are holding their fucking microphones.
What's your problem?
That's the Garrett.
Please run the MCDC promo. Hey, did you see how he's holding the microphone? Do you like the way he's holding it?
Yes, I
He
do.
held that thing like Luke Combs at the CMA Fest last week. What MCDC did with this microphone to fire up not only the 10 people that are in attendance for this practice, but the entire city of Detroit gets me so excited for Hard Knocks on Tuesday.
Yes.
Ty Schmidt tweeted this, and your exact tweet was...
I just love how genuine wow. Look at you guys, man.
Run this thing, please. Look at how pumped MCDC gets here for the crowd and for the people at Detroit.
Hello, Motor City.
What's up, dude? Man, that's what he's thinking right now.
It's unbelievable. Look at you guys. Listen, I would say this. You guys have heard me say this, but I think what makes Detroit special is the fact that, man, you guys will roll your sleeves up and put in a hard day's work.
Yeah, man.
And I think we want to model ourselves after that. I'll tell you what, you would give your coat in winter.
Right.
You would give your coat to somebody in winter that needed it, man. That's what this community is about. However,
What?
nobody will take advantage of our hospitality.
Goddamn right.
Nobody.
Hell yeah.
So that's who we're about. That's what we're about. This team is working their rear off to give you something to be proud of. All right, they're grinding it out right now. And I know this.
What?
We are freaking starving. We are starving.
Pop.
So the hyenas better get out of the way. All right, man.
All right. Hyena, they're lions.
Yeah. Lion King.
The lions hunt hyenas.
Yeah, they do.
Hyenas do a lot of chirping.
Yeah.
You know what the lions do?
Yep.
They kind of just chill, and then whenever they're hungry, they just go
Yep.
fucking kill something.
That's right.
But they're working their rear end off, and they're starving, man. Hey, all right, man. This guy's awesome. I think he's mic'd up for the entirety of Hard Knocks on Tuesday.
He should be.
And we need more of that.
Yeah.
Look at you guys, man. He's giving
Wow.
a reception speech at a
Yeah.
wedding.
You guys are unbelievable, man. And you know, you give the coat off your back,
Man.
but there's a caveat, man. No one
No.
is gonna mistake that for and take advantage of our hospitality, man.
Non-kneecaps, man.
So you know what? The hyenas better get out of the way. All right, man, that's enough.
I fucking love this guy, dude.
Love him.
I love him.
Imagine how good that speech is going to be in a couple years when that place is full because they've been winning a lot of games.
That's right.
This was the moment. This was the moment with a grit cap on.
Yep.
Grit being their team motto for the year. Love it. I was on a team that had grit as the motto. We had grit chips. Everybody had the grit chips. You going all in with a grit chip or what? Yeah, we're fucking going all in with the grit chip. The grit hat. They're already saying, we're going to be a tough football team. They have recruited tough football players. They had that one shot where he was talking about what they're going to do this year, and they showed a player that none of us have ever heard of or seen before, and his eyes were wide open, as if he had drank more coffee than MCDC did that day. Douche. Couple espressos and the entire pot of coffee. Right? I can't wait to see this Lions team. Honestly, there's going to be 15-yard penalties.
Hell yeah.
These motherfuckers are going to go through the whistle. They're going to go through the ground. I think this Lions team is going to be a lot of fun to watch in Hard Knocks tomorrow, HBO. I can't wait, Foxy. I'm sure you're excited as hell.
I've never been so excited for a Lions team, and I can genuinely say this. There has not been one single negative thing that someone has said about training camp.
People are betting on the Lions.
It's insane.
That's never happened.
And we got to keep in mind, let's keep in mind, Lions season, we are in the prime of it. From draft day till week 1, that is primetime Lions season, and everyone's believing right now 10-7 playoff win, book it.
Man,
We are so freaking hungry, man.
freaking starving.
Didn't he
man.
do this last year at training camp too? He said something about where's
No.
the fire pit?
No, they're at a party.
He brought the lion out.
They were at a party.
Yeah.
They were at a party and they have fire, you know, man. And we'll start. You guys are the kindling, though.
Yep.
Or no, they're the lighter fluid.
Yeah.
We're the kindling.
You guys are the gasoline, right, man? And we're the kindling on top of it, man. Let's get this bonfire going, man.
I love them. They won 3 games, right?
3 games and a tie.
Here we go. Here we go.
Beat the Cardinals.
Pretty good.
Killed the Cardinals.
Dude, 60 minutes of MCDC tomorrow night.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't wait, dude. MCDC, uncut.
Yeah.
I saw Jamal Williams' little speech he gave. I don't know if you saw that.
Awesome.
Really good. Yeah, he started got emotional during it, talking to the team.
They sent me a clip that if we wanted to run,
We're going to get a lot of Jamal Williams, I think, in Hard Knocks.
this is, I don't know. Let's just, all right. They sent this to me. Very thankful for NFL Films sending it to me. It's MCDC staying in the middle of the crew. Ragnow, by the way, went on the record as saying Applebee's top 5 restaurant. Fucking love that guy. Yeah. That's the center. That's already coming out. I mean, we got MCDC giving speeches, man. And then we got Ragnow saying Applebee's top 5. Then we got Jamal Williams giving speeches. This team might become America's team.
Yeah.
After
Ragnow played with a broken throat last year, so.
Of course he did.
Dog.
Applebee's top. And there's people saying this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like, Ragnow should eat at Applebee's. What are we even talking about?
Yeah.
They got apps, bro, and they got margaritas.
What?
Right? I don't know. This is this is Jamal Williams.
I want to let y'all know, man, today is the minimum of effort. Do not give up. Do not feel like you're tired. When you tired, think of last year and think of that record. Every time I get tired or I think I can't go no more, I think of that record. Last year wasn't it. That ain't us.
Wow.
We can make it. Have some heart.
my first time.
I get emotional about this. I'm about to cry because I care about y'all. Do your best. Let's go. Lions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, let's fucking go, huh?
Wow.
They're
You know,
all
Dan
in.
Campbell's doing burpees while that's going on, doing up downs himself. He's so pumped.
Dude, they're all in. It sounds like, right?
Yeah,
Jamal, all in there.
Players are all in. Fans are all in. Coaches are all in. And this has never happened in Detroit.
Well, I will say, Jamal, incredible speech. We're big fans of you.
Yep.
Yes.
But that is you guys, though. Just to be clear.
Why is the team always crying?
3, 12, and 1.
Also, love that. But with
3-13.
that being said, like, I want to hear MCDC say fuck 150 times on Tuesday. I don't need 15 minutes of Jamal Williams. I love it.
He
I
swore
love
in
it.
there they edited it out.
He did. But, like, let's not get cute with, like, MCDC is going to say fuck a lot. I know he's saying fuck a lot, so let me see it.
He sounds like he's tempering himself. You heard his speech.
Well,
Freaking, man.
Yeah, that's what the fans, though. Get him in the. I want to see him not knowing the camera's on there and drink a full pot of coffee. Just look around like, you know, maybe like he's a little tired, and I want to see him drink an entire pot of coffee and be like, all right, I need to go fucking hit something, man.
All right, man. What if he fucking walks out of frame? You know how they have the PTZ camera that zooms in on the office? PTZ, pan, tilt, zoom, okay? It's a camera that is in our office here. High def, it can move, it can do all this shit. You see Foxy finger fucking it literally all day, every day. They have those in the building around, and then there's a truck that's kind of taking it all in, then they edit it. It's brilliant because people do forget that the cameras are there. Him walking into another like side, walking out, opening a closet, coming back with a beer bong in his hand, and then putting the pot of coffee.
Super hot coffee, though. You know, he plugs it. It's 130
Oh,
degrees.
fuck, man. Hot, man.
Put some nose grease on there.
And then he just, whoo,
Yeah.
and then he hits the table. Yeah. Woo! He walks right into a team meeting. Oh, my gosh.
That's Tuesday.
I can't wait.
Yep.
Tomorrow
I
night,
hope so.
HBO.
Yep, I hope so.
We'll see. Woo! If we got him bonging a pot of coffee on
Hard Knocks is back. Yeah.
He's got to do it.
That immediately becomes
Maybe a
the
rookie
greatest
show.
moment.
Just sick of the NFL films, people controlling the PTZ. Moving over. Where's he left? He went into his closet over there. He always goes into. What is he holding? Zooming in on. Somebody in the back. I think that's a beer bong. A what? A funnel. Some call it. What's he doing with it? Zoom out. Grabs a full pot of coffee.
Jesus Christ, we can see the steam coming off the coffee right now.
All these things are possible.
Yes. Yes.
That is why this is so awesome. That's why we love MCDC.
Exactly.
Look what the cat dragged in,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, they're letting anyone in here, huh, man? Good. No, just good to see you guys, man. How you doing?
We're down on the other end. Oh, I think we're going to training camp. Are you coming for that?
When? No, I don't know. What are you doing?
Well,
no. First, no. This fucking guy.
That's the show. I hope you're happy, AJ. That's very nice.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, he does love doing it though.
Yeah. Love doing it. I know my demeanor might seem like I'm not enjoying this, but I fucking love it.
I do love the show. You're telling me this for the first time. You gave me no date or anything.
Oh, it's kind of like you on Friday.
Familiar. That's what
Son
I do
of a
though too,
bitch.
AJ. If the first time I'm hearing something about it and someone asks me, I might immediately have to say no.
Busy. Sorry about it. Schedule's crazy. Sorry about it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think we're going up to the Colts training camp, though.
Let's go.
I think so. We'll see. Tech-wise, we're going to figure it out. But
Can you Holly?
What's that, pal? Yeah, I was about to do it. I worked on it this week and had nothing else going on. So I said, let me get fucking Holly.
Wow.
You tell me.
Wow. Do it again. Do it again.
Tony Hawk comes rolling by. Dude, kickflip. I'm like, I ain't got that yet, but I do got a fucking
Clean.
Holly.
That was a
Yeah.
double.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Almost went down pretty hard there. I will say, when I was up on that top rope, at SummerSlam, that was very much lateral balancing. I've never been able to do that in my entire life. So actually thought, oh, this feels like a skateboard a couple times because, pretty thin. And I'd done this. So I was almost preparing myself my entire life with every time I've gotten on a skateboard for that moment up there as, oh my God, I should not be on something like this. And then boom, set it through the Swanton and Bombini. You know what I mean, AJ?
I assumed it was all part of the program. I didn't think you were really having trouble up there.
I saw people tweet that, and I'm very thankful for those people. How about Pat being so
It's like being a
athletic?
musician. It's like if you're in a band. They know if they mess up, but we as fans usually don't know.
That's what Chuck told me one time when at practice. I think it was training camp practice. It was open. I had a bad punt. Obviously, motherfucked immediately. Nobody knows that's a bad punt, Pat. Until you say, "Oh, motherfucker," or whatever. Nobody knows. I'm like, well, I know. And that's all that matters, Chuck. And he's like, well, not whenever there's, like Make-A-Wish kids 2 feet behind you. I'm like, well, they got a full experience.
Yeah, they know.
They learned.
They learned. They know what a bad ball is. They fucking deserve it. All right, we're out of here. AJ, great work today. We appreciate you, even though you're choosing not to come to training camp.
Yep.
Everybody's
I like those shoes.
These are another edition of those the comfort limos that Jordan makes. They're fatter.
Those are sweet.
Yeah, they're fatter. They're wider for my fat ass feet.
Yeah, they actually look comfortable.
Bingo. Yeah.
I rewatched some of that this weekend. Much better this time.
Last Dance?
Yeah. Not that it wasn't good the first time, but like I just forgot how good it was, maybe I'll say.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because that got us through COVID there for a bit.
Yes,
right?
it did.
It was
Full
so good.
Sunday nights.
Month and a half, yeah.
Swearing, 9 p.m.
Yep.
ESPN. That was a big deal.
Oh yeah, goat.
Well, it's difficult to compare eras. And new media is trying to get that message out there.
Yeah, that's right.
We're basically talking about 2 different sports. Stockton was dribbling the ball over his head.
Jordan was still flying
like this. You know what I mean? Nowadays, that's getting picked. No, I'm saying Stockton would have learned how to actually dribble in what basketball has become. Right. But to compare that basketball to this basketball is just
Where'd he go, Gonzaga?
a nonsensical.
Does he still go to the games?
Okay.
He does. All right, let's get out of here.
They're good programs.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up that coach that read somebody else's iPad word for word.
I did see that earlier today. That's a tough deal.
That was definitely on your
No,
list.
it really wasn't. No.
Shoehorn into
Yeah,
there.
it was.
Because we've started making a list while the power was out, and we thought we were potentially going to have to go live from a cell phone, and then we were able to power up a couple things, and we would have had a makeshift show. We said, all right, now what are we going to talk about today? And before that, though, let's talk about what AJ's going to talk about today. And it was like, all right, he'll talk about Stockton-Gonzaga relationship.
Right.
That's up there.
Boom, got that one down. He'll talk about Aaron and Iowasa. You did not. What's that all about? You over it? You don't think he's taking it? You think that's a lie?
I don't know. Is it something that happens during the season? Do we know?
You tell us, dude.
Yeah.
You're the shaman.
I don't know. I have questions.
Is that what happened to his toe? Too much ayahuasca?
Is there an Iowasa toe? We heard
Gotta
about
be.
COVID toe.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You remember when COVID toe was trending?
Oh, yeah.
COVID-19 was trending.
COVID-19.
Aaron's photo, his Twitter photo for a while.
Still is, I think.
That's awesome.
Beast.
Just all of this shit. Do you remember that? That's what last season?
Last season.
It was last year.
What a time.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was the season. Yeah, wow, okay.
That was last season.
It all runs together.
Yes, I'm having an issue with last season, the season before that, and the season before that. And pat on the back.
COVID did that, I think.
I have a very solid memory, like very, very solid memory. And now it's getting to the point where I'm remembering things like vividly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, there's no way that's from last year. I don't remember it that good. And it's like, no, it is. It's from 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of putting it together. And it's like, oh, no, maybe I'll do Ayahuasca before the season starts.
Oh, here we
Kinda
go.
Reset. You know what I mean? Reset for the season. Maybe, maybe I lock all those, compartmentalize each season in there so that we just go into the season with a clear mind, clear thoughts, full hearts, clear eyes, can't lose.
That's right.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm down.
So
AJ.
now we know why I'm traveling to Costa Rica next week.
That's right.
Is that where it is, AJ? Is that where we're going?
I think you could do it in America, too.
No.
I don't think so.
AJ.
Peru. Oh, you can. You definitely can. It's California, man. That's what they do.
What?
Oh,
I'm not saying it's
jackass.
good. It's probably, there might be some sketchy characters, but they definitely do it out there.
I don't want to dabble in any amateur bush league ayahuasca. Okay, if I want to get 2 seasons ago locked in as 2 seasons ago, and last season locked in as last season, I got to go into the fucking jungle, pal.
Right to the source.
Got to go in there.
8th dimension.
You have to pick the plant yourself.
9 is where I'm trying to get to, pal. I get up to 9. And
You'll never get there.
Fuck you. You don't. That's why I'm not doing it in California.
Yep.
That's why I'm going in the jungle. I don't need your negativity. You're not invited. How about that?
There we go.
I hope you're happy, AJ. Hope you're happy.
I'm going to the 10th.
Whoa. Are you really? How you got to go. I think Central Africa has a plant that does that. Shoot.
Do they?
Fucking good luck.
I think so. I don't know if there's any more than 9.
Shamans only, too. That's why he can go, because he's done it so many goddamn times.
Well, it sounds like he's an amateur bush league trying to lead me down the wrong ayahuasca road. not happy about it. All right, we'll do ayahuasca before tomorrow's show.
Let's go.
Can't wait.
Okay? We don't recommend it for everybody, but if you need to remember things in a certain way, I'm not a big pharma guy, so.
No.
That's right.
I'll be a spotter.
You be shaman?
You guys all do it. I'll be a spotter.
You'll
Make
fucking
sure-
do it and you like
Make sure
it.
no one jumps out of a window or something.
Tone, if anybody needs it, it's you. You've been a cowboy for 2 years. Isn't it time to move on to the next? Maybe you become like hippie.
I've been saying that. I do need something else.
Are you going to be a cowboy forever, though? I like cowboy tone.
Cowboy hats
Cowboy
are
Tone's
sweet,
awesome.
too.
Cowboy tone has been sweet.
Why don't you be the rapper kid from Secession?
Kendall.
Yeah.
What is it? L to the OG.
OG.
Yeah. What, is that another season coming October?
I hope.
Soon, I believe. Yeah. Either October or November. Yeah.
So if it comes in October and November, we'll have Secession, we'll have World Cup, and we'll have the NFL.
Boom.
And college football.
Boom.
Don't forget new Game of Thrones come out too.
And Call of Duty.
Really?
And Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Call of Duty.
We got it all.
Game of Thrones really happening again?
2 weeks.
Yep. Prequel series.
Same writers? The writers that mailed it in had Starbucks in the last season?
Dragons.
So I can watch the prequel, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I can start here?
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Look at us, AJ. We're back in the game. All the dragons and shit that we're not going to buy into again, we at least get an attempt to try it here.
Yeah, and this one actually, I believe, has dragons from jump. There's no way in.
So I won't even get a couple minutes into the show then. It'll be 30 seconds in and I'll be out.
You don't like the dragons?
Fucking kill the dragons. All right, we got nothing to do here. See you later. Oh, they're good dragons too. All right, well, I ain't got time to fantasize about fucking which dragon's a good dragon and which dragon's
Blood of
bad.
the dragon.
What?
Some of the humans, they don't get burned and they can just like hang out in fire because they're.
See, that's what, I'm too mentally weak to be able to understand.
Me too.
that. I can't get into the whole.
Let alone the accents they have there.
Well, and there's like 75 stories happening at the same time, right?
We don't know if this one's going to be like that.
You guys love Game
Yeah,
of
right.
Thrones.
It has to be like that.
No, because it's just following one house. And actually, I just remembered it is Prince Philip from The Crown. I believe he is one of the main characters, the Crown's husband.
Oh, I remember that because I had to stop watching
Yes.
once they changed who the queen was.
Yes.
And because I was like, that's not my queen, so I can't get in there. Zito told me you're watching Game of Thrones back right now?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're diving in to get ready for the prequels?
I've actually done it for a couple shows now, and every single show that I've done it for worked perfectly. It's just something to have on in the background just to pass the time while there's no.
From season 1 all the way through?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's fun, actually. It's a good little time.
That's awesome.
What do you have in the background of?
Fucking video games, playing Zelda and shit. You wouldn't get it.
On your Nintendo thing?
Yeah, on the Switch. Switch is back for me. Took a little time off, now I'm back.
You got Doritos and Mountain Dew too?
I wish I had to.
So what do you just sit there with that thing and you're just sitting on the couch, Game of Thrones in the background, boom, 3-4 hours, you go to bed, you got tomorrow coming?
Yeah, probably.
That's crazy to me. It's crazy people do that. That's
He's got to creep on the homeless people with his binoculars.
I do that
What
too.
time is that?
What's that in between the Zelda Warrior
Right when
battle?
you get home from
Usually
work.
when I get home from work with dinner, just take a little scene around. Sometimes that
Oh,
lasts.
dinner and a movie.
Exactly. Sometimes that dinner and show, yeah. Sometimes that lasts a little longer. So Zelda and the Thrones kind of wait, and also Blackbird. That was a massive part of the last few weeks. And then there's this other show, Westworld. Zito and I watched, and no one really enjoyed.
Oh, that's
but-
about president.
No, that is about a futuristic society that invents robots. And then,
Oh, see,
I
here
saw
we go.
season 1.
I can't do it.
Yeah, it's
I wish I
really
could.
good.
How come I can't do
It was
what?
cool.
Season 1 was cool.
You liked it, AJ.
Season 1, yeah, I think it's a good show. I just stopped watching. I don't know. I might pick it back up. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool, like
wish
concept.
I
It's from
could
back in the day.
no, it's not. The problem is,
It is
too-
actually.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
reboot, yeah.
The problem is too. Oh,
So,
really?
yeah,
They
yeah.
made it before. Okay.
Yeah.
The problem is
Michael
that
Crick,
during the fires in California, all their sets burned down. So there was like 2 years without it, and this is a very confusing show. So if you didn't rewatch them, like Zito was saying, he didn't rewatch them, and there's a little bit of time in the beginning there where it's like, okay, what the fuck is going on?
I respect everybody that can get into these shows, and I appreciate that you can. My wife can. I'm just too basic. I can't do it. I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm so sorry. I can't believe it. The dragon's doing what? Fuck the dragon. We don't care about a dragon. I mean, I'm too basic.
We need the general's outlines, his cliff notes.
I was going to say.
The general did that for Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Every
He
season,
wrote like
every episode.
500
General
pages,
Bob.
didn't he, on like families' histories and like.
General Bob Carpenter?
I told you that before. Yeah, he told me when I told him I can't understand it. There's too many storylines. I don't understand the things. Like, no. I built a whole outline you could watch with this, and it'll kind of take you through all the different storylines happening.
General Bob, the man who saved football?
Yeah, I just at his brother. He's got 3 brothers. They're awesome. I was just I had dinner at Bobby's birthday dinner. I was sitting by his brother, and I was asking him, I'm like, did Bob really make these Game of Thrones outlines? He's like, oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. You should use it to watch it. He couldn't believe that I'd never seen the show.
General Bob, make these things public, dude. Are these public forums?
I know he should. He honestly should charge people for them.
Oh, this could be his OnlyFans.
Yeah, see if he does
Do
that.
some workouts in the morning and Game of Thrones recaps in the afternoon. He could collect $4.99 a month.
Yeah, George R.R. Martin will try to fucking cut his head off, but you know,
Who's that?
The guy who created it.
Yeah, sack of wine.
Hey, pal, you had Starbucks in the last fucking season. Fuck
Well,
off.
that wasn't him. That was the production.
He wrote
design.
the book,
He is
sorry.
a fucking sack of wine, though. Just he hasn't finished any of the books. He's getting fat and lazy. Like,
Yeah, well, and he did this
He's
goddamn.
got to be worth $1 billion at this point.
Yeah, he's worth a lot of money, and he also just made this fucking video game. He made the storyline for it. It's one of the most successful video games ever. But it's like, hey,
So
pal,
he's fat and lazy. This guy has created multi-billion-dollar operations in 2 different genres, and you hate him? What's the deal?
yeah,
What?
he's fat and lazy.
He just created a fucking video game.
Yeah, finish the story though.
He's writing 400 pages over the course of like fucking 25 years, and now because Game of Thrones has gotten so popular, they're like, oh hey, let's go, do whatever this guy's done. And meanwhile, he won't even fucking finish Game of Thrones. Like, you know what, pal?
Respect his art. Okay.
Oh, I have.
Speaking of
Respect
you,
the process.
Yeah, his artistic, creative process. Speaking of you, I thought of you this weekend a lot.
Did you?
Cornhole was on TV.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it because of everything you said.
Yeah.
I did see the World Pickleball League though.
Ooh,
cool.
WPL or something like that.
Not
Drew
bad.
Brees.
Well, the issue was I watched for 20 minutes. They didn't have a single game. They just had a lot of talk about the game.
That's an issue.
Yeah, so I've yet to see
There's a pregame show for pickleball tournaments?
Yes. There was a full-on introduction of who the people are. Saw one guy with a paddle doing a little trick shot juggle. He was getting ready for the finals. He was on BLQK team, which stands for something. They were taking
Should
on
play.
some other team. There was literally a 12 to 13. I was watching it for 12 to 13 minutes. Not a single highlight. I still don't know what the fuck the game
Who was
is.
doing the pregame? Fucking Marty McGee?
No, but it was like a pickleball Marty and McGee and then a host or whatever.
Because I know they were there. They were hosting a lot of the Ocho stuff. They did a great job.
No, this was on CBS Sports, I think.
Yeah,
They
Marty
have the-
McGee were at Pogo Palooza on Friday, so they were doing that instead of.
What is
pickleball.
Pogo Palooza?
Pogo stick skills challenge? It's where
That's fun.
People
Great
are
time.
doing the pogo stick. And one guy fucking shattered his knee during it. It was electric, actually. Guy couldn't even walk off. They had to send trainers in, called an ambulance, dragged this poor sack of shit off the
This
screen.
guy was
Is this real?
Oh, yeah, so
Dude, you ever
real.
see? I mean, I often wonder because I've seen pogo specialists before.
Yeah.
They get going like
yeah.
real high, and whenever they hit the ground, that thing compresses real small, and then like 20 feet in the air.
Oh, yeah.
So they're flying. They do flips and shit. And they're
They do
land-
flips?
Oh
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
they fly. AJ, there's some really talented. I did not see this.
I need to get a pogo stick. My buddy growing up, his dad had some that like held a lot of weight. I need to find those because they were fun, man. We'd take it all over.
I concur. I have pogo sticked in the past. I enjoyed it. Nothing like what these people who are experts at it though. They fly and flip. But I often wonder, like, if that thing slips at all, there's a lot of hard. There's a lot. The ground.
There's no easy fall.
The pedals, and then also the pogo stick itself. Very, very hard. All of those things are metal. So I often wondered about the catastrophic, crashes. You're saying one happened on the Ocho here.
Yeah, I mean, there's chances they had to cut this guy's leg off because it was
What are you laughing
violent.
about? What are you laughing about?
Because it's Pogo
This guy
Palooza.
sacrificed his life for ESPN the Ocho here. Pogo Palooza.
No, I mean, he did what he could, but
Don't talk to me about. Is this the guy getting hurt?
no, this was actually the
High
first dismount, like 720 something.
Bro, look at these motherfuckers.
Pole vault.
Sick. Yeah,
Dude,
this
up
just won.
over the thing, did a 360.
Watch this dismount. Watch this dismount.
Yeah. Boom.
Oh,
Yeah.
stuck.
They're
McGee
unbelievable.
went ape shit.
As he
after that.
should
Yeah.
have.
I'll watch this.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
Hey, that reminded me. When did it start that if like guys make routine catches on other guys that the entire football team runs on the field and acts like it was the greatest football play of all time?
Is it the last play of the period?
Nope.
If it's the last play of the period, that has happened always. If it's the last play of practice, it has happened always. You're saying there's been a lot of hyping up and gassing up a lot of things that aren't happening. Well, you know that one that I didn't like?
I blame fucking.
Then you're gonna be so tired. If you go celebrate after a play, you gotta get right back in.
Yeah, the fighting gets very exhausting. The finishing a play gets exhausting, and celebrating gets exhausting. So you normally see that kind of die off towards the end of training camp. You're saying it's still going strong in certain
I
places?
blame SportsCenter. I blame House of Highlights. I blame.
This guy said it's Omar's fault.
Yeah.
That's what you literally just said.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to talk
It's
like
Omar's fault.
that. Omar is taking over the internet.
Talking about getting. Talking about R.R. Martin or whatever.
George.
What's this guy?
He's calling him a fat, sack, lazy piece of wine. Right?
Omar is in incredible shape. I don't think he's lazy. He's running 10 different clip accounts around
million
here.
accounts.
He's running the check down. He's running Bleacher Report. He's running House of Highlights. He's running Sports Center. He's running ESPN.
Right.
Well, when you're only captions, that shit's wild.
There is some shit that's wild.
Yeah.
Get off Omar's back. But I do know that any social media person that's hired now from any of these accounts, you know how they were asking Kyle Brandt if he's going to be like me? They're all like, are you going to just post like Omar does? And Omar has become the blueprint, which I think Omar should be proud of.
That may be Omar.
Go, Omar.
But you're saying basic-ass highlights are getting run.
Yeah.
I thought the thing on Paulo Banchero was pretty basic. I didn't think that was really on Paulo's head, but
I agree.
That was made out to be like he got
That'd be
ruined.
annoying if you were
It
Paulo.
now has-
Okay.
That was.
It has now sparked something afterwards too.
Yeah, I saw they responded. Yeah, the whole thing. It started a fight. The internet was going crazy, and I was like, was that? I guess because it got him the jump is why it was a big deal. Because he didn't nuts on head or anything.
No.
But they were going to fight each other, I guess. Those two?
I think
That's awesome.
like him throwing the ball was huge, but apparently Paulo had like 40 points in that game too, and that he was also like crushing it, but that didn't get talked about because Deontay Murray just chucked the ball at him after the dunk.
No, he threw it away. He threw it right. Didn't he throw it? He threw it out of the gym almost.
Oh, I thought he threw it like kind of at him because Paulo was checking the ball out. He was passing it in.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, whatever the case, the violent throw is why everybody was saying it was crazy. Oh, okay. I'm on Paulo's side in this entire thing.
He's looked unbelievable this entire. I mean, granted, some of the times they're playing against like bums, but he has
Apparently, he's
looked the real
now
deal.
that he was the number one pick, he's too big time for everyone else.
He's playing in that bum ass
That's
game.
why DeJounte Murray
Yeah, that's what
didn't like him anymore. Doesn't like him anymore.
That's what he posted about because he unfollowed Paulo on Instagram and it got all personal. And then that's what Murray said is that he was big time because I'm the first overall pick.
Hey, if he's saying that to people, hilarious. He should wear his own jersey to a game. That'd be crazy. But I didn't like that Paulo said he'd rather be an MVP than a finals champion.
10-time All-Star.
Yeah, 10-time All-Star over a finals champion or whatever.
Oh, really?
That was kind of alarming.
Yeah, that says a lot.
That was kind of alarming. And then this whole thing happening, I'm like, all right, sounds like this dude's not making a lot of friends. But I didn't think the play itself was the internet really. Yeah. I mean, the caption on the video sets the tone for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
damn, bro.
Oh.
Yeah. Then I'm waiting to see. What are they freaking out about?
Yeah, I concur. Whatever. Paulo sounds like he's certainly a polarizing guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Who's he play for?
Orlando Magic.
Oh, so we don't see him on TV.
No, he will be a 10-time All-Star probably, but I don't think he's going to be winning many finals.
Number one overall pick normally make the All-Star game regardless?
Not always, I don't think, but as of late, like because with like Zion was number 2 and he was number 1 rather, and he got hurt. I don't know if he's been to a.
Well, they won't let him
game
play in the
because-
fucking games.
True.
Put Zion on a goddamn court and watch him spin.
He might have been 2 years ago. That's a good thing about or not the good thing, but that's like with the NBA. Paulo could play for the Magic for a couple years, and then when his next contract up, it'll be like 23, and he'll go to the Lakers, or the Warriors or something.
Well, congrats on winning the lottery draft thing. Help Paulo learn how to play NBA basketball, and then let him go play somewhere else and win.
That's right.
Are the Pacers still an NBA team?
Pacers actually are getting relegated down to the G League, and they will not be in the NBA anymore.
I thought so. I knew this was coming. We've been saying this for a couple years now.
Yeah. It's just
They'll dominate the G League.
Ticking time bomb.
Maybe. I don't know. There's some G League teams that are signing those kids out of high school and paying them.
They're pretty good.
All right, we're done. Feels like today's show was a good one.
One of those kids got drafted, by the way, for the Bucks, straight from high school to G League to the NBA.
Good for that kid. Get your money, dude.
He's awesome.
Hope you do well with it. Hope you're smart with it.
Good luck, kid.
Bitcoin's at 24,000, so take it as you will. It was up to 60 at one point.
Pretty sweet.
So is it just going to do that all day, every day?
Probably.
Is that what it is?
Blockchain.
Well, yeah, thank you. Just start throwing out words.
Just throw out keywords.
All right, let's do